Chapter 1741 War Banner of Humanity. Fang Yuan's charge was fatally ferocious and he was using myriad fusion ghost dragon sword, which raised his demonic might to another level. Chen Yi looked at the sky as Fang Yuan approached with such momentum, his entire body shivered as he felt like the sky itself was falling towards him. It was unstoppable and unavoidable. In that case, there is no need to block it or evade it. Chen Yi, who was already a spent force, had his chest standing firm as he faced his death nonchalantly. Lord Chen Yi, Bai Kang Shui and other GU immortals shouted, wanting to come over to rescue him. But Kai Kuyu, Yi Haofang and others followed behind Fang Yuan and quickly blocked these reinforcements. The enormous soul sword pierced through Chen Yi's body and struck Hairy Foot Mountain with its remaining force. At the next moment, Hairy Foot Mountain disintegrated while Chen Yi's corpse fell powerlessly. Chen Yi is also dead. The southern border and northern plains immortals were shaken. Fang Yuan had successively killed 2 heavenly court experts, his demonic might was now ingrained in people's minds. However, Hairy Foot Mountain is destroyed but infallible blessed land is still standing. Fang Yuan frowned as he looked at the pile of mountain rubble under him. Heavenly Court had detected the precise location of infallible blessed land but had never invaded it in their countless years of existence. Instead they used human path methods to borrow the strength of infallible blessed land and draw out success Dao marks. At this urgent moment, Fang Yuan was unable to damage infallible blessed land, let alone destroy it. Not long after Chen Yi died, another GU immortal died in Heavenly Court as well. Yuan Chongdu, he was sitting cross-legged on the ground, dying with a smile on his face. Following his death, Heaven Overseeing Tower's peak began to let out a vigorous aura. This is a rank 9 immortal Gu's aura. Fate GU. Fried Yuan Chongdu sacrificed himself. Does this mean? This aura's appearance froze the whole of the Heavenly Court battlefield. Longevity Heaven's members' expression changed greatly while the Heavenly Court immortals' eyes shined brightly and their faces were filled with joy. Damn it, we failed. Bing Sai Chuan clenched his teeth. Retreat. 7 extreme desolation remained behind as Calamity Luck Altar began to retreat. What's going on? Why do I have this feeling of emptiness? In infallible blessed land battlefield, Fang Yuan immediately felt something. Ha ha ha, Duke Long laughed heartily, he did not obstruct Calamity Luck Altar. He arrived inside Heaven Overseeing Tower and moved to the peak. Fate GU, Fate GU, Duke Long mumbled as tears flowed down his eyes. He was too happy, too excited. He was personally looking at a complete Fate GU right in front of his very eyes. Many years of anticipation and desire, many years of longing had finally come to fruition at this moment. The meaning behind repairing Fate GU was much more important and complicated to Duke Long than the other Heavenly Court members. Because back then, it was his own disciple who had injured Fate GU. Hong Ting, Master has atoned for your mistake. I did not let down Heavenly Court, I did not let down humanity. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Duke Long's loud voice resounded in Heavenly Court from the top of Heaven Overseeing Tower, after over 1,000,000 years. Heavenly Court has regained a complete rank 9 Fate GU once again. Swoosh. At the next moment, the Heavenly Court GU immortals shouted in joy, some were red from their excitement, some cried, and some passed away in full satisfaction. Heavenly Court's morale surged to an extreme point, while Longevity Heaven's Bing Sai Chuan and others were pale as they quickly retreated. The die was cast, there was nothing they could do now. Longevity Heaven was decisive in invading Heavenly Court and was also decisive in retreating. Over 3 million years ago. Central Continent, Chi Breath Peak. This peak was not a mountain, or more accurately speaking, it was only a mountain peak. The peak contained a dense amount of Chi Path Dao marks, it was extremely mystical. The peak could breathe out air just like the breathing of a human. Every few decades or centuries, it would fly away and move to other places, continuing to breathe different air and then continuing this cycle. Chi Breath Peaks were few in number, most had owners, and so did this Chi Breath Peak. Its owner was Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable, but right now, he was only a rank 7 GU Immortal. GU Immortal Primordial Origin was cultivating in Chi Breath Peak, using the ability of Chi Breath Peak to breathe in different kinds of Chi and comprehend the profundities of Chi Path. On this day, he slowly opened his eyes within a secret cave. A mortal GU master had barged into his Chi Breath Peak. He was slightly surprised. He was a person who fully concentrated on cultivation, he was free and unrestrained. He only wanted to comprehend the great Tao and did not want to be disturbed by external affairs. Thus, he had set up many arrangements not only on Chi Breath Peak but also around the surrounding mountains. Not to mention mortal GU masters, even if many GU immortals came here, they might not be able to find his existence. They might even turn a blind eye to the mystical Chi Breath Peak. A mortal GU master has actually barged in today. Interesting. Primordial Origin felt interested and appeared in front of this GU master. But before he even spoke, that mortal GU master kowtowed. GU master UG pays respects to Immortal Primordial Origin. Oh, you actually know my name. Speak, who instructed you and helped you to pass through my obstacles with just a GU master's ability? Primordial Origin immediately turned solemn. How could a mortal GU master possess such an ability? He firmly believed that there was definitely a GU immortal helping the GU master. But GU master UG shook his head. Immortal Primordial Origin, I did not receive any GU immortal's help, but relied on the guidance of Fate GU. Fate GU, HMPH, don't talk nonsense. This GU is a rank 9 GU, it is protected in the Rockman Imperial Court and is watched by multiple rank 8 Rockman GU immortals all year round. Primordial Origin had yet to finish speaking when his eyes suddenly opened wide. The mortal GU master UG presented a GU worm with both hands. Rank 9 aura overflowed, what else could it be but Fate GU? Primordial Origin was instantly taken aback, his tranquil heart was greatly disturbed. He forced himself to remain calm. UG, stand up. How did you steal this Fate GU and how did you bring this GU here from such a faraway place? Also, you said you received Fate GU's guidance. But according to what I know, no GU immortal can use Fate GU, only the Heavenly Tao can use this GU. How can you have the ability to use Fate GU? UG spoke in detail. I am a slave of the beloved grandson of the first Supreme Elder in the Rockman tribe. I had been secretly working in place of Master to clean the Rockman Sacred Hall and maintain the cleanliness of Fate GU's surroundings. I forgot which day it was, but I discovered that as long as I got near to Fate GU, I could sense Fate's arrangements in the path of every living being's life. I received Fate GU's guidance like this and learned of many future events and also realized my mission. Afterwards, when Featherman GU immortals infiltrated Rockman's Sacred Hall and were discovered, I took Fate GU away amidst the chaos. I escaped using a hidden tunnel in the Rockman Sacred Hall. I had Fate GU but it restrained its aura by its own will. Although there were many dangers in my journey, be they GU immortals or any methods that obstructed me, I had ample time to prepare and successfully escape after receiving Fate GU's premonitions. Thus, there were dangerous situations in my journey but never fatal threats. Eventually, I made my way here. Primordial Origin could not help but evaluate GU Master UG internally after hearing all this. UG spoke lightly but looking at his scars, it was clear he had faced a lot of difficulties and suffering on this journey. You don't need to be modest, although you had the help of Fate GU, it is your bravery and planning that allowed you to achieve all these as a mortal GU master. Primordial Origin praised, his expression became warm. He asked again, so why did you steal Fate GU and travel so far to bring it to me? UG said, it was not I who stole Fate GU but Fate GU itself wanted to be brought to you. Lord Immortal, you are Fate GU's master, I have already seen it through Fate GU. Not only this, Lord Immortal, you are him, you should experience this personally. UG then lowered his head while raising his hands, offering Fate GU to Primordial Origin. Primordial Origin was not fully convinced, but the moment he held Fate GU, countless images flashed past his eyes and endless information was transmitted to his mind. He immediately understood, everything was clear now. So it was not UG who could use Fate GU, but Fate GU itself let him see the changes in the world and the path of all beings' lives. According to Fate, variant human races, who have been dominating the 5 regions, will decline. Humanity will replace them to become the leading figures of the world. We will trample on every variant human race and become the new overlord of the world. Humanity will reign supreme, and myself, as well as this GU Master UG, will lead the rise of the human race. We will be the crucial characters to take on the challenges of variant human experts and suppress the situation. After understanding everything, Primordial Origin was shaken as well as happy. He could not help but feel happiness, because he was a member of the human race. Although he had become a GU immortal, the status of humans was very low. Most humans were slaves sold and bought wantonly by variant humans, they were humiliated and oppressed. Not only human mortals and GU masters, even human GU immortals had low status in the GU immortal world. Many human GU immortals were even slaves of variant humans. Human GU immortals like Primordial Origin who lived freely might be besieged by many variant human GU immortals any day. If they were unlucky enough to be taken as a prisoner, they might become slaves of the variant humans. I really wanted to resist them, but even after becoming a rank 7 GU Immortal, I cannot match the battle strength of many variant human GU Immortals. That's why I had been cultivating endlessly and wanted to create a path that belongs solely to us humans. Now that Fate GU has shown me the way, the future belongs to us humans. I will even become the leader of the human GU Immortals in the future. I will create Chi path and lead humanity to prosperity. Humanity will reign supreme. This is heaven's will. This is the trend of the future. This is the heart of the people. Primordial Origin was extremely excited as he laughed loudly while holding Fate GU. He was so happy that tears fell. Yuji also grinned happily. He was also a human after all. Humanity had been oppressed and suffered under the hands of variant human races for too long. After taking a long breath, Primordial Origin calmed his feelings and took a deep look at Fate GU. Yuji, you are a hero of our human race. A great hero. You brought Fate GU to me, even though we cannot activate it at will. This is the greatest banner we can hold. I won't hide it from you. I already had thoughts of resisting the variant humans, but there are too few of us human GU Immortals, and even more troubling is that many human GU Immortals are slaves. They are treated like ants with not even a bit of respect, and they also do not dare to offend their masters. Because they know how tiny they are when compared to the variant humans, they know how weak we humans are. But now, with this Fate GU, we can show the world, we can let every human GU Immortal know, the future belongs to us, humanity will reign supreme. Fate GU will summon their lost courage, ignite their hope, and spur on their fighting spirit to resist. Moreover, we can unite all of the humans with this. This is a banner. This is the war banner of humanity to rise and rule the world. Chapter 1742, Fate Vanquish. Inside Heaven Overseeing Tower. Duke Long softly caressed Fate GU with tears silently flowing down his face. Fate GU looked like a spider, colored in black and white. Its aura had been weak. There was a scarlet wound on its body that almost cut it in two. This was the injury caused by Red Lotus Demon Venerable. But now, the scarlet wound was gone without a trace. The complete and intact Fate GU was lying down quietly with a vigorous aura. Life or death is decreed by fate, success or failure is up to heaven. All things in the world followed their own fixed trail which could not be changed. This was fate. Fate GU was a representation of many things in heavenly court. Relying on Fate GU, they changed the hearts of the people. Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable led humanity to rise up. He established heavenly court. Relying on Fate GU, Star Constellation made arrangements and heavenly court resisted 3 demon venerables. Relying on Fate GU, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable inherited his predecessor's ambitions and progressed. Heavenly court continued to hold on to the throne of the number 1 GU Immortal force in the world. Fate GU was not just a rank 9 GU to Heavenly Court, it was the spirit and banner that had always throbbed in the hearts of countless generations of Heavenly Court GU Immortals. So many years, after so many years, Duke Long mumbled. The turbulent waves in his heart gradually calmed down. Duke Long's body no longer trembled from agitation, as if he was released from a heavy burden. Indeed, he felt released from a heavy burden. Differing from most Heavenly Court GU Immortals, repairing Fate GU had much deeper meaning to Duke Long. Because the one who injured Fate GU was none other than his proudest disciple. In other words, he was one of the culprits who injured Fate GU. All these years, Duke Long blamed himself for this. To repair Fate GU and repent for his sins, he did not hesitate in sacrificing his own life by activating Heavenly Dragon's last stand. Even when he was hibernating, he had been uneasy and terrified. Can I really succeed in repairing Fate GU? I must succeed in repairing it, I must. Otherwise, how can I face the other 2 dukes? How can I face the common people? How can I face the later generations of Heavenly Court members? How I face the whole of humanity? This was the voice that lingered in Duke Long's mind every day. And now, he had finally accomplished it. It was not just because of me, this was the accomplishment of all my comrades. All our sacrifices were worth it. Duke Long smiled in satisfaction. Right now, his hair was disheveled and his dragon horns were already broken, his whole body was bathed in blood. His injuries were extremely severe, but the more terrifying thing was that his lifespan was at its end. He was about to die completely without leaving behind even a trace of his soul. At the final moment of his life, although it was not his most blissful moment, it was absolutely his most free and relaxed moment. So naturally, he felt fatigue. Tired, too tired. Both his body and mind were exhausted. The torment and burden he had endured all these years was entirely let go of. The intense battle as well as his injuries made him extremely tired. I really want to rest well. Duke Long's breathing slowed down, his dragon eyes were like the sea which contained incomparably complex and profound emotions. He slowly took back his hand and gave one last look at Fate Gu before slowly turning around. His gaze moved past Heaven Overseeing Tower and swept through the battlefield. Although the battle was still going on intensely, Calamity Luck Altar had already retreated far away. It is time to end everything, this battle. Duke Long took a deep breath and spoke loudly, his voice spreading throughout the whole heavenly court. Longevity Heaven, you want to leave so easily? Hee, aren't you too naive in thinking so? Duke Long controlled Heaven Overseeing Tower to fly into the air. This Immortal GU house which was renowned throughout the world had returned to being a genuine rank 9 Immortal GU house now. Under Heavenly Court Immortal's gaze, Heaven Overseeing Tower began to let out dazzling light, as if a deity had descended upon the battlefield. Heaven Overseeing Tower, Heaven Overseeing Tower. It monitored the world, followed the will of heaven and upheld justice for heaven. This is the true Heaven Overseeing Tower. It has been so long, it has finally reappeared. I am really fortunate, I could see such a scene in my final moments. Countless gazes of Heavenly Court GU Immortals turned blurry, many of them were at the end of their lives but they had satisfied smiles on their faces. Retreat. Bing Sai Chuan's voice was so loud that it turned hoarse. Even the valiant Longevity Heaven looked scared right now as they retreated. It is pointless, Duke Long said softly from inside Heaven Overseeing Tower, his squinted eyes shined with a trace of pride. Heaven Overseeing Tower suddenly let out an intense light. Immortal killer move, Fate Vanquish. Light was everywhere. White light, filling the world from all directions. This was a true rank 9 killer move. An attack decreed by fate that could not be dodged no matter which method was used. If fate wants you to lose, you will lose no matter what. This was an unavoidable attack. Light dispersed, the Heavenly Court Immortals were all standing proudly in the battlefield, while the many past experts of Northern Plains looked shaken or in disbelief, some had bitter smiles as they disintegrated. The phantom river of time also slowly disappeared. Calamity Luck Altar was in a highly ruined state, like a mortal hut that had suffered from a hurricane. Inside Calamity Luck Altar, Bing Sai Chuan, Bull Demon, and 5 Elements Grandmaster were heavily injured and coughed out mouthfuls of blood. Leave, Bing Sai Chuan gasped as he controlled the half-damaged Calamity Luck Altar. Yellow light shined once again in the air. This was a backup plan prepared by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. It paved out a road to retreat. Calamity Luck Altar entered the yellow light successfully. You want to leave? Where can you escape to? Heavenly Court Immortals charged together. Leave quickly. Mao Li Chu clenched its teeth. It forcibly stood up with its dying body and blocked Heavenly Court's Immortals with a resolute expression. Everyone, please step back. Duke Long sent out the command. Heavenly Court's Immortals were surprised. Fairy Ziwei, Lord Duke Long. Duke Long sighed. Preserve some foundation for Heavenly Court. The Immortals were silent. Heavenly Court had suffered a disastrous loss in this battle. It was truly a huge ordeal. As a result of lacking Immortal GU, many rank 8 GU Immortals had to use their own bodies to block Longevity Heaven's attacks. As such, many were sacrificed. In Heavenly Court's situation, because of the Immortal Graveyard, they had many rank 8 GU Immortals but insufficient Immortal GU. Duke Long still remembered how Star Constellation's will had appeared and specially instructed him to have many rank 8 GU Immortals in hibernation. There undoubtedly were deeper reasons behind this, but in this battle, too many rank 8 GU Immortals had awakened in Heavenly Court's Immortal Graveyard and many of them were sacrificed. Not only were there no new rank 8 GU Immortals in hibernation, it instead caused them to lose many existing ones. Although Fate GU was successfully restored, Duke Long still felt uneasy because of this. Heavenly Court has now completely restored rank 9 Fate GU, including myself, who can go against us. Even if it is a rank 9 Venerable method, I can fight against it using Heaven Overseeing Tower. Everyone, please return to the Immortal Graveyard, I will call for you if the need arises. Duke Long urged. Since it is so, alright, with Fate GU and Lord Duke Long here, which enemy can stop us? Then let's go back to hibernating. Most of the GU Immortals returned to the Immortal Graveyard, but few remained. These people were already at the end of their lifespan like Duke Long, there was not much meaning for them to hibernate again. Duke Long left behind Fairy Ziwei and others to clean up the battlefield and guard Heavenly Court, while he led a small group to chase after Longevity Heaven with Heaven Overseeing Tower. Calamity Luck Altar brought the defeated forces of Longevity Heaven and escaped Heavenly Court, but so what? Their speed could never compare to Heaven Overseeing Towers, and furthermore, they were in Central Continent. Duke Long wanted to retain these people, whether it be killing them or taking them as prisoners. Both would showcase the awe-inspiring might of Heavenly Court and let the other 4 regions' GU immortals understand the price for offending Heavenly Court. What? Longevity Heaven is retreating in defeat. Heavenly Court repaired Fate GU completely. Sigh, this battle is our defeat, let's retreat. Escape. Heaven Overseeing Tower with Fate GU is the #1 immortal GU house in the current world. Be it Duke Long or Heaven Overseeing Tower, we are not their match. After getting this news, the battle situation in Infallible Blessed Land immediately underwent a complete change. Southern Border and Northern Plains immortals had the intentions to retreat, even Feng Yuan was the same. He felt a huge pity regarding this, but he could do nothing about it. Except, he could not imagine that at the next moment, he saw the arrival of the devastated Calamity Luck Altar as well as the Heavenly Court forces chasing them closely. For some reason, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had created the retreat route for Longevity Heaven above Harryfoot Mountain and it had not been discovered by anyone. Good, then I will take you all out at once. Duke Long laughed heartily. Chapter 1743, Final Chance. It is already too late to retreat now. Everyone, please cooperate to counterattack Heavenly Court. They have already used Fate Vanquish once, they won't be able to use it again in a short period of time. This is our final chance. Bing Sai Chuan shouted. The GU immortals immediately reacted as they charged forward with clenched teeth. Bing Sai Chuan was right, Heaven Overseeing Tower was extremely fast, they would not be able to escape. Naturally, it was not that some did not think of using other GU immortals to stall for time while they escaped. But the crucial thing was Central Continent was too large while they were now deep in Central Continent, even if each of them escaped in different directions, Heaven Overseeing Tower had enough time to eradicate them. Every Southern Border and Northern Plains immortal was in a desperate situation and could only stay and fight. This battle turned all the surroundings into a dark and gloomy state. The Northern Plains and Southern Border immortals knew how perilous their situation was, none of them held back and used everything they had to fight back. Heavenly Court's pursuing group had chased with overwhelming momentum, but after contacting the allied forces of Southern Border and Northern Plains, facing their counterattack, they instead fell into disadvantage. Fairy Ziwei, has the news of Fate Gu's restoration been announced to the world? Duke Long sat inside Heaven Overseeing Tower and contacted Fairy Ziwei. Shortly afterwards, Fairy Ziwei responded, the news has already been disseminated in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Not only this, Lord Duke Long, your current battle scenes are being broadcasted everywhere through human path methods. Since Rank 9 Fate GU was restored completely, Heavenly Court naturally was going to publicize this news to raise their side's morale and intimidate their enemies. With this, Heavenly Court could gain the support of the people, even directly persuading those GU immortals who were still making chaos and plundering resources in Central Continent to retreat. Duke Long's previous command had only been to spread the news of Fate GU. But Fairy Ziwei took it a step further and was broadcasting the battle in Infallible Blessed Land. In an instant, countless mortals, GU masters, and GU immortals learned of the battle. Heavenly Court's action showed their confidence in winning. It was also quite clear that Heavenly Court, possessing rank 9 Fate GU, had huge dominance in the battlefield. Fairy Ziwei wanted to take this chance to showcase Heavenly Court's battle strength by capturing all these elites of Southern Border and Northern Plains in one fell swoop, to raise the prestige of Central Continent and Heavenly Court to an all-time peak. Duke Long understood Fairy Ziwei's thoughts, but he frowned lightly. These Southern and Northern immortals are in a perilous situation, they are like cornered beasts with the will of dying soldiers, that caused our side to be at a disadvantage. Although this is only temporary. Duke Long realized Fairy Ziwei's deeper intentions, although it was slightly abrupt, since she had already done it, he had to actively cooperate. They had to showcase Heavenly Court's power to the greatest extent. This would not only announce the news of Fate Gu's successful restoration, it would also display powerful strength that could cause others to shake in fear and not dare to oppose Heavenly Court. The other 4 regions had intervened in this refinement path convention. They wreaked havoc in Central Continent and plundered cultivation resources, greatly harming Heavenly Court's prestige. Now, to raise their prestige again, Heavenly Court had to display absolute strength by dealing with all these Southern and Northern immortals. They would gain the people's support and make the other 4 regions fearful of offending them again. Fate Vanquish was no doubt the best choice. It was a rank 9 killer move, and because Fate GU was restored completely, its might was even more terrifying and absolute. But Fate Vanquish could not be activated frequently and needed some time to be used again. Looks like I have to make a move personally. Otherwise, with this battle being broadcasted everywhere and Heavenly Court immortals being suppressed, our performance would not look good. Duke Long arranged for several GU Immortals to take control of Heaven Overseeing Tower while he personally floated out. Duke Long has come out, be extremely careful of him. Bing Sai Chuan was deeply aware of Duke Long's terrifying power, quickly reminding the others. We will attack together. Yao Huang shouted, Fang Yuan and others quickly responded. Clear jade dripping wind, tiny bamboo building and other immortal GU houses protected these rank 8 GU immortals. Duke Long had just come out when he was besieged by Fang Yuan and the rest's joint attacks. Several rank 8 killer moves were unleashed, shocking the world with their might. Be careful, despicable, dodge it. All over Central Continent, especially in the 10 great ancient sects, a large number of GU immortals shouted in shock. They saw Duke Long being besieged through the video scenes, they were worried and furious. Bam bam bam, loud explosions resounded again and again, causing dust clouds to appear everywhere. Inside the dust clouds, Duke Long's giant body, however, remained unmoved. The 9 phantom dragons around his body opened their mouths and breathed out strong wind, instantly dispersing the dust clouds. Duke Long was still hovering at the same place with a calm expression. His dragon pupils glanced around him indifferently. Are you trying to scratch my itch with these tricks? Strong, so strong. Yao Huang and the rest who had fought Duke Long for the first time felt their hearts shaken, despite them having already received first-hand information about the battle in Heavenly Court. Bing Sai Chuan gritted his teeth, his eyes slightly dazed. He is several times stronger than before. We don't have 7 extreme desolation now, we can't be his match with just the half-ruined Calamity Luck Altar. What should I do? Immortal Killer Move, Myriad Ghost Sword Dragon. Immortal Killer Move, Centipede Scar. Fang Yuan and Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu sent out their killer moves at the same time. On one side, Sword Chi rampaged and ghost dragons filled the sky, on the other side, countless grayish centipedes flew, seemingly illusion and seemingly real. The 2 killer moves drowned Duke Long from all directions. Countless viewers in Central Continent let out a cry of shock, feeling worried for Duke Long. From amidst the sea of dragons and centipedes, Duke Long's carefree voice sounded out, good moves but they are not enough. Immortal Killer Move, Chi Current Scissors. Boom. A huge explosion rose a terrifying wave in the sea of dragons and centipedes. Chi Current Scissors flew everywhere, cutting apart dragons like paper. The centipedes were in an even more miserable state, they were smashed into fragments that scattered in the air. Seeing Duke Long safe and sound, the whole of Central Continent rejoiced. Mother, that dragon-horned person is our Central Continent's immortal. Duke Long, he is the master of the legendary Red Lotus Demon Venerable. He has such overwhelming strength. Heavenly Court has made its move, it is better for me to retreat. I have already plundered many resources, I should leave here before deciding anything else. Just like Duke Long and Fairy Ziwei predicted, the invading GU Immortals began to retreat. Central Continent's morale soared continuously, everyone's hearts had merged together. Our attrition battle tactic was completely ineffective. Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu's face was ashen. It's my turn now, Duke Long said lightly. Dragon-shaped chi suddenly flashed and he vanished on the spot. So fast, where did he go? Yi Haofang's mind suddenly let out intense warning signals, he quickly raised his head and saw Duke Long above him. Dragon claws smashed down, Yi Haofang only had the time to raise his hands to block them. Boom, Yi Haofang was sent crashing down from the height of 500 feet, he created a huge pit on the ground. Goo, Yi Haofang's expression was filled with terror as he coughed out a mouthful of blood. The strike just now had not only broken his defense, it had even inflicted heavy injuries upon him. Dragon-shaped chi flashed and Duke Long appeared before Yi Haofang once again. But immediately afterwards, 5 Elements Grandmaster and Kai Kuyu appeared on the left and right of Duke Long. Although they could not see Duke Long's image and keep up with his speed, they had plentiful battle experiences and had calculated Duke Long would continue attacking Yi Haofang. After all, as the saying goes, injuring all 10 of a man's fingers was not as crippling as chopping one off. Duke Long, you fell for it. You can stay trapped here. 2 great formation path GU Immortals, one southern and one northern, laid out a formation instantly. A tiny formation dares to trap me. Duke Long scoffed, his large body shook as he let out his strength. The formation shattered like glass, Kai Kuyu and 5 Elements Grandmaster both let out a muffled grunt from the backlash. But Duke Long was also stopped for a moment and missed the chance to kill Yi Haofang. Yi Haofang had already left the pit and was healing himself while feeling icy cold inside. Duke Long's power was beyond imagination. Yi Haofang was a famous rank 8 expert of the present-age southern border, he was actually almost killed by Duke Long in less than 3 moves. Such power, probably only a Venerable can suppress him. Be it defense, offense, or movement, Duke Long is superior in every aspect. Even if we besiege him, he can still retaliate with ease. Who can stop such a person? All the southern and northern immortals were shaking in fear and many more were at a loss. Duke Long was unstoppable, not to mention there was still the rank 9 heaven overseeing tower with a complete fate GU. What should they do? As if answering the doubts of the immortals, rumbling sounds spread and earth started to crack. A huge rift spread across the whole battlefield. Boom. At the next moment, the ground burst open and endless soil and stones flew out like a dark tsunami. A giant dragon that was the size of a mountain flew out from the rift. The dragon opened its mouth was filled with uneven teeth that were sharp like spears and caused people to feel fear. Duke Long, I will crush you to pieces. The giant dragon roared. Legendary immemorial desolate beast, Zhang Sheng. A strange expression flashed past Duke Long's face as he snorted and charged head-on without dodging. An immortal and a beast started fighting but their fight was a stalemate. When did Zhang Sheng become so powerful? Heavenly Court GU immortals were stunned. The 5 regions are merging and the earth veins are uniting, countless lives were sacrificed in this large battle which incited fury of Central Continent's people, all these raised Zhang Sheng's strength sharply. But wasn't Zhang Sheng trapped in Hidden Dragon Cave? How could it suddenly appear here? The immortals were shocked and puzzled. But they all knew that back then Duke Long had personally suppressed Zhang Sheng, so Zhang Sheng coming to find trouble with Duke Long personally was also natural. Just like Duke Long had said in Heavenly Court, Zhang Sheng's battle strength would rise to become comparable to Duke Long himself. If this is not handled properly, Zhang Sheng will become the strongest legendary immemorial desolate beast of the current world. This is amazing, truly, there is always a way out of predicaments. Let's take this chance to quickly retreat. We can't retreat, Fang Yuan however shouted. This is the perfect opportunity to attack. The arrogant Duke Long is stalled by Zhang Sheng. Now, we can go to Heaven Overseeing Tower and destroy Fate GU. Saying so, Fang Yuan took the lead to charge towards Heaven Overseeing Tower. Bing Sai Chuan was the first to react. He called out to the Northern Plains Immortals and followed closely behind. The Southern Border Immortals also went into a frenzy and attacked furiously a moment later. You dare! Duke Long was anxious but was firmly held back by Zhang Sheng. He could only look as Fang Yuan and the rest charged forward. Chapter 1744, Everybody's Vision. Central Continent, Thunder Peak Mountain Range. Boom! A loud explosion resounded through tens of li. 3 GU immortals were in the midst of a battle. Leave behind the electrolytic iron starflower, otherwise, even if I die, I won't let you two get off easy. Central Continent GU immortal Mi Lan Guang shouted furiously. He had 2 opponents. One was a middle-aged man dressed in a scholar's attire with large sleeves, the other was a short young man who had quite a lecherous appearance. The former was an Eastern CGU immortal, Great Treasury immortal, he had rank 7 cultivation and cultivated information path. The latter was a Central Continent GU immortal, rank 6 Yi Sheng. Great Treasury immortal frowned, his eyes hid fury and his tone sounded irritated. Mi Lan Guang, you chased me for so long just for an electrolytic iron starflower. Yes, I admit, this information path and lightning path immortal material was personally grown by you and is something that had never appeared before. My interest was roused and since I cultivate information path like you, I stole one flower to research it. I will tell you honestly, if you continue to chase me for a rank 7 immortal material, I will fight with you to death. I will make you realize that Eastern CGU immortals are not so easily bullied. Yi Sheng immediately added flattery. Senior Great Treasury Immortal, your words are extremely reasonable. We should have already gotten rid of this Mi Lan Guang. Otherwise, if we let him tail behind us, we won't be able to do any transactions. The current situation is an extremely rare opportunity. Great Treasury Immortal took a glance at Yi Sheng and nodded, I suppose we have to. Although Great Treasury Immortal had rank 7 cultivation and Yi Sheng only had rank 6, the latter was a well-known lone immortal of Central Continent. He was proficient in the killer move Sword Escape and was extremely mobile, he was well informed and familiar with the local territories. It was because he had told Great Treasury Immortal of Mi Lan Guang's treasury that Great Treasury Immortal learned of such a special rank 7 immortal material like electrolytic iron starflower. Great Treasury Immortal cultivated information path so he was very interested. He moved with Yi Sheng and used the chaos in Central Continent to steal an electrolytic iron starflower. But in this process, he was discovered by Mi Lan Guang. Great Treasury Immortal's action was exposed, he could not help but show a weak stance and did not want to attack, thus getting chased all the way by Mi Lan Guang. Mi Lan Guang looked at Great Treasury Immortal and then looked at Jian Yisheng, laughing coldly, so it was like this. Next, he said something that stunned Great Treasury Immortal. Great Treasury Immortal, although you are an Eastern CGU Immortal and are also a famous information path expert whose name I have heard long ago, you have been deceived by Jian Yisheng. There are 13 electrolytic iron star flowers in my valley, you stole one and Jian Yisheng plucked 3, but the rest were destroyed by him using sword path methods. What? Jian Yisheng laughed. Mi Lan Guang, isn't your method of sowing discord a bit too poor? But at the next moment, Great Treasury Immortal turned around to glare at him. Jian Yisheng, how dare you? Jian Yisheng's heart immediately skipped a beat. Not good, they are both information path GU Immortals, I cannot sense their secret conversation. Great Treasury Immortal might have already received evidence. Jian Yisheng was resolute, since he could not fool Great Treasury Immortal anymore, he gave a villainous laugh as his body turned into a sword and escaped. Great Treasury Immortal and Mi Lan Guang were both stunned. This Jian Yisheng has already advanced to rank 7. Is this his true speed? So fast. Great Treasury Immortal was shocked and furious, he was actually duped by Jian Yisheng and treated as his tool. Now, Jian Yisheng had seized away more benefits than him and even left him to obstruct Mi Lan Guang. Brother Mi, I will immediately return that electrolytic iron starflower to you. Don't worry, I dug it out along with its roots, it will be convenient for you to plant it again. Moreover, I will also compensate you with resources of equivalent value. Great Treasury Immortal took a deep breath before saying solemnly. Mi Lan Guang mumbled before raising his brows, your condition is. Great Treasury Immortal snorted, we will ally to deal with Jian Yisheng. He really hated Jian Yisheng. Mi Lan Guang was also the same. He gave a clear smile and extended his hands, it is my honor to work with you, friend from Eastern Sea. The two immediately set an agreement and chased after Jian Yisheng. What made them furious was that although Jian Yisheng escaped, he had actually not gone far. Clearly, he wanted Mi Lan Guang and Great Treasury Immortal to have a fierce battle, then he could charge back at an appropriate timing and reap all the benefits. Right now, when he saw Mi Lan Guang and Great Treasury Immortal collaborating, Jian Yisheng was surprised and irked but not panicked. He even scoffed. Even when I was rank 6, my sword escape method left many rank 7 GU Immortals without options. Now that I have advanced this move to rank 7, you will probably only catch me in your next life. Saying so, Jian Yisheng activated the killer move Sword Escape and swaggered off. Mi Lan Guang and Great Treasury Immortal cursed loudly but could only look as Jian Yisheng escaped. However, after a short while, it was Jian Yisheng's turn to complain, damn it. Although my sword escape method is fast, it can't be maintained for long. And these two happen to be information path GU Immortals, they are proficient at gathering information and clues, they can track me down. Mi Lan Guang and Great Treasury Immortal hated Jian Yisheng and were closely chasing after him. At every dangerous moment, Jian Yisheng activated Sword Escape killer move to run away. But not long later, Mi Lan Guang and Great Treasury Immortal would catch up once again. Jian Yisheng shouted, is there any meaning in chasing me like this? You will be wasting all your accumulated immortal essence and you both will lose a lot when that happens. Mi Lan Guang sneered. Among the three of us, you have only advanced to rank 7 recently, how much immortal essence reserve do you have? Even if we expend it all, we will get rid of you this time. Great Treasury Immortal nodded and added, right. I will let you know Eastern CGU Immortals are not easily hoodwinked. Jian Yisheng cursed in anxiousness. Mi Lan Guang, regardless of what happened, we are both Central Continent GU Immortals, you are actually siding with someone from another region now, are you a traitor? Mi Lan Guang laughed coldly. Don't you try to intimidate me, you offended me today, your death is certain. Jian Yisheng could only use Sword Escape to fly away once again. Both sides kept on chasing and halting. Great Treasury Immortal suddenly said, oh no, he has stopped at one place. It looks like he discovered the tracking method I planted on him. He lost his connection to Jian Yisheng. Soon, he and Mi Lan Guang arrived at a mountain pass and discovered Jian Yisheng's right arm. Jian Yisheng was resolute, after realizing something wrong, he directly cut off his right arm. Great Treasury Immortal's face was dark as he looked at Mi Lan Guang, it will depend on you now. Relax, Mi Lan Guang smiled, this way. The two continued to chase. After several rounds of chasing, Jian Yisheng's face was pale and had no strength to curse as he felt the pressure of death. Gradually, his immortal essence reserve was emptied. I am going to die, but I am not resigned. I broke Great Treasury Immortal's method, but what method did you, Mi Lan Guang, use to chase after me? I dared to offend you because I had some understanding of your methods and could handle them all. But right now, I cannot even discover what method you used. Can you tell me the truth before I die? Mi Lan Guang sneered. Don't even think about it. Depart to the afterlife as an ignorant ghost. But at the next moment, Jian Yisheng gave a strange screech and used sword escape killer move to escape once again. This guy is really too crafty. Great Treasury Immortal gritted his teeth. Don't worry, unless he escapes Central Continent, he won't be able to escape my detection. Mi Lan Guang said confidently. Great Treasury Immortal's gaze was filled with surprise as he said, I am in admiration of Brother Mi's method. Let alone Jian Yisheng, even I have yet to discover your method, it is truly amazing. Mi Lan Guang laughed and waved his hand. You misunderstood, this is not my method, it is Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's arrangement. What do you mean? Heavenly Court has extremely deep secrets. But I know some information about this move in particular. Let's continue chasing, I will explain on the way. Great Treasury Immortal nodded and was fully concentrated in listening. He knew Mi Lan Guang was originally a Lightning Path GU Immortal of Wind Cloud Manor, a subsidiary force of Heavenly Court. But later, he broke some sect rules, his cultivation was crippled and he was kicked out of the sect. After that, he cultivated Information Path and advanced to become a rank 7 GU Immortal once again. It was not strange for Mi Lan Guang to know of some secrets regarding Heavenly Court with this background. Mi Lan Guang continued. This move is called Everybody's Vision, it is a human path killer move created by Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable. This move uses the foundation of people's united hearts and can let Central Continent's mortals, GU Masters, and GU Immortals share their vision. As long as someone sees Jian Yisheng's movement light or even discover a trace of his tracks, I can directly obtain the information through Everybody's Vision and catch him. Great Treasury Immortal realized. So it was like this. Everybody's Vision, this move is truly profound. Naturally, people's united hearts is even more so, it can actually let people know each other's intentions and determine enemies and allies, removing the factor of hidden traitors. Wait a moment. Great Treasury Immortal suddenly stopped and looked at Mi Lan Guang with a horrified gaze. Since Mi Lan Guang could use Everybody's Vision killer move, he was definitely under the effect of people's united hearts. He belonged to Central Continent's righteous path. He absolutely would not cooperate with someone who invaded Central Continent, then the only possibility was. Ha ha ha, Great Treasury Immortal, you fell for our trap. Jian Yisheng revealed himself, laughing heartily. Along with him, many Central Continent lone immortals also appeared. A formation suddenly activated and trapped Great Treasury Immortal. Everything had been a conspiracy. Mi Lan Guang's electrolytic iron starflower was the bait to lure out Great Treasury Immortal, the huge fish. At the same time, Heavenly Court battlefield, this long battle finally reached its climax. Fang Yuan and the rest charged towards Heaven Overseeing Tower while Duke Long was being held back by Di Zhangshang. If Fang Yuan and the rest broke into Heaven Overseeing Tower and Fang Yuan destroyed Fate GU, Heavenly Court's plan would fail completely. But if Fang Yuan could not destroy Fate GU, the southern and northern immortals would be in a very bad position, they would be besieged by Heavenly Court's GU immortals from every direction. This is the final opportunity, I must, Fang Yuan was resolute. At the next moment, Heaven Overseeing Tower let out a dazzling white light. Rank 9 Immortal Killer Move, Fate Vanquish. The time required for Fate Vanquish to be used again has been shortened to such an extent. Fang Yuan was greatly shocked. Almost at the same time, the white light completely disappeared. An astonishing change occurred in the battlefield. Several immortal GU houses on Fang Yuan's side were completely destroyed along with all the GU immortals inside. Of the two rank 8 GU immortals who were right behind Fang Yuan, one was on the verge of death and the other had lost consciousness. All the other immortals were badly injured. Fate Vanquish's power is actually so terrifying. It clearly did not have this power during Southern Borders battle. Terrifying. A complete rank 9 Fate GU is too terrifying. This is Heaven Overseeing Tower's true power. It is completely unstoppable. Southern Border and Northern Plains GU immortals felt deep despair, they lost all of their morale. On the contrary, the Heavenly Court GU immortals as well as countless viewers in Central Continent cheered in joy at this sight. Heavenly Court is powerful, kill these invaders, make them pay with their blood. With such a method, Central Continent's victory is certain. With the killer move Everybody's Vision, Central Continent's people saw this scene and were rejoicing with great morale. Heavenly Court's divine might was etched deeply into everyone's hearts. Mother, why did that person not fall? All the demons except him have fallen. A young girl shook her mother's hand and asked in confusion. Even mortals could observe the battle. Unfortunately, the girl's mother was only a mortal. She shook her head. Mother also doesn't know, but don't worry, our central continent is protected by GU immortals, we won't lose. Fang Yuan. Right, he is an otherworldly demon. He is not an ordinary otherworldly demon, he is a complete otherworldly demon. Fate Vanquish is simply like harmless light to him. After being dazed for a while, the southern and northern immortals gradually reacted. Right now, Heavenly Court's GU immortals had flown out of Heaven Overseeing Tower and were holding Fang Yuan back, not letting him get close to Heaven Overseeing Tower. However, Fang Yuan's existence was like a spark that lighted up the hearts of the southern and northern immortals. In an instant, an inextinguishable fire burned once again. He's our only hope left. Yes, we still have Fang Yuan. Although I really hate him, but the southern and northern immortals' eyes shined with brilliance. Their morale had actually risen. The Heavenly Court GU immortals were astonished. Quick, kill Fang Yuan. Duke Long had just sent the command when he was bitten by Di Zhangsheng. But no matter how Di Zhangsheng ground its teeth, they only left behind several scars while producing sparks as they dug into Duke Long's body. At the same time, Wu Yong's command arrived through Treasure Yellow Heaven. Southern Alliance Immortals, hear my command, use all your strength to help Fang Yuan breach Heaven Overseeing Tower and destroy Fate GU. Bing Sai Chuan also reacted. Help Fang Yuan, this is our final charge. If it does not succeed, we will all die. Everyone, kill these guys. Fang Yuan, who was being held back, felt the vigor behind him and his eyes instantly shined. Killing Intense Sword, he laughed heartily, his voice resounding throughout the battlefield. Good, from now on, you can all try to stop me. Either you die or I perish. Chapter 1745. Lu Wei Yin's Betrayal. Infallible Blessed Land Battlefield. At this instant, Fang Yuan along with the southern and northern immortals dashed forward without hesitating. Fang Yuan was at the frontmost position, acting as the sharpest tip of the spear. He had become the only hope of the southern and northern immortals, he was shouldering their expectations. How ironic, how pitiful. This battle has reached such a state where we are actually staking our hopes on our enemy. The southern and northern immortals had complicated feelings. Associating with Fang Yuan, they are indeed a bunch of evil demons. The Heavenly Court GU immortals shouted with despise as they rushed forward. What else was there to say? Everything was for benefits, everything was for survival, everything was for victory. Fang Yuan, stop right there. A Heavenly Court GU immortal pounced on Fang Yuan. I will block him. Fang Yuan, continue to charge forward. Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu called out while moving ahead. Two immortal GU houses came charging over. These two southern and northern immortal GU houses inclined to the side, protecting Fang Yuan in the middle like they were guarding their emperor. In the battle of rank 8 GU immortals, immortal GU houses seemed like brutes that could only attack by colliding with each other. A sharp light flashed past Fang Yuan's eyes. This was an unprecedented experience for him, he had never expected that there would be such a peculiar scene. He had actually obtained the selfless and sacrificial help of the southern and northern immortals. We will retreat, quick, pull apart some distance. Heaven Overseeing Tower began to retreat. Fang Yuan and others' final charge was too overwhelming, their momentum was like a crazed tiger. At the crucial moment, even though Heavenly Court's members were mostly guarding the back, few could actually come over to help defend Heaven Overseeing Tower. Duke Long lifted his hands with some difficulty and as he pushed apart Di Zhangsheng's teeth inch by inch. Although his back was facing Fang Yuan and Heaven Overseeing Tower, he was aware of the battle situation through everybody's vision killer move. Fang Yuan is their only hope. As long as we can kill him, these southern and northern immortals' morale will fall to the depths, they might even surrender because of their hope being extinguished. Not only this, Fang Yuan has Spring Autumn Cicada and is also Red Lotus, final hope. At this instant, a memory surfaced in Duke Long's mind. Red Lotus was bathed in blood and on the verge of death, he used all his remaining strength to stand in front of Duke Long. Duke Long looked at him quietly and said with a slightly hoarse voice, Hong Ting, you have no hope left already. Give up, surrender, I will give you the chance to turn over a new leaf. Even at this stage, you are still not willing to give up on me, Master. He. Red Lotus Demon Venerable laughed, but unfortunately, Master, my hope has not been extinguished yet. HMPH, what hope do you still have? What are you relying on? My hope is not here, Master. I left it to the Great Era. When the great era is about to descend, you will see him. He will be like me, carving his way to heavenly court in battle. Duke Long sighed and said with an unshakable tone, then I shall stop him, just like how I stopped you today. You are my disciple, Master will atone for the mistake you made. Regarding your hope, Master shall personally kill it. Roar. Duke Long gave a furious roar and exerted strength in his hands, he pried open Di Zhangsheng's teeth and disappeared. Clang. At the next moment, Di Zhangsheng's teeth snapped together fiercely and produced dazzling sparks. But Duke Long had already appeared behind Fang Yuan. His large hand grabbed towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan immediately felt an incomparable force pulling at him firmly. A vast aura of danger came from behind him like a tsunami and wanted to drown him completely. Duke Long. Fang Yuan clenched his teeth as he suddenly turned around and used a killer move to fight Duke Long. I will kill you. Duke Long's amber-like dragon eyes reflected Fang Yuan's appearance, his tone filled with killing intent. But an immortal Gu house inserted itself in between the two. Fang Yuan, go! Many southern and northern immortals shouted together. Fang Yuan snorted coldly as he turned around and chased after Heaven Overseeing Tower. Duke Long was blocked, he gave a loud shout as he activated his killer move and slashed with his claws. The incomparably tough immortal Gu house tore apart like it was paper. Duke Long continued to give chase but he had just moved a few steps when Heavenly Lord Baizu appeared before him. Duke Long grabbed and smashed at Heavenly Lord Baizu. But Heavenly Lord Baizu charged over once again. He didn't die. Duke Long was astonished, he had clearly activated his investigative killer move to sense Heavenly Lord Baizu's main body. But the Heavenly Lord Baizu before him gave off the same feeling as the main body. Duke Long's thoughts moved as he immediately realized, is it a killer move that can allow the main body to immediately switch position with his clones? It was exactly so. Heavenly Lord Baizu was once a famous rank 8 lone cultivator of Northern Plains, and later he obtained He tribe's territory, creating Baizu tribe and joining Northern Plains' righteous path. Longevity Heaven actively roped in all the Northern Plains GU immortals for the big picture. Heavenly Lord Baizu was among the first to be roped in. One of Heavenly Lord Baizu's conditions to join them was one immortal killer move in Longevity Heaven's treasury. With this move, he could switch the positions of his clone and main body. Heavenly Lord Baizu had specially asked for this because of his repeated failures when he invaded Heifan Grotto Heaven before. It was because of this that after Heavenly Lord Baizu was teleported to Eastern Sea by the killer move Karma Relocation, he was able to quickly switch positions with a clone and return to infallible blessed land. Annoying fly. Duke Long frowned slightly. Heavenly Lord Baizu obstructed him repeatedly, although he could not last even one move. In the time of danger, he would switch position with a clone. His performance was extremely shocking, he actually stalled Duke Long. But soon, other Heavenly Court GU immortals targeted Heavenly Lord Baizu. Heavenly Lord Baizu fell into danger and was busy taking care of himself. Duke Long caught up to Fang Yuan once again but Five Elements Grandmaster was already protecting Fang Yuan from behind. Come, Five Elements Grandmaster used his strongest defensive method, Five Elements Ring. This was an immortal formation condensed into a 5-colored ring. If nothing else, I can at least hold on for a few breaths of time. Five Elements Grandmaster gritted his teeth. But Duke Long was not even stalled for a moment, he directly broke the 5 Elements ring and chased after Fang Yuan. 5 Elements Grandmaster suffered a heavy backlash from having his defensive killer move destroyed. But he quickly swallowed the blood that surged up and chased after Duke Long without any regards for his own health. Duke Long casually threw a dragon-shaped purple gold chi without even looking back. This was a chi path killer move. 5 Elements Grandmaster looked on with wide and furious eyes as he was struck by the purple gold dragon chi. With a loud sound, he burst into countless pieces, dying on the spot. 5 Elements Grandmaster's death did not deter the southern and northern immortals. Soon, Yi Haofang attacked without any regard for himself as he tried to stop Duke Long. Duke Long was held back for a few breaths of time, but he soon killed Yi Haofang. I don't have much time left. Duke Long did not show it on the surface but his heart was gradually becoming anxious. Heavenly Dragon's last stand killer move made him so powerful that he could kill rank 8 GU immortals like killing birds, but his lifespan was about to reach its end. Under the southern and northern immortals' suicidal obstruction, Fang Yuan finally caught up to Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heaven Overseeing Tower was being held back by Bing Sai Chuan using Calamity Luck Altar. Immortal killer move, Great Thief Ghost Hand. Fang Yuan's luck was good, he grabbed a rank 7 immortal GU as well as a large amount of mortal GU. But this was nothing much to Heaven Overseeing Tower. Especially when Fang Yuan was clearly aware that although Great Thief Ghost Hand relied on ghostly concealment, it was not a genuine rank 9 killer move and had no effect on Fate GU. The only effective method is still Dream Path killer moves. Fang Yuan did not have offensive Dream Path killer moves and could only use pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies to self-detonate. But Heaven Overseeing Tower was already prepared against such a crude offensive method. Fang Yuan had to look for a perfect opportunity, otherwise he would only waste his resources without any gains. Fang Yuan's battle tactic was to use Great Thief Ghost Hand to constantly force back Heaven Overseeing Tower and create a chance to detonate pure Dream Reality Seeker physique bodies. He did not know how long the Southern and Northern Immortals could hold on for, but this was currently his best tactic. But when Fang Yuan used the second Great Thief Ghost Hand, a rank 8 GU Immortal suddenly appeared and easily blocked his Great Thief Ghost Hand. Lu Wei-yin, what are you doing? The Southern and Northern GU Immortals immediately shouted out this person's name in surprise and anger. Lu Wei-yin pointed towards Fang Yuan. My disciple Yi Fan died in your hands, Fang Yuan, you shall die here. Lu Wei-yin, you are Paradise Earth's inheritor, you are a Southern Border GU Immortal. Even if you want to take revenge for your disciple, why do you need to do it at this time? Step aside now, join hands with us to defeat Heavenly Court. Or else. The Southern and Northern GU Immortals berated agitatedly. Lu Wei-yin, however, shook his head. Everything is too late, Heavenly Court's fate has been repaired, the situation is set in stone. Relying on this demon Fang Yuan will only increase casualties, it will not change our defeat. Everyone, you have to face reality, stop trying to go against the tide, we need to avoid even more death and suffering among the people. Chapter 1746, Bai Ningbing's Betrayal. Lu Wei-yin might have no offensive killer moves, he was extremely powerful in other aspects. He easily blocked the Southern and Northern Immortals' furious attacks, even Fang Yuan was unable to do anything to him. Indeed worthy of being Paradise Earth's inheritor. Many Heavenly Court GU Immortals observed with their full attention. In just a short period of time, Lu Wei-yin had actually blocked the Southern and Northern Immortals' crazed attacks by himself. Almost none of Heavenly Court GU Immortals present now could achieve this. Only now were the Southern and Northern Immortals aware of Lu Wei-yin's power. Despite Lu Wei-yin having no offensive methods, his comprehensive strength was still above Li Huang and Chen Yi. The Southern and Northern Immortals were full of hatred towards Lu Wei-yin, this hatred was many times stronger than their hatred towards Fang Yuan. It was because Lu Wei-yin's appearance had destroyed their last hope. Fang Yuan and the rest attacked madly, but all the attacks were blocked by him alone. Ha ha ha, Duke Long laughed loudly. He was currently entangled with Di Zhangsheng, Lu Wei-yin had salvaged the situation in his place. Duke Long was much happier to be receiving Lu Wei-yin's help than him taking action personally. Because this meant that Paradise Earth's faction had submitted to them. This is the heart of the people. Back then, when Fate GU appeared, Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable relied on it to change the minds of many human GU Immortals and awaken the spirit to resist our common enemy. The same thing is happening now. An injured Fate GU was not worthy of being revered. But a complete Fate GU was a banner just like the records in history. Its significance to humanity far surpassed its own abilities. It represented the support of the people, this was the trend of the future. Human hearts were difficult to change, but Heavenly Court had Fate GU and could make countless enemy GU Immortals dispel any thought of confrontation and even make them betray their side and surrender. With this, Heavenly Court and Central Continent would save an immense amount of effort and trouble. Duke Long could not help but be thankful towards Fairy Ziwei's choice. Using everybody's vision, all these scenes were disseminated to every part of Central Continent and even throughout the other 4 regions and 2 heavens. Lu Wei-yin's stance was a sign, he was the start of the trend where large numbers of GU Immortals would surrender and bow their heads to Heavenly Court in the future. The impact of a pioneer was limitless. Especially when it was Lu Wei-yin, Paradise Earth's inheritor. In the future, when many GU Immortals hesitate whether to surrender or not, they would think, even Lu Wei-yin, this Paradise Earth inheritor, changed sides, so what if I do the same? Thus, they would get past this mental obstacle. Lu Wei-yin's action was like a formless storm and its influence would spread to all parts of Central Continent. The other region's GU Immortals who were already preparing to leave, they retreated even faster now. At the same time, in the headquarters of Spirit Affinity House, Zhao Lianyun looked like she was ready to move out. Fairy Lianyun, where are you going? It is extremely dangerous outside. Bu Genzi persuaded. Zhao Lianyun smiled. I have Love Gu's protection and the enemies are currently fleeing in fear. If we want to make some contributions, isn't this the perfect time? Zhao Lianyun's wish was soon approved by several supreme elders of Spirit Affinity House. In the previous chaotic battle in Central Continent, all kinds of monsters and demons appeared and fought, creating chaos and disorder. For the restoration plan, Heavenly Court had mobilized a large amount of GU immortals from Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects. Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects became weak, they could only give up many of their territories and resources, wisely choosing to go on the defensive. Right now, through everybody's vision killer move, the GU immortals who were guarding various areas realized the change in the situation. Many experienced ones understood this was the time to counterattack. Kill these thieves who dared to invade my Central Continent. Beat them, beat these despicable fellows till they are scared out of their wits. Ah, this stifling anger inside me, I shall vent it all on you. With Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects at the lead, waves of counterattacks started. The remnant righteous path, demonic path, and lone immortals in various parts of Central Continent made their move and quickly recovered the lost territories while also attacking the 4 regions GU immortals who were still in Central Continent. The 4 regions GU immortals were beaten back step by step, some even died. These battle scenes were all seen by the Central Continent GU immortals in infallible blessed land, their morale immediately rose. Fang Yuan and the rest got into an increasingly perilous situation. Duke Long was very pleased. This was the scene he wanted to see. Using the banner called Fate GU, almost all the GU immortals of Central Continent were roused and united. This unified force was terrifying. This was already proven by the rise of humanity in Heavenly Court's historical records. At this moment, Duke Long could feel it very deeply. Every generation of Heavenly Court members placed so much focus on Fate GU intentionally to establish the meaning behind this banner. This was a signal from the depths of the soul, it was an intense and irresistible call of duty. Fate GU itself was only a rank 9 immortal GU and could not even be used directly. But in Heavenly Court's hands, it was given a spirit and significance that far surpassed itself, and this influence was further magnified countless times using the history of the human race. Looking at it, wasn't it an incredible situation? Fate GU's practicality was far lower than other rank 9 immortal GU like Wisdom GU. But when it was used by Heavenly Court, it could change people's hearts, unite the scattered forces and merge everyone's will into one. Lu Wei Yin's betrayal. Lone immortal Jian Yisheng and Mi Languang, who was expelled from his sect, both took the initiative to ally and ambush Great Treasury Immortal. With Zhao Lianyun as the representative, Central Continent's GU immortals counterattacked. The other 4 regions' GU immortals retreated with an all-time low morale. It was impossible for an immortal killer move to achieve all these changes, even if it was the rank 9 killer move people's united hearts. But now, Duke Long relied on just Fate GU to achieve these. GU Master and GU Immortals nurtured, used, and refined GU. Not mentioning the other 2 aspects, just based on using GU, Heavenly Court's usage of Fate GU had already broken free of its limitations, they far surpassed the GU's limits, they reached an unprecedented and supreme level. If one considered this kind of move carefully, it was shocking. The Heavenly Court Immortals attacked from all directions, clearing their old debts. The southern and northern immortals were trapped and surrounded, some screamed, some were bleeding, some were panicking, and some looked upon death calmly. Fang Yuan's heart was also shrouded by a dense shadow. He was unable to break Lu Wei Yin's defense and Heaven Overseeing Tower had already stabilized itself. Duke Long had intentionally led Di Zhangsheng far away to fight. The enemy's chances have already been sealed off. Almost all the Heavenly Court GU immortals had this thought. Ha ha ha, in the end, it is still up to me to turn the tides around. Right at this time, a voice familiar to Fang Yuan spread throughout the battlefield. At the same time, Immortal GU House Dragon Palace appeared behind Heaven Overseeing Tower. Bai Ningbing, how did she get control of Dragon Palace? Fang Yuan was astonished. The other GU immortals were even more shocked. Bai Ningbing had already prepared her sneak attack for a long time, while all the immortals were stunned. Dragon Palace shot out a dense smoke that floated towards Heaven Overseeing Tower. It was like Heaven Overseeing Tower had fallen into a swamp. At the crucial moment, the GU immortals inside activated their method. Immortal Killer Move, Invincible Phantom Tower. In an instant, Heaven Overseeing Tower went into phantom form and became virtually untouchable. Going into phantom form, hee hee. Bai Ningbing sneered. You are underestimating me too much. Dragon Spirit. A boy stood beside her. He laughed. Master, watch me. The dense smoke covered Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heaven Overseeing Tower had turned phantom but was still unable to stop the dense smoke from invading it. This is, Dream Path offensive killer move. Fang Yuan's side was stunned and happy, while Heavenly Court's immortals were stunned and furious. What is going on? Both sides were bewildered. Rewinding time back by a little bit. Central Continent, Hidden Dragon Cave. The battle had already reached the moment of victory and defeat. Heavenly Court's reinforcements greatly improved the situation of the 4 dragon generals. But these reinforcements were already expected and responded to by Eastern Sea's rank 8 GU immortals. They fought fiercely, making the battle even more heated. The 4 dragon generals were still curling up inside Dragon Palace, and Heavenly Court's reinforcements would not get past the Eastern Sea GU immortals within a short period. But right at this moment, a figure appeared at the edge of the battlefield. It was Bai Ningbing. Chen Yi had used Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's arrangement to use Immortal Killer move Karma Relocation to block the attack of the immortals. Fang Yuan had quickly found the best method to deal with this. Bai Ningbing attacked under Fang Yuan's command and was transported by Karma Relocation. Bai Ningbing looked at the place she was transported to and realized she was in a dangerous situation. This was a rank 8 level battlefield and it was so intense that it was not something she could be involved in. Bai Ningbing wanted to retreat, but be it Eastern Sea or the Heavenly Court GU Immortals, they both attacked her immediately. The Heavenly Court GU Immortals saw Bai Ningbing as an enemy, they naturally wanted to eliminate her. Meanwhile, the Eastern Sea GU Immortals did not want Bai Ningbing to leave and expose the secret here, so they were going to kill the eyewitness. At once, Bai Ningbing fell into a life and death crisis. This is trouble, she was deeply aware of it. Even if she transformed into Bai Shang form, it would be of no use against killer moves of rank 8 GU immortals. As death descended upon her, she was not afraid at all, she was only dissatisfied and felt pity as she mumbled, "Is this as far as I go?" "No, Master." At this crucial moment, she suddenly heard an innocent and clear voice. Dragon Palace shook as it directly teleported Bai Ningbing to the deepest part of Dragon Palace. This scene stunned all the rank 8 GU immortals in the battlefield, the battle even paused for a moment. "Who are you?" Bai Ningbing discovered that a peculiar life form was standing before her inside Dragon Palace. It had the appearance of a young boy, but it had horns on its head and a tail behind its back. Its eyes shined brightly, it looked cute and adorable. It looked at Bai Ningbing and spoke. "A blessed land has a land spirit, a grotto heaven has a heavenly spirit, while Dragon Court has me, Dragon Spirit." Dragon Court? But isn't this Immortal GU House Dragon Palace? Also, why are you calling me Master? Bai Ningbing naturally knew of Dragon Palace, so she felt very puzzled. Dragon Spirit laughed. Back then, Dragon Man GU Immortals created Dragon Court, but Duke Long did not allow it and changed its name to Dragon Palace. As for acknowledging you as Master, it is my only choice now. Because you are a Dragon Man who had escaped fate and is opposing Heavenly Court, you are the only candidate suitable to be my Master currently. Master, I have been waiting for you. Duke Long does not know about my existence, I have been hiding and making him have the false impression that he had successfully refined Dragon Court. Heavenly Court is too powerful, I implore Master to make a move to solve this present danger. In the future, we will lead the Dragonman race to follow the decree of heaven, we will defeat the human race and make Dragonmen the rulers of this world. What do you mean? Bai Ningbing frowned, feeling inconceivable. I am only a rank 7 GU immortal, even if I have future self, I do not have rank 8 battle strength. Let alone in the current situation, even rank 8 GU immortals are unable to resolve this predicament. Master, you need to have confidence. Fate GU had shown the revelation long ago, humanity will fall and Dragonmen will reign supreme. Our Dragonman race will be the next leaders of this world, and us Dragonmen are destined to expel humanity and unite the world. That scoundrel Duke Long is not worthy of being the Dragonman ancestor, he is our race's biggest traitor. Dragon Court's power has not been displayed fully because it lacked a true master. Of course, Dragon Court is only a rank 8 immortal GU house right now, even if it uses all its might, it will be difficult to make a breakthrough. So I request Master to subdue Di Zhangsheng. Bai Ningbing was surprised. Di Zhangsheng can be subdued by me. Dragon Spirit gave a confident smile. Master, you don't need to be excessively humble. Dragonmen will reign supreme, the divine beast shall pave the path for us. Di Zhangsheng was created by the heavenly Tao, it has innate hatred towards the human race, it is actually our Dragonman race's divine beast. Dragon Court was unable to subdue it because it was only an immortal GU house and lacked a true master. But with you, all the conditions have been fulfilled. Bai Ningbing blinked her eyes repeatedly, coming to her senses only after a long while. She had many doubts, for example the statement that Dragonmen would reign supreme, wasn't it humanity who would reign supreme? If Fate Gu decreed that, why would Heavenly Court still try everything in their power to repair Fate Gu? Bai Ningbing suppressed all the doubts in her mind as excitement emerged in her heart. This is really interesting. I never thought that right before my death, there would be such a twist of events. Heavenly Court still seems to contain many secrets. Although I was a human, I transformed into a dragon man using a special method. But leaving the dragon man race to rise and overturn humanity's rule, this matter truly makes my heart pound when I think about it. It is interesting to resist Heavenly Court, but it is even more exciting to lead the rise of the dragon man race. Interesting. Bai Ningbing's eyes shined brightly as she laughed heartily and said to Dragon Spirit, no matter what you are or what plans you have, I don't care. Anyway, if you had not saved me, I would have already died. Your goal is truly interesting, I accept it. What should I do? Bai Ningbing was different from others, she was a true demon and based her decisions on what she liked. She did whatever felt more exciting to her. The so-called human identity would never bind her. Lu Weiyin had betrayed Southern Border while she had betrayed humanity itself. Dragon Spirit was exalted. Master, with you making a move, Di Zhangsheng's allegiance is an easy matter. Dragon Spirit was so excited that his tears fell. This is great. I had almost given up in despair, but Master, your appearance means that my wait was not in vain. The current heaven's will has been influenced by star constellation's will, which changed the revelation of Fate Gu. But this doesn't matter, a large number of hibernating Gu immortals have died in Heavenly Court, star constellation's will has lost her reinforcements, the will of the Heavenly Tao has started to suppress her. The fact that you appeared here proves this. Now, we will first subdue Di Zhangsheng and fight our way back to the battlefield. Be it Heavenly Court or the Southern-Northern Allied forces, they are at conflict with each other. Although I wish that they would all die, this is an extremely rare opportunity to seize Fate Gu. Comment. As long as we come into contact with Fate Gu, the revelation of Dragonman supremacy will appear and we can imitate what primordial origin Immortal Venerable did back then. With this banner in our hands, we will change the hearts of people, the Dragonman race's rise will be unstoppable. Chapter 1747, Star Constellation Sacrifice. Even Heaven Overseeing Tower with rank 9 Fate Gu was unable to stop the invasion of the Dream Path Killer move. Dragon Palace was a rank 8 Immortal Gu house with rank 8 Immortal Gu Dream Token. The rank 8 Dream Path Killer move that was created from this was probably the number 1 Dream Path Killer move in the present world. As the saying went, one skill to dominate the world. Heaven Overseeing Tower did not have any Dream Path defensive methods, thus Dragon Spirit's action immediately showed effect. If this goes on, Heaven Overseeing Tower will no longer exist. This move is not just pure erosion using the Dream Realm, it is a Dream Path Killer move and Heavenly Court can't do anything to it even with pure Dream Reality Seeker transformation. In an instant, Yao Huang and the rest saw the hope of victory. Who could have thought that at this final juncture, it would be Bai Ningbing who would turn the situation around? We have to hold on. Everyone, defend Dragon Palace. The Southern and Northern Immortals actively cooperated. Heavenly Court's Gu Immortals were pale in shock, their confident expressions were non-existent as they began to attack nervously. Something is wrong. Fang Yuan had been paying attention to Duke Long and quickly realized something wrong. Duke Long, who was entangled with Di Zhangsheng, was not panicking at all, his expression was calm and his gaze even showed a trace of nostalgia. Over 1,000,000 years ago. In the depths of Heavenly Court. Hong Ting, you still dare to come to Heavenly Court, you will not be able to escape anymore. The secret of your rebirth has already been exposed, you actually dared to go against fate and defy Heaven's will to attempt to resurrect dead people, you have truly disappointed me. Duke Long looked at Red Lotus, his expression was dark and his gaze was burning with fury. Red Lotus Demon Venerable smiled. Master, since I have come here, I have already resolved myself to die. Furthermore, I am not here to destroy Fate Gu, so you don't have to be so anxious, Master. Oh, then what are you trying to do? Red Lotus Demon Venerable took a deep glance at Duke Long. I want to persuade Master to help me destroy Fate Gu. Duke Long was stunned before laughing loudly, he then slowly stopped laughing and looked at Red Lotus with his unfathomable dragon pupils. Then tell me, Master will listen properly. Red Lotus smiled. Having been reborn tens of thousands of times, I found clues by chance and used more than 10 rebirths to understand them clearly. Fate Gu has already abandoned humanity, its current revelation have 4 words. He had yet to finish speaking when Duke Long finished his sentence, Dragonman will reign supreme. Red Lotus was dazed before laughing. Master, you knew about it indeed. Are you protecting Fate Gu to ensure the rise of the Dragonman race? After all, the biggest group of dragonmen in existence currently are your own bloodline descendants. Of course not. Duke Long shook his head and said in a deep voice, Hong Ting, you don't know the whole situation. Master was the first to discover the secret of Dragonman supremacy and was also the first to report it. Although I turned myself into a Dragonman and became the Dragonman ancestor, my true heart has always been on humanity's side. Whether you believe it or not, this is the truth. I believe you. Red Lotus showed no hesitation. I believe in Master's heart. Oh Master, the extent to which you understand me is also how much I understand you. You will never betray humanity for your own self-interest. Just then, I was afraid you would deny my words and was intentionally agitating you. HMPH, little brat. Duke Long snorted, but a gratified emotion rose in his heart as he continued. Master created the Dragonman lifespan extension method so I could continue teaching you, to help you lead Heavenly Court and the whole of the human race, but I had never imagined Fate GU would give a revelation of Dragonman supremacy. However, after the initial shock and fright, Master gradually realized that Fate GU is a heaven path GU worm, the way of heaven always takes away surpluses while replenishing deficits. Humanity has prospered, uniting the 5 regions in 2 heavens, we are flourishing much more than the variant human races of the past, this will naturally cause the heavenly Tao to take away surpluses while replenishing deficits. This is the same situation as when primordial origin Immortal Venerable obtained Fate GU and caused humanity to reign supreme. However, Master still continues to defend Fate GU, do you know why? Red Lotus's eyes shined with bright light as he asked, why? Duke Long heaved a deep sigh. Actually, Fate GU's hidden threat was already raised by primordial origin Immortal Venerable in his era. Humanity was united because of Fate GU. Almost all the humans gained the courage to resist the variant human races after learning who heaven sided with. However, once the fate of humans being supreme vanishes, what will the humans do then? This was no doubt a huge threat, and this issue was not resolved even after primordial origin Immortal Venerable passed away. On his deathbed, he handed this heavy responsibility to his disciple. This disciple was the future star constellation Immortal Venerable. When her lifespan was near its end, she finally thought of a way to resolve this hidden crisis. That was assimilating with the Tao. Red Lotus frowned. Assimilating with the Tao. Indeed. Duke Long continued to explain. Fate GU can only be controlled directly by the heavenly Tao. Human or variant human GU immortals can at most observe a thing or two and obtain some revelations. Maybe in the future, with the development of new paths that contest against each other, there may be a way to use Fate GU, but it is impossible for now. Star constellation Immortal Venerable thought. Since she could not do anything to Fate GU, she might as well target the source itself. Thus, she sacrificed herself, and by assimilating with the Tao, she used her own will to participate in the operations of the heavenly Tao, interfering and influencing heaven's will. Because heaven's will was influenced, Fate GU could be grasped by Heavenly Court indefinitely. So that's what happened. Red Lotus Demon Venerable's heart shook as he came to a realization. Fate GU's web is called all-encompassing web. Everything in the world is bound by this web, to be arranged and controlled by fate. Star constellation Immortal Venerable directly manipulated heaven's will and is thus able to influence Fate GU, making humanity reign supreme forever. No wonder Fate GU is so important to Heavenly Court. No wonder Star constellation Immortal Venerable's arrangements could stop 3 demon venerables including myself. No wonder Heavenly Court has stood undefeated, becoming the sacred land of humanity and the #1 superforce in the world. Duke Long nodded. Hong Ting, your intelligence has never disappointed Master. The trend of the world is that there will be unification after prolonged division and division after prolonged unification. Have you seen any superforce that could last forever? Looking at ourselves, people's hearts are easy to change, they are filled with desires which can hardly be satisfied. Even stronger forces or familial fetters cannot fill the deficiencies of the human heart. Looking at external issues, if a powerful GU immortal is offended, it will usually result in the superforce facing huge problems. If this GU immortal cultivated to rank 8, they quite likely could even completely exterminate a superforce. In this world, individual strength can easily surpass a group. There will rarely be a superforce that can last for a great number of years. But our Heavenly Court is an exception. Why is it? Because we have Fate GU. Under the arrangements of fate, we have always been the sacred land of humanity, our internal affairs have always been harmonious, even if there are conflicts, they will be smoothly resolved through all kinds of coincidences and fated encounters. Our enemies usually cannot grow completely, even if there are rank 8 enemies, they would gradually decline, and there won't even be a need for Heavenly Court to make a move personally before the enemies die or even surrender because of all kinds of events. All these miracles were brought about through star constellation Immortal Venerable's sacrifice. Without her rank 9 wisdom path cultivation, there is simply no way to interfere and alter the operations of the heavenly Tao. However, even if it was star constellation Immortal Venerable, her will was often disadvantaged when contesting against heaven's will. Red Lotus realized, like the revelation of Dragonman supremacy. Yes, I was also shocked back then. But when I knew of this ancient secret, I chose to wait. Sure enough, not long later, Fate Gu's revelation changed once again. Dragonman will reign supreme, vanished, it went back to, humanity will reign supreme. Duke Long smiled. Later, I went through Heavenly Court's secret records and discovered such cases had occurred many times. Dragonman will reign supreme is only the most recent one. The revelation of Dragonman reigning supreme is not reliable. Red Lotus's heart sank continuously. Since his master Duke Long already knew of this, then why did he listen to his questions? He suddenly realized, it was not him who had infiltrated Heavenly Court, but Duke Long who had been waiting for him to make inquiries and then tell him Heavenly Court's ancient secret. Red Lotus stopped thinking about it as he looked at Duke Long. Duke Long smiled. Hong Ting, Master waited for you to tell you this and make you repent. You created spring-autumn cicada and can rebirth, this is truly a demonic behavior. It looks like you have hope of changing the past, but do you really? No, Duke Long shook his head and said in a resolute tone. Because above you, there is heaven, there is the heavenly Tao, there is star constellation's will, there is Fate Gu's revelation. How can you overturn heaven? How can you change the past? So what if you have the strength of a rank 9 demon venerable? Limitless and reckless savage are the best examples. How long can a venerable live? The longest living one was Lord Primordial Origin Immortal Venerable, but it was still only 25,000 years. And Heavenly Court, it has millions of years of history and accumulations. It has the sacrifice and protection of more than one Immortal Venerable. It has Fate Gu. This is the big picture, can you topple such a deep foundation? Especially since you have been reborn, you are only using future self to gain rank 9 battle strength. You are not yet a true rank 9 Venerable. Red Lotus was silent. Even the powerful him felt constant helplessness against Heavenly Court. He could destroy Heavenly Court, but what use would that be? As long as Fate Gu existed, Heavenly Court could be easily recreated. And because star constellation's will was influencing heaven's will, Fate Gu would always decree that humanity reign supreme. Heavenly Court would also be the sacred land of humanity and would always be the #1 force. Under Fate's control, all sorts of fortuitous encounters would be arranged and countless talents would actively side with or surrender to Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court was not the crucial point, star constellation's will and Fate Gu were the most important elements. Star constellation's will. First of all, Red Lotus was not a wisdom path rank 9, he had no methods to deal with star constellation's will which had assimilated with the Tao. Secondly, he did not want to deal with star constellation's will. After all, star constellation's will interfered with heaven's will and protected the status of the human race, making humanity prosper eternally. Red Lotus only wanted to revive his family and loved ones, he never wanted to betray or harm his own race. So, there was only one answer left for Red Lotus Demon Venerable, that was to destroy Fate Gu. Chapter 1748, Duke Long's Sacrifice. Destroying Fate Gu would be harmful to humanity, but the 5 regions situation would still remain the same because of star constellation's will. Without Fate Gu, neither Heavenly Court nor the Heavenly Tao would be able to use it. In a situation where both sides were equal, the humans would have a huge advantage, why would they watch as other races got stronger? But Red Lotus was not an otherworldly demon, how would he be able to destroy Fate Gu completely? Even after being reborn countless times, Red Lotus could not find a method which could destroy Fate Gu completely. Thus in this rebirth, he came to persuade Duke Long to make him come over to his side and work together. But who could have expected Heavenly Court to have this kind of secret? Red Lotus' plan failed. Experience was still the deciding factor. Red Lotus wanted to persuade Duke Long and Duke Long was also waiting for this chance to persuade his favored disciple. Hong Ting, stop now. Duke Long spoke earnestly. I said all this so that you will come back. The righteous path is not only about glory and reputation, it is often accompanied by sacrifices. For humanity, for Heavenly Court, star constellation Immortal Venerable sacrificed herself. And you, your parents and wife died in order to pave the road to Immortal Venerable for you. Their sacrifices were necessary and valuable. Do you still not understand it? Hong Ting, stop this now. No, I won't stop. Red Lotus's gaze was firm. Forgive me, Master, I have disappointed you again and again. But this is the path that I want to walk on. Duke Long shook his head with a bitter expression and said, I am not disappointed, I would be suspicious if you agreed instead. I know your will cannot be shaken easily, this was already within my estimation. So now, let your master use himself as an example to teach you. What do you mean? Just as Red Lotus was confused, Duke Long activated an arrangement he had already prepared. Immortal killer move, Dragon Man extermination. Red Lotus's bewildered expression was soon replaced by shock when he sensed this killer move's nature and effect. Red Lotus shouted in shock, Master, you actually killed all the dragonmen in the world. Your children and grandchildren are among them. If I recall correctly, all your children and bloodline descendants should have already turned into dragonmen. That's right. Duke Long's body trembled, his voice was slightly shaky. I am the ancestor of dragonmen, the first dragonman in the world. When I had created the method of dragonman transformation, I had already made this arrangement which allows me to use my identity as the ancestor to easily eliminate all other dragonmen. When the Dragonman Reign Supreme revelation appeared, I had thought of using this method. At that time, however, star constellations will manifested and instructed me to let the dragonmen live for the time being and use them in the future. I hesitated again and again. Hong Ting, you have also seen my children, grandchildren, and descendants. It was the greatest happiness for me to enjoy my old age with my grandchildren and family. Sigh, I am already old. Master, Red Lotus wanted to speak but stopped, not knowing what to say to comfort Duke Long. Duke Long's eyes reddened and were filled with tears. Red Lotus had never seen this side of Duke Long. He said while choking with tears, I understand it clearly, even without the Dragonman Reign Supreme revelation, the Dragonman race will always be a hidden threat to Heavenly Court and the human race. Because the Dragonman race is different from the other variant human races, it was created by me, the members were originally human. It is like a blood-sucking leech that has attached itself to humanity, strengthening itself while sucking on the blood of humans. The Dragonman lifespan extension method is only secondary to lifespan GU for extending life. Lifespan GU are few, but how many billions of people want to extend their lifespan? The Dragonman population will continue to increase while humans will become fewer and fewer. More terrifyingly, dragonmen are born from humans, naturally lowering the vigilance of humans. And with my reputation and the protection of being a Venerable's master, who can suppress or disturb the dragonmen? If this goes on, the dragonmen will suppress humanity someday in the future. If a mishap happens again and Fate GU reveals the revelation of Dragonman reigning supreme again, the consequences will be unimaginable. Duke Long then looked deeply at Red Lotus. When you entered Heavenly Court this time and tried to persuade me, I suddenly realized that this was the timing that star constellations will predicted. The Dragonman race should not exist, but its extermination also needs to have value. This value is to persuade you, my disciple Hong Ting. Master wants to teach you the spirit of sacrifice, I will show you the spirit of the righteous path of humanity. Red Lotus. Master. Duke Long's body shook as he could not hold back his tears any longer. He had personally killed his children and descendants, his heart was filled with sorrow and pain like it had been cut by a knife, but there was not even a trace of regret. His voice suddenly rose as he shouted towards Red Lotus, Hong Ting, my disciple. Your path is a dead end, you cannot win against Heavenly Court. Because Heavenly Court's power is not just its superficial foundation or even Fate GU. Its power comes from the generations of GU immortals who do not hesitate to sacrifice themselves. They protect humanity and righteousness with each generation carrying on this will and moving forward. Without these sacrifices, humanity might still be trampled and enslaved by the variant human races, we would not have such a good life like now. Hong Ting, Master taught you, Heavenly Court cultivated you, what you enjoyed were the fruits of the dedication and sacrifice of our predecessors from ancient times until now. So, come back, Hong Ting. Follow the arrangements of fate. Red Lotus. Infallible Blessed Land Battlefield. Duke Long's memory passed by in an instant, his gaze regaining its sharpness once again. He looked at the distant dragon palace and sneered, such a pity. Dragon spirit, your existence was already deduced by Fairy Ziwei. We are only playing you at your own game. At the next moment, he activated an Immortal Killer move. He had once used this Immortal Killer move to persuade Red Lotus but it did not succeed. But now, it was more than enough to kill Bai Ningbing. Immortal Killer move, Dragonman extermination. In an instant, Bai Ningbing's body shook violently, her heart felt like it was clenched by someone as she fell on the ground while coughing large mouthfuls of blood. Dragon Spirit cried out in shock, what happened? It did not know the secret of the past. In truth, it had only taken birth long after the Dragonman race was exterminated by Duke Long. Under Dragon Spirit's frightened gaze, Bai Ningbing quickly died. Her corpse that was gradually losing heat was lying in the large dragon palace. Heavenly Court. Fairy Ziwei walked out of the large formation that was imprisoning Spectral Soul. Heavenly Court's battlefield was not cleared up yet. Fairy Ziwei came to Spectral Soul's prison to give a quick check. I worried too much. Even if Spectral Soul Demon Venerable was savage and powerful, the current Spectral Soul is only a remnant soul with no GU worms or immortal essence. How can it do anything? Let alone escaping this imprisonment. Oh, Dragon Spirit is also exposed. Everything is going according to plan. Fairy Ziwei smiled when she observed this. She had deduced Dragon Spirit's existence as she had doubts about it. An ownerless dragon palace was actually able to capture the 4 dragon generals. It was extraordinary. After she deduced Dragon Spirit's existence, when Dragon Spirit tried to hoodwink Duke Long and create a false impression that Duke Long had refined Dragon Palace, Heavenly Court was aware of it. Duke Long consulted Fairy Ziwei. Fairy Ziwei played Dragon Spirit at its own game, laying a trap that was hidden Dragon Cave. This trap not only targeted the Eastern CGU Immortals, it also was a plot against Dragon Spirit and Dizang Shang. Without such a strategy, how would Fairy Ziwei dare to use the killer move Everybody's Vision and broadcast the battle in infallible blessed land everywhere? Fairy Ziwei entered an immortal GU house which held Benevolence GU. She thought to herself, now, it is time to deal with Fang Yuan's Spring-Autumn Cicada. Infallible blessed land battlefield. Boom. Dragon Palace was sent flying away while Dragon Spirit screamed in panic. The Dream Path offensive killer move was broken. Heaven Overseeing Tower was restored back to its previous state and turned back to solid form. The Heavenly Court GU Immortals inside the tower laughed heartily. Their plan to bait the enemy was a great success. Damn it, so this was all Heavenly Court's scheme. The battle had never left their control. Fang Yuan's expression was heavy as he admitted, we have lost this battle. Bing Sai Chuan realized this as well, but he still sent GU Immortals to attack Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heaven Overseeing Tower retreated extremely quickly, making the southern and northern immortals feel even more despair. Time to retreat. Fang Yuan's gaze turned. He had a rank 8 killer move that used fixed immortal travel as the core, which could give him the chance to leave if used properly. However, at this time, a group of Heavenly Court GU Immortals with Lu Weiyin at the lead surrounded Fang Yuan and the rest. Fang Yuan's side was like a cornered beast that counterattacked wildly. Lu Weiyin saw the situation and used an immortal killer move, 8 Points Sanctum. This move was a defensive killer move. It not only protected the user, it could also affect others. 8 Points Sanctum instantly formed a sand sphere that covered the GU Immortals and blocked every immortal killer move. It even blocked Calamity Luck Alter's killer moves. Everyone, both enemies and allies, was astonished. Lu Weiyin's strength had far surpassed their expectations. Lu Weiyin's display completely threw the southern and northern immortals into the abyss of despair. On the other side, Duke Long got free from Di Zhangsheng and charged towards Dragon Palace. Di Zhangsheng wanted to chase him but was held back by Heaven Overseeing Tower and other immortal GU houses. Duke Long, the greatest traitor of our people. Dragon Spirit screamed as it hid in the depths of Dragon Palace. Duke Long would not be able to find it within a short period of time. He poured in his immortal essence without any regard for the expenditure, forcibly refining Dragon Palace once again. He laughed. I have to thank you for resolving this troublesome Di Zhangsheng for us. Now, as long as I gain complete control of Dragon Palace, Di Zhangsheng will also submit to me. Heavenly Court will obtain the strongest immemorial desolate beast in history. Dragon Spirit shouted in anger, cursing Duke Long for being despicable and sinister while using all its effort to block Duke Long's forceful refinement as it hurriedly called for Di Zhangsheng. Di Zhangsheng roared repeatedly and attempted to break away from the obstruction. Heavenly Court's defensive line was on the verge of breaking, but at the crucial moment, Heaven Overseeing Tower displayed its might again, activating Fate Vanquish. Di Zhangsheng bore the full brunt of the killer move and was suppressed fiercely. Over half of the GU Immortals on Fang Yuan's side were instantly killed by Fate Vanquish. The rank 9 killer move's power was truly too terrifying. Only Fang Yuan alone was immune to Fate Vanquish's power. Fang Yuan, don't think you will survive. You cannot escape. These immortal killer moves were specially prepared for you. Have a taste. Close to 10 rank 8 GU Immortals surrounded Fang Yuan and a large amount of killer moves assaulted him from all directions, making it difficult for him to use GU worms at the moment. Trying to target my Spring-Autumn Cicada. Damn it. Fang Yuan clenched his teeth as he exerted all his efforts in trying to activate his killer moves. He did not hesitate to expend his Dao marks. Myriad sword ghost dragons flew out but were suppressed by Heavenly Court GU Immortals, let alone breaking past the defensive line. Suddenly, a dragon roar resounded throughout the battlefield. Di Zhangsheng's enormous head collided into the encirclement that surrounded Fang Yuan. This legendary immemorial desolate beast was also in a hurry. It disregarded everything and endured countless killer moves to go reinforce Dragon Palace. Ha ha ha, too late. Duke Long laughed loudly. He had already refined Dragon Palace for most part and was about to grasp Dragon Spirit as well. Dragon Spirit shouted, "Even if I die, I won't let you have your wish." Boom! Dragon Palace self-detonated, countless fragments shot everywhere. The majestic Dragon Palace only had a small foundational floor and several pillars left. This is the time. Taking advantage of this chaos, Fang Yuan finally got free from some obstacles and his clone activated an immortal killer move, Spring Autumn Success. The demon wants to counterattack. I will protect you all. Lu Weiyin shouted while activating 8 Points Sanctum again, protecting countless GU Immortals. Now is the time. At the exact same moment, Fairy Ziwei quickly activated an immortal killer move, Benevolent Equality. Duke Long directly tore the 8 Points Sanctum that was protecting him and carried the remnant Dragon Palace while charging towards Fang Yuan. He ran into Di Zhangsheng on the way, but Di Zhangsheng actually lowered its head and showed submission. Fang Yuan, you should also go and die. Duke Long appeared before Fang Yuan like he had teleported. At the moment of life and death, Fang Yuan quickly activated every killer move he could, but they were all blocked or restrained by the other Heavenly Court GU Immortals. Bam! A muffled sound echoed. He was directly hit by Duke Long. His blood, flesh and bone fragments splattered everywhere as his soul dissipated completely. He was dead. Fang Yuan was dead. The final hope was also gone. Bing Sai Chuan and the rest were like defeated soldiers as they stood dazed on the spot. Some took the initiative to surrender, while Bing Sai Chuan and some others gave a loud shout and attacked Duke Long. Duke Long sneered as he grabbed and punched, killing Bing Sai Chuan and the rest. After a while, there were either dead or surrendered southern and northern immortals. This long war had finally ended. We won. Heavenly Court is mighty. Duke Long is mighty. Many immortals rejoiced and Central Continent was even filled with cheers and scenes of jubilation. Duke Long swept his gaze around calmly before fixing it on Lu Weiyin. Lu Weiyin bowed. What instructions does Lord Duke Long have? Duke Long chuckled, saying with a deep meaning, we owe you for lending benevolence GU and siding with us in this battle. Heavenly Court won't stint on your rewards. Lu Weiyin quickly thanked him. Duke Long secretly transmitted to Fairy Ziwei, did that killer move work? Fairy Ziwei, yes, do we attack Lu Weiyin now? Duke Long secretly replied, leave him be. If we harm him, who will dare to side with us later? That killer move is only an insurance, whether Fang Yuan rebirths or not. As long as I am around, what harm is there in repeating this again? Duke Long took a heavy breath and said, our plan has finally been achieved. Fairy Ziwei's voice was choking with emotions. That's right, using the plan of repairing Fate GU, we lured the other 4 regions to invade and stimulated Central Continent's people to have a common hatred for the enemy and eliminated internal spies. The great era is coming, our Central Continent is united, our Heavenly Court's commands will be obeyed and implemented sincerely. She knew Duke Long was about to die. Duke Long laughed heartily. He did not care about his death as he encouraged Fairy Ziwei. With you here, I can rest at ease. Wisdom Path GU Immortals would not fight on the front lines, they were more useful when making plans for the big picture. Master. Right at this time, under Feng Juji's protection, Feng Jinhuang arrived before Duke Long and wept. She also knew this was the final moment of Duke Long's life. Duke Long stroked Feng Jinhuang's head and said, people have to die one day, fallen leaves return to their roots, how can a new generation emerge without the departure of the old? Disciple, don't be sad. At the same time, Duke Long secretly transmitted his voice and instructed, O Huang become an immortal venerable and led Heavenly Court towards the peak. Our Central Continent is right in between the other 4 regions and it has no geographical advantage. But we have our own superiority, we possess the sect system which is long-lasting. Previously, even with Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects, we could only barely stabilize and maintain the situation. Countless sects, lone and demonic immortals were dissatisfied towards my Heavenly Court occupying so many cultivation resources. But after this battle, there are no internal threats left, the people's hearts have changed, their will have merged and they want to take revenge. Heavenly Court is the place where the hearts of the people will be entrusted to. In terms of favorable condition, geographical advantage, and unity, Heavenly Court has existed for millions of years and possesses fate GU, we already have favorable conditions. After this battle, we also have the strongest unity among the 5 regions. Go conquer them and unite humanity. Establish an unprecedented supremacy that will last for all eternity. Master can only do this much for you. After saying this, Duke Long looked longingly towards the horizon. The setting sun dyed the clouds red in the horizon. The dying sunlight shone on Duke Long's body. His dragon horns were broken, but it made them look even more malevolent and domineering. His shining dragon eyes still had battle intent in them. His scales were scarred and broken, blood dyed them red, his dragon claws had taken the lives of countless rank 8s. The Heavenly Court immortals surrounded him in the air, looking at him silently. No one spoke. Di Zhangsheng lowered its head, unmoving like a giant statue. Earth shook as it produced waves of deep, rumbling noises. At this moment, the regional walls that separated the 5 regions had completely disappeared. The earth veins were connected as the 5 separate regions merged into one. Without the obstruction of the regional walls, people could freely move through the 5 regions with no obstructions. At the same time, the differences in heaven and earth chi also disappeared gradually. Duke Long smiled, saying with anticipation for the future. Ah, the great era has arrived. This was his final sentence. He closed his eyes slowly. Heavenly Dragon's last stand, his time was up. Like this setting sun, the legend of a generation had passed away. But his invincible figure was deeply imprinted in the eyes of the countless people of Central Continent. His sacrifices and contributions were like a spiritual fire that burned in the hearts of countless people. Duke Long, Duke Long. Chapter 1749, Clone's Rebirth. Surrounded by pitch-black space, there was a boundless river. It was flowing fast without stopping, its start and end could not be seen. Secluded domain of heaven and earth, river of time. Water of the river of time was pale white and colorless, but countless ripples were colliding and creating beautiful colors at all times. Every ripple was a story, an event that occurred in the past. Innumerable droplets of water splashed and collided, the whole river of time was like a river of fireworks that shined with dazzling and brilliant lights. A small GU worm appeared which was covered in an emerald green light, it dove into the water of the river of time. This GU worm's head and stomach were brown and yellow, there were tree bark rings-like marks on its surface which seemed to be a testament to its long life and dignity. The wings on its back were huge, they were translucent and resembled 2 overlapping tree leaves. The small GU worm was inconspicuous in the large river of time, it was smaller than an ant. After the GU worm dove into the water, it displayed great determination as it went against the flow, moving upstream. Treasure Yellow Heaven. There was a commotion, GU immortals were discussing with each other. This commotion was caused by 3 rib bones along with a video of a battle. Unimaginable, this demon Fang Yuan already has such battle strength. Sigh, his growth is too fast, he is already a demonic path overlord of this generation. Fang Yuan is an otherworldly demon, and has used Spring-Autumn Cicada to rebirth, he naturally has an enormous advantage in cultivation. I recognize her, this is Heavenly Court's GU Immortal Thunder Ghost True Monarch, who could have thought she would actually be suppressed by Fang Yuan. Thunder Ghost True Monarch Jing Lan, this is an old senior, she is still alive. So much for Central Continent's Heavenly Court being regarded as the #1 human force. They have been trying to capture Fang Yuan all along, and even sent a rank 8 GU Immortal, but look at this, Fang Yuan actually beat her up so miserably. Inside Heavenly Court, Chen Yi's expression looked unsightly and Fairy Ziwei's body trembled from anger. Fang Yuan, this scoundrel is simply too sly, Fairy Ziwei said with gritted teeth. This was because the video in Treasure Yellow Heaven only contained the part where Fang Yuan successfully counterattacked and pummeled Jing Lan. Chen Yi asked with a frown, Lady Ziwei, do we report this to Thunder Ghost True Monarch? Thunder Ghost True Monarch Jing Lan was the most recently awakened expert of Heavenly Court. Jing Lan chased after Fang Yuan, but a moment of carelessness led to her being counterattacked by Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan used myriad dragons and directional confusion fog to delay her while he entered the depths of the regional wall. When Jing Lan chased after him again, Fang Yuan was already far away from her. Fairy Ziwei could not deduce Fang Yuan's exact location, so Jing Lan had lost her way in the regional wall. Ziwei, where is that demon Fang Yuan? Jing Lan transmitted her voice, she was burning with rage so her tone was very blunt. What should have been an easy prey actually caused her to land in such an extremely miserable situation with serious injuries. How could the proud Jing Lan accept this fact? She gritted her teeth, desperately wanting to kill Fang Yuan and erase her shame. Fairy Ziwei was silent for a moment before slowly informing Jing Lan. What, even you lost him? Jing Lan was furious and discontented. Fang Yuan's wisdom path attainment is already no longer the same as before. But he will go to Langya Blessed Land no matter what. We have already made some arrangements there. Although we failed to capture this scoundrel, we have also made huge gains. Not only did we waste a large amount of his immortal essence, we also forced him to reveal many trump cards. How could a GU immortal like him be dealt with in one battle? Fairy Ziwei gently persuaded Jing Lan. Jing Lan was silent, standing on the spot. After a while, she heaved a long sigh, her anger had dissipated. I underestimated him. This person is astonishingly talented, he is indeed worthy of being the person chosen by Heaven's Will and Shadow Sect. Next time we fight, I won't make the same mistake. Compared to Fang Yuan, there is an even more troublesome matter. Fairy Ziwei tactfully informed Jing Lan of the matter in Treasure Yellow Heaven. The calm mood Jing Lan had just regained was immediately overthrown by waves of anger. What? This guy actually dared to sell my rib bones. Outrageous, simply outrageous. Jing Lan immediately connected to Treasure Yellow Heaven, and sure enough, saw her own rib bones being put for sale. Anger surged to her head, and her eyes turned bloodshot. Soon after, when Jing Lan saw the projection of the scenes where Fang Yuan pummeled her, she almost crushed her teeth. Damn that guy, when he ends up in my hands later, I will tear off his skin, pull out his tendons, and grind his bones till they turn to dust. Fang Yuan retreated while paying close attention to Treasure Yellow Heaven. He sneered inwardly. Although he lost the battle against Jing Lan, being able to achieve such a battle result against a rank 8 with his rank 7 cultivation was truly a glorious loss. 3 rib bones in that video were actually Fang Yuan's glorious flaunting of his battle strength. Victory or defeat is secondary in a battle, the more important thing are the gains and losses. Although I lost this battle, the things I gained are what I need. Fang Yuan had tried to regain his upper extreme heavenly eagle but was obstructed by Lu Weiyin. Feng Juzhe had invaded Langya Blessed Land and discovered Wisdom Gu, he even took away Gu Fangzheng and Danghun Mountain. Fang Yuan detonated Danghun Mountain, causing Thunder Ghost True Monarch to awaken. At the same time, Chen Yi's Karma Divine Tree could display its ability, which Fairy Ziwei used to deduce his location. Thunder Ghost True Monarch thus accurately ambushed Fang Yuan, but Fang Yuan was able to escape due to all kinds of factors. Heavenly Court discovered and invaded Langya Blessed Land, they will absolutely attack again. Langya Blessed Land is extremely important to me, I cannot lose it. I must gather every force that can be used to fight Heavenly Court's next invasion. The 4 Races Alliance can be used. My reputation has increased greatly after this battle, I will have even more power to express my opinion in the 4 Races Alliance and even be regarded as the hope of fighting rank 8 by these variant human GU Immortals. While escaping quickly, there were GU Immortals in Treasure Yellow Heaven who inquired about the price of Thunder Ghost True Monarch's rib bones. But why would Fang Yuan sell them? This was the best opportunity to damage Heavenly Court's reputation, and it was the opportunity for him to raise his own reputation. He was not going to be greedy over some profits and sell these 3 rib bones away. I must grab every opportunity to damage and weaken Heavenly Court's prestige, while also raising other GU Immortals' courage. When the crucial moment comes in the future, there will be even more GU Immortals who will dare to oppose Heavenly Court. Furthermore, would there not be Heavenly Court's members among these buyers? There must be. There is even a huge possibility of Thunder Ghost True Monarch being among them. Hey. Fang Yuan chuckled. He was being optimistic in these tough times, but his mood was still heavy. Heavenly Court had discovered Langya Blessed Land, who knew when they would attack again. This made Langya Blessed Land a dangerous place. Once Langya Blessed Land's defense failed, it would be a heavy blow to Fang Yuan. Since long ago, Fang Yuan had been deepening his cooperation with Langya sect and had received huge help at many crucial times. Langya Blessed Land could be considered an immense support to him. But it was not easy to resist Heavenly Court. With just him, Langya Blessed Land and the 4 Races Alliance, was there really hope? It is not the time to give up yet. When I return to Langya Blessed Land, I will absorb the long hair true meaning. Even if Langya Blessed Land's defense fails, I will try to extract every possible benefit from Langya sect. Just as he was thinking of this, Fang Yuan's body suddenly shook and an immensely shocked expression appeared on his face. He was a demonic overlord who wore a constant poker face and was extremely shrewd. Why would he turn so pale? Just a moment ago, Fang Yuan's clone had told him extremely valuable information. My clone was reborn. Spring Autumn Cicada brought the will of my future clone and returned to my time path clone. So my attempt had failed and Heavenly Court still managed to repair Fate GU completely. Fang Yuan's expression soon calmed down and the raging waves in his heart were also quickly pacified. Fang Yuan's gaze was deep and dark like the abyss. When he gave Spring-Autumn Cicada to his Time Path clone, he had expected a possibility of such a situation. So he was able to quickly accept this fact. Heavenly Court's strength made him feel like he was pressed down by an entire mountain range. But isn't this more interesting? Fang Yuan's eyes revealed a smile, but it was filled with coldness and mania. Fear, what was that? Even if he failed 10,000 times, a million times, or hundreds of billions of times, as long as there was a chance, Fang Yuan would never give up. Chapter 1750. Obtaining Steel Life Immortal GU. Langya Blessed Land. A large group of variant human GU immortals were waiting in front of teleportation GU formation with anticipation. Suddenly, the immortal formation began to activate and let out a dazzling light. Standing in front of the variant human GU immortals was black-haired land spirit who was immediately happy as he shouted, "He is back, he is back." Behind him were the Snowman, Rockman, and Inkman GU immortals who all had complicated expressions. Langya Blessed Land had just been invaded by Heavenly Court, and due to the Four Races Alliance Agreement, these three variant human tribes had the responsibility to help the Hairy Men and protect Langya Blessed Land from Heavenly Court. When Langya Land Spirit requested their help, these three variant human tribes' leaders were unwilling, they were filled with bitterness and regret towards the alliance agreement. But what use was their regret? They could not go against the alliance agreement. Even if they successfully violated the alliance agreement by some way, so what? At present, humanity was the ruler of the 5 regions, an undeniable overlord. The survival space for variant human tribes was extremely small, they could only live by allying with each other. This strategy was not wrong. It was just that the 3 variant human tribes had not thought Langya sect would actually attract Heavenly Court. What kind of existence was Heavenly Court? This was the #1 human force, a colossal organization that had existed for millions of years. Compared to Heavenly Court, the Four Races Alliance was too minuscule and would not even be able to endure any setback. So when Langya Land Spirit requested for help, these 3 races had been unwilling and had been making excuses. Who could have thought that at this time, Fang Yuan would put Thunder Ghost True Monarch's rib bones for sale in Treasure Yellow Heaven? This result invaded the variant human GU immortals' hearts like a hurricane. They saw hope of resisting Heavenly Court. But the more important thing was Langya Blessed Land now possessed rank 8 level battle strength. If they refused Langya Land Spirit's request, besides having to face the backlash from breaking the alliance agreement, the 3 races would also have to face Fang Yuan, a GU immortal that could fight rank 8. The balance in their hearts had quickly inclined to one side. The Snowmen were the first to change their standpoint, expressing full support for Langya sect. Following them were the Inkmen and Rockmen. It was truly correct of me to take in Fang Yuan as an external supreme elder. Langya Land Spirit was greatly pleased at achieving his objective. After he got Fang Yuan's message and knew he was returning, he had an inspiration and brought these variant human GU immortals to welcome Fang Yuan. The light dissipated and Fang Yuan's figure appeared in front of everyone. The variant human GU immortals looked on with all sorts of expressions as Langya Land Spirit greeted Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan looked around and laughed on the inside. It is the same scene as my previous life. Langya Land Spirit really has some political skills, using me to suppress the other allies. But Fang Yuan did not want to engage in small talk and waste time for no reason. Just like in the previous life, he gave a nod to Shui'er and left. This small action, however, greatly excited the Snowman GU immortals, while making the Rockmen and Inkmen feel envious. Because of the battle with Thunder Ghost True Monarch, Fang Yuan's status had greatly risen in everyone's hearts, but Fang Yuan's mind was sober at this moment. After the rebirth, his battle strength was once again back to the peak of rank 7, he was simply nothing when compared to Heavenly Court. In fact, even in the previous life when he had peak rank 8 battle strength, so what? Fang Yuan and Langya Land Spirit had a private conversation. Langya Land Spirit returned Fang Yuan's perceivable Dao Immortal GU and also told Fang Yuan that Heavenly Court had indeed planted some methods and harmful Dao marks in Langya Blessed Land. Langya Land Spirit was extremely worried. Because even after trying with all his strength, he could do nothing to these Dao marks. Fang Yuan was well aware that these Dao marks were a portion of Heavenly Court's famous Star Cast Killer move and were intentionally left by Feng Juzhe. In his previous life, when Heavenly Court initiated the second invasion, these Dao marks turned into a spiral tunnel that directly transported 4 rank 8 GU immortals in. In this battle, Fang Yuan obtained rank 7 fixed immortal travel but exposed his Emperor Yama killer move as well as his Suan Bu Jin identity, and even lost his ally, Langya sect. In the end, Fang Yuan retreated. Heavenly Court also had to retreat while Longevity Heaven became the one who benefited the most. Fang Yuan played dumb and replied to Langya Land Spirit, "First Supreme Elder, don't be too anxious, let me deduce first and plan on how to deal with this situation." Langya Land Spirit heaved a sigh. Alright. He found it strange. Fang Yuan actually did not mention even a word about the long hair true meaning. This did not match Fang Yuan's usual personality. However, Langya Land Spirit also would not remind Fang Yuan. After all, although he had agreed to give it to Fang Yuan, he was still extremely unwilling to part with the long hair true meaning. Right now, Wisdom Gu was still in Langya Blessed Land. Fang Yuan arrived before Wisdom Gu and stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights, using his time path clone to deduce continuously. This rebirth was somewhat special compared to the previous ones. The rebirth period was quite long ago, having traveled years into the past. But this was reasonable, because Fang Yuan's clone already had rank 7 cultivation back then and Spring Autumn Cicada had also been advanced to rank 7, he had also used the killer move Spring Autumn Success. Fang Yuan's main body was killed while the time path clone self-detonated with much deeper foundation than before. Spring Autumn Cicada had more fuel and the rebirth would naturally go back a lot further in time. As for the first rebirth where Fang Yuan traveled back 500 years with just rank 6 cultivation, it was the work of Heaven's will, it was a special situation. Actually, there is also the killer move Spring Autumn Target in Red Lotus, True Inheritance which can go back to a specific time. But this killer move cannot guarantee the success of rebirth, so I chose Spring Autumn Success to remove the possibility of failure. Fang Yuan took a glance at Spring Autumn Cicada. The current Spring Autumn Cicada was not rank 7 like in the previous life, it had returned to rank 6. Moreover, because of the rebirth, its state was not optimal, it looked extremely lethargic and its body was brown like dying leaves. It required time to rest and recover. In Red Lotus, True Inheritance, there are many killer moves that can hasten the recovery of Spring Autumn Cicada. Spring Autumn Cicada is indeed worthy of being Red Lotus Demon Venerable's vital immortal GU, its effect is truly too powerful. Fang Yuan sighed internally. He was no longer a mortal GU master so there was no danger of Spring Autumn Cicada bursting his aperture. With the current progress, even without Fang Yuan speeding up Spring Autumn Cicada's recovery, it would recover completely by the time of Central Continent's Refinement Path Convention years later. At that time, Fang Yuan would be able to use Spring Autumn Success once again. But Heavenly Court is so strong, even if I can rebirth again and again, it would be no use if I don't find a way to win against Heavenly Court. Thinking of his previous life, Fang Yuan felt a mountain pressing down on him. Heavenly Court's foundation was so unfathomable that it shook the world. Fang Yuan was still unable to see how many GU immortals there were in the immortal graveyard. Duke Long definitely had pseudo-immortal venerable battle strength, only Bo Qing might have the strength to contend against him. Fang Yuan himself was killed by Duke Long. Duke Long alone turned their strong invasion into an utter failure. Naturally, a venerable was an invincible existence, even Duke Long would not be able to compete against any of their killer moves. But with this, the exchange of moves between venerables across time and space along with their respective clans made the originally chaotic situation even more complicated. These venerables had arranged countless methods which influenced the whole situation again and again. Fang Yuan felt a headache recalling it. Besides Duke Long, there was also Fairy Ziwei, Chen Yi, Li Huang, Qing Yi, Yuan Chongdu and others. These GU immortals were elites and could not be looked down upon. Even more terrifying was their sacrificial mindset towards Heavenly Court, they were willing to contribute everything without fearing death. That kind of fanaticism towards Heavenly Court and humanity made Fang Yuan feel a trace of wariness and trepidation. If I can't find a way to win against Heavenly Court, it is useless even if I have the chance to rebirth countless times. To win against Heavenly Court, I have to try my best in this life and not let go of any chance to strengthen myself. I need to plan carefully. Fang Yuan started to make plans. There was no doubt that skill and foresight were required to make use of rebirth. Although Fang Yuan had the advantage of future knowledge, he only had memories. He was no longer the same as before, he was the number 1 rank 7 in the world, his every move had wide-ranging influence. If he changed many things for minuscule profits, the influence would become even greater and cause reality to experience huge changes, sharply lowering Fang Yuan's rebirth advantage. But if he was too hesitant to make changes because of this, then he would not improve enough to become Heavenly Court's match when the time comes. This required a good balance. There was also another crucial thing: he had to prevent other GU immortals from knowing he had been reborn again. The longer he could preserve this secret, the more beneficial it would be for him. Fang Yuan spent about 16 hours to sort everything out, creating an enormous and meticulous plan. Fang Yuan called Langya Land Spirit. "How many immortal GU do you have? Let me have a look at the list." I thought about it and felt that refinement path true meaning would not be useful to me. If there are suitable immortal GU, I might give up on refinement path true meaning and choose those immortal GU. Ah, Langya Land Spirit cried out in shock and joy. "Okay, I will immediately give you the list." As far as Langya Land Spirit was concerned, the symbolic meaning of the refinement path true meaning was too huge. It was just like what Fate GU was to Heavenly Court. Besides its own power, it had emblematic psychological value as well. Previously, Langya Land Spirit had lost Fang Yuan's Dang Hun Mountain, and according to the agreement, he had to compensate Fang Yuan with refinement path true meaning, but he had been very unwilling. Fang Yuan looked at the list and discovered Steel Life Immortal GU was actually included. In his mind, he nodded in satisfaction. He could see from this that Langya Land Spirit did not hide anything. In the past, Fang Yuan had used Spectral Soul's True Inheritance to exchange for Long Hair True Inheritance from Langya Land Spirit. Both sides had held back, not exchanging their trump cards. Langya Sect had Long Hair Refinement Path True Meaning, Long Hair Refinement Path Formation, Omnipresent 4 Cs, Refinement Water, Steel Life Immortal GU, Heavenly Giant Suller, the agreement with Longevity Heaven, and so on. These would not be taken out to exchange with Fang Yuan. In the previous life, Fang Yuan had obtained Refinement Path True Meaning from Langya Land Spirit, raising his Refinement Path attainment level to Quasi-Supreme Grand Master level. This choice was not wrong, as the Refinement Path attainment level had provided Fang Yuan with a huge help. But now that Fang Yuan had been reborn, his attainment level in Refinement Path was the same as in his previous life. It was still at Quasi-Supreme Grand Master. So Refinement Path True Meaning was useless to Fang Yuan. This was because the attainment level of Fang Yuan's main body was always shared with the Time Path clone. Unlike Spectral Soul's clones, Fang Yuan's main reason for creating the Time Path clone was to make the Time Path clone bathe in the light of wisdom and help him deduce things. How could this work without shared attainment levels? Now, although it was only the Time Path clone who had reborn, his attainment level was the same as before, so the attainment levels of Fang Yuan's main body naturally rose as well. Thus, Fang Yuan made a different choice in this life. "I choose Steel Life Immortal GU, and also these give me all the Time Path Immortal GU." Langya Land Spirit was dazed for a moment before quickly agreeing, "Okay." Chapter 1751. I know what I am doing. Fang Yuan looked at Steel Life Immortal GU closely. This Immortal GU resembled a bee. It was the size of an adult fist, its body was covered in alternating gold and black stripes, and its whole body was covered with a layer of thin red radiance. When it moved, this red light would brighten. The most eye-catching part was the bee's stinger. It was extremely thin and sharp, its length surpassed the body itself, reaching that of an adult's forearm. According to rumors, Steel Life Immortal GU was the first Immortal GU obtained by Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. Its origin was extraordinary. Fang Yuan looked at Steel Life Immortal GU and was immersed in thoughts. Although Thieving Heaven is a Demon Venerable, his nature is mild and not bloodthirsty. He is completely different from Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. But because of this nature, he created Theft Path. Fang Yuan knew a lot about Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was an otherworldly demon. He wholeheartedly wanted to return to his original world. His nature was mild and he did not enjoy killing. He only gathered resources and cultivated constantly, searching for a way to return home. What to do? Facing this question, Theft Path was the answer he created. The 10 Venerables were the most outstanding characters in history. After Fang Yuan was reborn, he became even more interested about these Venerables and placed even greater importance on them. It could be said that in Fang Yuan's previous life, in the unprecedented battle which started based on Fate Gu's restoration project, Venerables played a key role. Every time a Venerable made a move, it would almost change the entire battle situation. The unparalleled strength and far-sighted planning of each Venerable left an extremely deep impression on Fang Yuan. Suddenly, a light of inspiration flashed past Fang Yuan's mind. Limitless, Star Constellation, Primordial Origin, Genesis Lotus, Giant Sun, Red Lotus, and Paradise Earth, all of them used various kinds of methods to take part in the 5 regions' chaotic war. Only Thieving Heaven, Reckless Savage, and Spectral Soul did not make a move. No, Spectral Soul was already taken captive and only his remnant soul remained. How could he have any power to make a move? who inherited Shadow Sect's true inheritance and led Shadow Sect to battle, can be considered as his move. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable is incomparably bold and has the deepest killing intent. After death, he accumulated strength, reaching the terrifying achievement of having Great Grandmaster attainment in every path. Just based on his attainment levels, he can be considered as the #1 person in history, surpassing all the past Venerables. But even he has to follow the most fundamental law. Without any immortal essence or Gu worms, and having only a remnant soul left, he had no tools to do anything and could only be a captive of Heavenly Court. So did Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable and Reckless Savage Demon Venerable predict the 5 regions' chaotic war or not? Both of them should have been able to predict it. After all, both Primordial Origin and Limitless left behind their arrangements. These two are also similarly rank 9 Venerables and were born later as well. How could they not have deduced it? They deduced this battle, so did they leave behind any arrangements to intervene? It is possible that Thieving Heaven only thought about returning home, but what about Reckless Savage? He was one of the Demon Venerables who attacked Heavenly Court. He should have left a lot of arrangements. They were not exposed in my previous life, but can I find Reckless Savage's arrangements in this life and use them? Fang Yuan's eyes brightened at this thought. This was an excellent method. Facing a colossal force like Heavenly Court, unless he could advance to rank 9 Venerable, he would have to borrow the strength of others. At this time, Lang Yalan's spirit interrupted Fang Yuan's thoughts. Fang Yuan, you now have rank 8 Steel Life Immortal Gu. This means you have 5 rank 8 Immortal Gu in your hands. Hehe, it is truly unbelievable. You only have rank 7 cultivation but actually possess 5 rank 8 Immortal Gu. Such a situation has rarely happened even in the whole of history. Lang Yalan's spirit sighed with deep emotions. Fang Yuan had obtained Steel Life Immortal Gu, he also had Attitude, Wisdom Sword, Years Flow Like Water, and Soul Beast Token. He had 5 rank 8 Immortal Gu indeed. This naturally did not include Wisdom Gu because Wisdom Gu was rank 9. Lang Yalan's spirit had been paying attention to Fang Yuan all along and was quite aware of his situation. Fang Yuan smiled nonchalantly. How could he tell Lang Yalan's spirit that he would still obtain more rank 8 Immortal Gu in the future, like Spring, Summer, Big Chi, and Regret? If he said it, wouldn't it scare Lang Yalan's spirit? It is just that this Steel Life Immortal Gu has a flaw. Back then, when Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable left it behind, he was worried this Gu would bring catastrophe to people, thus he only left behind 3 chances to use it. In my previous life, in the battle to defend Langya, the chances were used to kill Thunder Ghost True Monarch, then Steel Life Immortal Gu was destroyed by Chen Yi using Karma Divine Tree. This is not the only flaw of Steel Life. Using Steel Life Immortal Gu alone does not distinguish between enemies and allies. While it targets enemies, it will endanger the user as well. This is quite an awkward result. So, now that I have obtained Steel Life Immortal Gu, I will have to deduce some killer moves to remove this flaw at least. If possible, it would be even better if I could lift the limit of using Steel Life Immortal Gu for 3 times only. Various thoughts flashed in Fang Yuan's mind. However, he was aware that Steel Life Immortal Gu's 3 usage limit was set by Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. It would be extremely difficult for him to resolve it. While thinking of these, Fang Yuan smiled at Lang Yalan's spirit. First Supreme Elder, this Steel Life Immortal Gu seems like it can only be used 3 times. Do you know why that is the case? Lang Yalan's spirit was inwardly shaken. Fang Yuan actually saw through it. How was this possible? This was Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's method, even he himself was unable to sense it. No clues could be seen from the outside. Even when the previous land spirit used all kinds of refinement path methods, he was unable to sense the limits placed by Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. Fang Yuan only took several glances and he understood it clearly. Lang Yalan's spirit blurted out with a shocked expression, "How did you discover it?" The moment he said this, Lang Yalan's spirit's expression changed, because this question was no doubt confirming Fang Yuan's words. He coughed and said with an awkward expression, "It was not that I intentionally hid it from you, I was planning to tell you." Although land spirits could not lie, they could think and scheme. Like the black-haired land spirit, he was ambitious and had good leadership as well. The previous white-haired land spirit was more proficient in enduring silently and managed to develop Lang Ya blessed land very well. The black and white land spirits each had their own strengths. The black-haired land spirit intended to say the truth, but his idea was saying the truth after Fang Yuan discovered the flaw. It was not considered lying. Fang Yuan looked at black-haired land spirit and said with a faint smile, "First Supreme Elder, I wanted to exchange for refinement path true meaning, just these immortal Gu won't do. Steel Life is also in this state, You need to add some things to fill in the difference. The black-haired land spirit rolled his eyes and mumbled, I know this. Speak, what else do you want? Fang Yuan smiled. I have a suggestion. He said his suggestion, the general idea was to deepen the collaboration with the other three races, by using Langya sex accumulation to exchange for the time path immortal GU that the three variant human races had. Langya land spirit was surprised. You still want to exchange for time path immortal GU? Are you thinking of developing in time path? Fang Yuan nodded. This was necessary. He currently had yet to kill Sha Cha and lacked spring, summer, autumn, and winter, these 4 time path immortal GU. He also had not gotten rank 7 edge GU from Taiku Zhang yet and could not use time cutting edge either. Fang Yuan's time path immortal GU came mainly from 2 sources, the most important of them came from He Fan's true inheritance, while the others were some GU worms left from graceful chaotic dual stage. Fang Yuan's refinement path attainment level was at quasi-supreme grandmaster, his time path was 2. Adding on that red lotus, true inheritances were still in the river of time, Fang Yuan would need to go into the river of time. Thus, he naturally needed powerful battle strength in the aspect of time path. Langya land spirit nodded. Then I shall swallow my pride and discuss with the other 3 races. Fang Yuan, the important thing now is still Heavenly Court. We need to quickly get rid of the harmful Tao marks in the Blessed Land before secretly relocating as quickly as possible. Fang Yuan quickly comforted the anxious black-haired land spirit. I know what I am doing, relax. I am gathering these time path immortal GU to deal with Heavenly Court as well. I have some plans to deal with the harmful Tao marks in Langya Blessed Land. I will modify our super immortal formation after some time as well. That's good. The black-haired land spirit patted Fang Yuan's shoulder and left. His actions were extremely efficient. He settled the discussions not long later and gave the time path immortal GU to Fang Yuan. Counting in the time path immortal GU from Langya sect's treasury as well as those exchanged from the variant humans, there were 5, 3 rank 6 and 2 rank 7. Among the rank 7, there was Time Concealment Immortal GU and Time Needle 1 Immortal GU. Among the rank 6, the Immortal GU were yesterday, 10 days, and successive years. To Fang Yuan, the most helpful one was Time Concealment Immortal GU as this GU could conceal the GU Immortal. He was extremely happy to have obtained it. Time Needle Immortal GU was an offensive GU which would shoot out thin needles towards the enemies once activated. The remaining 3 rank 6 GU were just passable and would at most be used as supplementary Immortal GU. A day later, large amounts of rank 8 Immortal materials were thrown down and formed into a multicolored whirlpool. Wisdom GU dove into the vortex of its own accord like a cat that had smelled fish. Fang Yuan opened his sovereign immortal aperture and stored the multicolored whirlpool inside. Back then, Langya land spirit had used this method to deceive Wisdom GU into moving to Langya Blessed Land from Hu Immortal Blessed Land. This method was used in Fang Yuan's previous life as well. This time, although he was familiar with it, he pretended like it was the first time he saw it and praised Langya land spirit endlessly. To hide the secret of his current rebirth, he needed to start concealing it from these small details. The black-haired land spirit was praised by Fang Yuan, but his disappointed feelings were already revealed. Sigh, my heart feels so empty now. Black-haired land spirit heaved a deep sigh. He had been coveting Wisdom GU for a long time. He had not expected it would still go to Fang Yuan in the end, and he had even spent a large amount of lifespan GU in the process of feeding it. But he could do nothing about it. Under the threat of Heavenly Court's invasion, the black-haired land spirit had to accept this no matter how unwilling he was, to prevent Wisdom GU from ending up in Heavenly Court's hands. Take a look at this Immortal GU recipe. We will refine this Immortal GU next. After Fang Yuan collected Wisdom GU, he gave an Immortal GU recipe to Langya land spirit. Langya land spirit looked carefully. Myriad self-immortal GU. Right, this GU can greatly increase my battle strength and it will be helpful in dealing with Heavenly Court. Fang Yuan said while walking out of this valley. Start preparing, I will go to gather the 8 main immortal materials. Oh, wait a moment, didn't you want to modify the Blessed Land's formation? Fang Yuan waved his hand without even turning around. Don't worry, I know what I am doing. Langya land spirit. Chapter 1752 Killing Immortals, Plundering Lu. Northern Plains. Autumn Blade Plain. A GU immortal walked barefooted on the grassland. He was tall and well-built, and had a bronze luster to his skin. He was wearing an armored vest that revealed his shoulders. His pants were rolled up, revealing his calves. Every step he walked, there would be bloody footprints left on the grassland. He was Meng Tu, Blade Path Quasi-Great Grandmaster, rank 7 GU Immortal with peak rank 7 battle strength, he was one of the top 3 experts among Meng tribe's rank 7 elites. In order to break through in his blade path attainment level, Meng Tu chose to guard Autumn Blade Plane, imitating Ren Zi's actions and almost ignoring the outside world completely. He was dead silent as he walked step by step in Autumn Blade Plane, his eyes were shut as he concentrated deeply, trying to comprehend the profundity of Blade Path. Suddenly, he opened his eyes. He saw that monsters were emitting shrill shrieks as they attacked him. These monsters were horrifying in appearance, they had human shapes but had malevolent and terrifying faces, they had knife-like claws, their eyes were filled with blood, their intense killing intent made Meng Tu's hair stand on end. What in the world is this? Meng Tu was shocked and furious. After fighting against these monsters, he was shocked to realize that each of them had rank 7 battle strength. Even with his peak rank 7 battle strength, against this unceasing wave of monsters, he had no choice but to retreat. But right when he was about to retreat, the monsters attacking him self-detonated. This sudden event was out of Meng Tu's expectations, he was truly caught off guard. Boom boom boom, the monsters continued to self-detonate with great power, Meng Tu retreated while he spat out blood. These monsters are working together in a tight formation, they have great coordination, there must be a GU Immortal controlling them. I wonder if they are a soul path or enslavement path GU Immortal. Meng Tu was uncertain and worried, he was about to seek help from his tribe when the world suddenly changed colors. By the time Meng Tu reacted, he was already trapped inside an immortal battlefield. This immortal battlefield was set up so quickly. Shock flashed across Meng Tu's eyes. Until this point, he had not even seen the enemy's face yet. Sir, who are you, why are you being enemies with my Meng tribe? Meng Tu shouted. The mastermind Fang Yuan smiled lightly, he started to prepare Luo Po seal while ignoring him. Fang Yuan did not have Wu Yong's concealment method, once he started preparing Luo Po seal, intense winds blew, the overwhelming aura permeated the entire Yama battlefield. His location was thus exposed. Meng Tu's sharp gaze looked over, he saw that Fang Yuan was an ordinary-looking GU Immortal, wearing a grey robe and looking very much like a common passerby. But Fang Yuan's current aura made Meng Tu incredibly astounded. In fact, Meng Tu was dazed, he only has peak rank 7 cultivation, how can he use a rank 8 killer move? In truth, Luo Po seal was only quasi-rank 8, but it had immense aura. Because Fang Yuan did not have rank 8 immortal essence yet, the Luo Po seal he activated now had been modified and weakened a little. Meng Tu gritted his teeth, charging at Fang Yuan. Northern Plains GU Immortals were this courageous after all. Fang Yuan smiled lightly, he was relaxed and calm, as if Meng Tu did not exist. A large number of human-shaped Yama children appeared and blocked Meng Tu with their lives. The number of Yama children sent Meng Tu into despair. Once Fang Yuan's Luo Po seal was ready, he attacked from afar. Due to the Yama children's obstruction, Meng Tu could not dodge anywhere, he was hit by Luo Po seal. Instantly, his expression turned pale and ghastly. He was dead, his soul dissipated completely, not a trace was left. Fang Yuan started collecting his loot. Meng Tu's body was intact, his immortal aperture was also left behind, there were many cultivation resources and 3 immortal GU inside. In the previous life, Meng Tu self-detonated, Fang Yuan only obtained Bladedoing immortal GU, his gains were much higher now. After dispelling Yama battlefield, Fang Yuan looted the whole of Autumn Blade Plain. The drinking blade wine that was buried underground was his main goal, Fang Yuan also collected it. Other than that, there was a vast number of mortal edge GU. Forget about immortal level edge GU, it was in the hands of southern border GU immortal Taiku Zhang. Meng Tu self-detonated in my previous life, it was out of my expectations, his blade path Dao marks were left in this Autumn Blade Plain, making the potential of this place extraordinary. But in this life, Meng Tu was killed by me before he even thought of self-detonating. Now that I plundered everything here, this Autumn Blade Plain is as good as history. Fang Yuan took nearly everything, he swept through the area with a cold gaze before he turned around and left. He did not return to Langya Blessed Land, because he still had immortal materials to collect. There were 4 main immortal materials for refining myriad self-immortal GU, they were drinking blade wine, edge GU, front-back divine obstruction needle, and floating life fire. He had the first 2 now, only the latter 2 were left. Fang Yuan came to Divine Needle Valley. This was an artificial valley that rank 7 GU immortal Sleeping Lady purposely created for the Divine Hedgehog. Sleeping Lady was a rank 7 Northern Plains lone immortal who did not have outstanding battle strength, but she controlled an immemorial desolate beast Divine Hedgehog that was a sword path immemorial desolate beast. The divine hedgehog had an ability to shoot out all the spines on its body, which was extremely fast and had terrifying power that could slaughter anyone it hit. If Sleeping Lady and the divine hedgehog cooperated well, there was a chance of killing Meng too. Precisely so, in the previous life, Meng Zizai and Meng Zhao from Meng tribe investigated Meng Tu's death and had actually suspected Sleeping Lady. Fang Yuan came to Divine Needle Valley but did not enter. He used the same trick as earlier, sending the Yama children to attack. Soon, Sleeping Lady's shocked screams could be heard in the valley. Such guts! You dare to attack my Divine Needle Valley! The Yama children exploded one by one as Sleeping Lady fled, cutting a sorry figure. Want to join up with the Divine Hedgehog? Fang Yuan sneered. He used the remaining force of the Yama children's self-detonation to rapidly form Yama battlefield, trapping Sleeping Lady inside. Sleeping Lady had almost the same reaction as Meng Tu. What immortal battlefield is this? It is so fast. Fang Yuan slowly showed up. Of course it is. But compared to Rumor Cage, this is still too slow. Sleeping Lady looked at Fang Yuan with a wary expression. Sir, who might you be? Do we have any grudges between us? Please let me off, we can negotiate if you need anything. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. I want your life. Sleeping Lady's expression turned pale. The Yama children attacked together. Sleeping Lady held on desperately in this situation as she screamed. Spare me, I will do anything you want. Wait, I will teach you the method to control the Divine Hedgehog, how about that? I will use this in exchange for my life. Fang Yuan looked at her plainly. Stop acting, how can someone who was able to survive between Murong tribe and Meng tribe be such a coward? Seeing that Fang Yuan exposed her, Sleeping Lady roared as she displayed her true battle strength. Her strength was not low, it was quite different from the outside world's evaluation. She managed to fight a way out of the Yama children's encirclement. But so what? She could not break out of the Yama battlefield, she was still a fish caught in the net. Fang Yuan started to prepare Luoko seal. Sleeping Lady rushed towards him and attempted to stop Fang Yuan from using his move. But her strength was much lower than Meng Tu. If he could not stop Fang Yuan, how could she? Sleeping Lady smiled bitterly. I am just a lone immortal who does not offend anyone. I usually stay home and rarely go out. I just wanted to develop my small business here. To think that trouble would come to me even when I am home. You devil, one day, you will face your retribution. All your evil acts will be repaid to you 100-fold. You will end up like me. She cursed Fang Yuan loudly, venting the anger and fear in her heart. Fang Yuan's voice was icy cold. It seems that you do not know your sin yet. Sleeping Lady stared with wide eyes. What sin do I have? She was extremely angry. Not only was Fang Yuan trying to kill her, he was also slandering her. Sleeping Lady smiled coldly. You are a demonic path Gu immortal, but you are trying to slander your enemies like a righteous path hypocrite. HMPH, simply ridiculous. You do not even deserve a bit of respect from me. You want to know your sin? Your weakness is a sin. Saying this, Fang Yuan shot out Luoko seal. As expected, Sleeping Lady was hit by this move as her defenses broke like thin paper. She died on the spot. Fang Yuan kept her corpse in immortal aperture. The only downside was that Sleeping Lady had self-detonated all of her immortal GU. Fang Yuan dispelled Yama battlefield. He disguised himself as Sleeping Lady as he stored all of the front-back divine obstruction needles from the Divine Hedgehog. The Divine Hedgehog's battle strength fell to rock bottom. Fang Yuan directly suppressed it and sent it into his immortal aperture. As for this Divine Needle Valley, Fang Yuan did not let it off. He used Pulling Mountain Immortal GU to directly take it away, stuffing it into his immortal aperture. Nothing was left behind. Chapter 1753 Retrieving Red Lotus, True Inheritance Again. Northern Plains. In an ordinary grassland, there was nobody around. Suddenly, a mystical light appeared in the sky. 4 GU immortals emerged. They were Fang Yuan, Ying Wuxie, Fairy Miao Yin, and Lady White Rabbit. After rebirth, Fairy Miao Yin and Lady White Rabbit, along with Sixth Hare who was inside Langya sect as a spy, had not been sacrificed yet. They were all alive. Alright, you can go back and cultivate. Fang Yuan opened the entrance of the Sovereign Immortal Aperture as the 3 GU immortals went in. All of these remaining Shadow Sect GU immortals were inside Fang Yuan's Sovereign Immortal Aperture, cultivating. Fang Yuan needed them to assemble the ancient battle formation omnidirectional travel. This was the method that allowed Fang Yuan to move rapidly across large distances. Omnidirectional travel was very important to Fang Yuan now. It made up for his weakness in movement. After Fang Yuan lost fixed immortal travel, this move replaced it and helped Fang Yuan get out of many dangerous situations. But fixed immortal travel is still the more convenient to use. Fang Yuan sighed internally. After leaving Divine Needle Valley, he moved through more than half of northern plains before arriving here. The aura of omnidirectional travel could not be concealed, it drew attention. Fang Yuan purposely made some detours here and there, he had to go around several super forces stealthily. If he had fixed immortal travel, it would not be so troublesome. Fang Yuan added in his head, of course, fixed immortal travel has to be rank 7 for me to use it well. By now, Feng Zhuzhe should already have rank 7 fixed immortal travel. In the previous life, Fang Yuan had stolen rank 7 immortal GU fixed immortal travel from Feng Zhuzhe using Great Thief Ghost Hand in the Battle of Langya. This GU worm was very useful to Fang Yuan. Even after becoming rank 8, rank 7 fixed immortal travel could become the core of a space path immortal killer move. The killer move's power was sufficient to help Fang Yuan travel around the world with ease. Fixed immortal travel was really convenient, it was a top-tier space path immortal GU, its user could basically go anywhere they desired. Omnidirectional travel was useful but inferior to fixed immortal travel, be it the 5 regional walls or the heavenly wind chi wall, or even the number of people needed to use it. In my previous life, I was lucky and stole fixed immortal travel using Great Thief Ghost Hand. But this method is unreliable, it requires luck. How can I ensure that I obtain fixed immortal travel this time around? Fang Yuan was reborn using Spring Autumn Cicada, he brought back precious information, attainment levels and killer moves, but his luck had also fallen drastically. These last days, he had been using luck path methods to sustain his own luck. But in terms of luck path, the truth was that even though he explored Imperial Court Blessed Land and destroyed 88 Truyong building, his luck path gains were far less than the world thought. As Fang Yuan's cultivation level rose, these luck path methods were starting to fall behind. But thankfully, in the previous battles, be it Mengtu or Sleeping Lady, their battle strength is inferior to mine, even with lower luck, it was not a problem. Fang Yuan was quite satisfied with the 2 battles earlier. The entire situation was within his control. This feeling of controlling everything that happens was truly wonderful. In the previous life, he lacked a powerful attacking method like Luo Po Seal, he could only rely on Great Thief Ghost Hand to win through a surprise attack, or to use Myriad Dragon and Yama Children for a battle of attrition, it was quite troublesome. This resulted in Mengtu self-detonating, and Fang Yuan being forced to escape during the Battle of Langya Blessed Land. In the previous life, Fang Yuan took many risks and spent a vast amount of effort and time to deduce Luo Po Seal. He only succeeded during the 5 regional mountain range battle, he used it to capture rank 8 GU immortal Zhen Shenguang alive, shocking even Wu Yang. This time around, he could use Luo Po Seal from the start, the effect was clear and evident. After killing Mengtu and Sleeping Lady, Fang Yuan had 3 of the main immortal materials for Myriad Self-Immortal GU, he only needed the Floating Life Fire now. According to his previous life's experience, Fang Yuan did not need to find the Floating Life Fire personally, after some time, Central Continent GU Immortal Zhongji would sell it in Treasure Yellow Heaven. By then, Fang Yuan could just buy a bit from him. Fang Yuan came to this ordinary-looking plane for other purposes. He landed and after hesitating for a bit, he activated an immortal killer move. Burning Soul Bursting Luck. My soul foundation is not high now, I need to be careful with using Burning Soul Bursting Luck. But this time, I am entering the River of Time, to play safe, I need to use it. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart. In the previous life, many GU immortals made deductions on him, they had been doing it all the way until Fang Yuan used Rebirth again. Although none of the deductions succeeded because of Emperor Yama, it expended Fang Yuan's soul foundation in order to block deductions. Right now, Fang Yuan still had a batch of Guts GU, but his soul cultivation had been stopped. Danghun Mountain had just self-detonated in Fairy Ziwei's hands. Fang Yuan needed a lot of time before he could restore Danghun Mountain to its peak condition again from that tiny fragment. After using Burning Soul Bursting Luck, Fang Yuan's luck rose but it still could not be compared to his previous life at the same time period. Spring Autumn Cicada's downside was immense, the higher his cultivation level, the lower his luck became. It was truly a wonder how Red Lotus Demon Venerable dealt with it in his time. Fang Yuan continued to activate GU worms as he moved around the plains in a circle. He stomped lightly as he activated the natural formation here. Next, he went inside the immortal formation, vanishing on the spot. Similar to Southern Border, there was also a natural tributary of the River of Time here. After Shadow Sect found it, they used formation path methods and the natural Dao marks here to create an immortal level formation, concealing this place and preventing anyone from finding it. Fang Yuan looked at the tributary of the River of Time as Time Path Mortal Gu flew out of the river, floating above the river. Fang Yuan calmed his mind, carefully using a Time Path Immortal Killer move. This move was created by him days ago, he had not named it yet, its main purpose was to conceal one's own existence and protect against deductions. After using this move, Fang Yuan breathed in deeply, he jumped into the tributary of the River of Time. Flowing in the tributary of the River of Time, he quickly entered the main river. Far away, an immortal Gu house floated on top of the River of Time, river water flowed beneath it as ripples and waves crashed continuously. This immortal Gu house was designed as a pavilion that was not covered on all four sides, it was very simplistic in appearance. The cover was made of yellow grass, the pillars were gray-white rocks that were not polished. There was a folding screen in the pavilion consisting of multiple panels, it was the most elegant decoration in there. There were 4 Gu immortals in this pavilion, 3 male and 1 female. They were the 4 Zunzi from Central Continent's Spirit Butterfly Valley, they cultivated Time Path and had rank 7 cultivation level, they were quadruplets with a close relationship with each other. Fang Yuan used the Red Lotus True Inheritance that Spectral Soul found to get rid of Heavenly Court's Lord Huangxi, it caused Heavenly Court to experience a lack of Time Path experts. Even though the 4 Zunzi were not Heavenly Court members, they had great strength and were loyal, Fairy Ziwei promoted them personally. Right now, they were guarding the River of Time inside present and past pavilion. Once Fang Yuan entered the River of Time, they would notice it immediately. Oh, at this time, Shang Zunzi gasped lightly. What is it? From among the 4, the youngest and the only sister Xuan Guozi asked. The eldest brother, Shang Zunzi, pointed at the folding screen in present and past pavilion, he said with hesitation, I think I saw a ripple earlier on one of the panels. You did. Zhang Zunzi and Sha Zunzi looked at each other. Then let's check it. Xuan Guozi had a vibrant and cheerful nature, but because this was an important mission, she did not fool around. The 4 Zunzi activated present and past pavilion, they inspected for tens of times but could not find anything amiss. Everything was normal. I guess I saw wrongly, haha. Shang Zunzi was a little embarrassed. Brother, don't be too nervous. That Fang Yuan is only at the peak of rank 7, we 4 Zunzi can defeat him even without present and past pavilion. Zhang Zunzi consoled. Even though Lord Huangxi died, Heavenly Court had investigated fully, they knew about his usage of Red Lotus, True Inheritance and also Fang Yuan's current Time Path battle strength. Xuan Guozi giggled. Don't worry, even if all of you die, as long as I survive, you will be revived. You're cursing your brothers now. Oh you are really naughty. Brothers, spare me. Present and past pavilion was filled with laughter. These 4 who were toying around and having fun would never expect that Fang Yuan was already inside the River of Time. In his previous life, present and past pavilion found him even though he had an incomplete immortal Gu house. But now, it was different. Firstly, Fang Yuan was only facing present and past pavilion, because now was too early, Heavenly Court had not assembled the other 3 Time Path immortal Gu houses yet. Secondly, Fang Yuan had a deep understanding of present and past pavilion. He had destroyed it twice in his previous life, those 4 Zunzi had died at his hands, Fang Yuan managed to capture 3 of their souls and soul-search them, he learned a lot about the mysteries of present and past pavilion. Finally, Fang Yuan exchanged for a few Time Path Immortal Gu after rebirth, one of them was rank 7 Time Path Immortal Gu Time Concealment, it allowed a Gu Immortal to conceal their traces. Using an Immortal Killer move with it as the core, he could evade present and past pavilion's detection, and his Time Path Killer move was even amplified inside the River of Time. Because of these, rank 7 present and past pavilion could not detect Fang Yuan's movement. Fang Yuan swam in the River of Time, moving rapidly. He faced some obstruction and difficulties of course. Like the sudden springs which could even kill rank 8 Gu Immortals, or the ripples of time that could reduce lifespan, any Gu Immortal would fear them. There were also year beasts, the River of Time had the highest number of desolate and ancient desolate level year beasts. As he swam, Fang Yuan met at least 3 immemorial year beasts. Thankfully, he had already used Burning Soul Bursting Luck before, his luck was quite good and most of these dangerous situations were resolved without much problem. Against these year beasts, Fang Yuan chose to avoid them, he tried not to cause a commotion. One reason was present and past pavilion, if he fought, there was a high chance of getting exposed. The other was that Fang Yuan did not own a year essence pool now. Without it, he could not accumulate his forces, catching year beasts was currently a burden for him. Eventually, spring-autumn cicada started to vibrate, after a while, Fang Yuan found the Stone Lotus Island. Chapter 1754 Fang Yuan's Future Self. Fang Yuan ascended the Stone Lotus Island again. More accurately speaking, it was the first time this life, he had come here in the previous life. Once he stepped onto the Stone Lotus Island, Fang Yuan watched the scenes of Red Lotus Demon Venerable's memories. He had already seen this in the previous life, they were just repeated scenes, but Fang Yuan still felt slightly moved. Red Lotus Demon Venerable was truly a very unique Venerable. He had rank 9 cultivation level but used Spring Autumn Cicada to rebirth. He abandoned his rank 9 Venerable position. But if he did not, he would not be able to return to the past and change history to make up for his regrets. Thus, later on, he created Future Self, Call of the Ancient, and Support of the Future. He used these killer moves. The Stone Lotus Island that contained Red Lotus, True Inheritance had concealment abilities. Heavenly Court could not find it easily. They had not made much progress all along. In the previous life, when they were about to obtain it, Fang Yuan ruined their chances and Feng Zhuzhe had no choice but to use Assimilation Wind Song. He destroyed the Stone Lotus Island. From Heavenly Court's perspective, it was quite sad. Fang Yuan stepped onto this Stone Lotus Island. It had been here for over 1,000,000 years. But for some reason, when Fang Yuan arrived this time, looking at the river water outside the island, he had a realization. The origin of the River of Time should be the time when the world was created. The end of the River of Time is naturally the time when the world is destroyed. The vertical movement and length of the River of Time is this entire world's experiences. The horizontal movement and width of the River of Time is represented by everything in this world, the birds, flowers, fish, insects, people, beasts, plants, and others. Evidently, the more bountiful the world is and the more things that exist, the wider the River of Time would be. The more desolate and barren this world is, the fewer things that exist, the narrower this river will be. Fang Yuan had Time Path Quasi-Supreme Grand Master Attainment level. His inspiration flashed now and he gained lots of realization and comprehension towards rebirth. The essence of my rebirth is just bringing a will from the downstream to the upstream through Spring Autumn Cicada, before it fuses with me from a certain point in time. Because of the theory of time in this world, the world is unique and absolute, there are no parallel dimensions. When I rebirth, the downstream remains as it is. After I died, Heavenly Court dominated the world and the 4 regions were helpless against it. But after rebirth, I am like a drop of ink in this clear river water. As I continue to change events and people, some things will exist while others vanish. This ink will spread to a larger amount of water. This entire river will be dyed in a different color. When the ink gets to the point where Heavenly Court repairs Fate GU and holds the Refinement Path Convention, many things will change. The future will no longer be the same. Fang Yuan was a transmigrator from Earth. There was an idea called the butterfly effect. But now, Fang Yuan understood that in this GU world, the ink effect was more useful to explain the influences of rebirth. Of course, I can easily change things because Fate GU is not complete, and most importantly, because I am an otherworldly demon not bound by fate. If Red Lotus Demon Venerable goes back to the past, it is hard for him to change many things. The outcomes of many things will still return to their original root. Or rather, otherworldly demons are a huge blob of ink, while native GU immortals are just ripples in the water. Even though they can cause some disturbances in the short run, under the restraint of Fate GU, everything will return to its original state. There would be no changes. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan's admiration towards Red Lotus Demon Venerable grew. This special existence had forcefully created the current situation despite not being an otherworldly demon. The price that he had paid for this and the sacrifices he had made were simply unimaginable. There were many Time Path Immortal materials left on the Stone Lotus Island, among which were mostly rank 8 immortal materials. Red Lotus, true meaning, it could allow a GU Immortal's Time Path attainment to rise to Quasi-Supreme Grand Master attainment level. There were also all sorts of immortal killer moves that used Spring Autumn Cicada as the core. Spring Autumn Success was one of them. There was also the method that Red Lotus Demon Venerable specially left behind. It was called Future Self. It could allow a GU Immortal to enter his peak rank 7 condition in the future. The only thing lacking was Regret GU. This rank 8 Immortal GU was still inside the Dragon Whale Grotto Heaven. It was taken by Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. In the previous life, Fang Yuan had used Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's arrangements to obtain Regret GU first before being transported to the Stone Lotus Island. Now, because he knew about the location of the Stone Lotus Island in the River of Time, he came here in advance and took the Red Lotus True Inheritance. This was much earlier than last time. In the previous life, Fang Yuan entered the River of Time 3 times. The first time, he was attacked by Heavenly Court's 4-time Path Immortal GU houses and was also ambushed by Li Huang. He lost the incomplete Immortal GU house that he had created after much work. After exposing all his trump cards, he escaped. The second time, Fang Yuan used Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's method to obtain Regret GU and directly teleported to the Stone Lotus Island to inherit the Red Lotus True Inheritance. The third time, he found a new Stone Lotus Island that Heavenly Court was about to get. By working with Bing Sai Chuan and the rest to deal with Heavenly Court, he fought for the Red Lotus True Inheritance. Eventually, Feng Zhuzhe used Assimilation Wind Song to destroy the Stone Lotus Island. Neither side could gain anything from it. All in all, Fang Yuan's experiences in the River of Time could be said to be full of ups and downs. He had experienced success and failure. This time, using the memories that he had, Fang Yuan first tasted success. Regret GU isn't here, but that is fine. The crucial thing now is Heavenly Court's invasion of Langya Blessed Land. There is still some time until I upgrade and mass refine all of my Immortal GU. I should make use of future self first. Fang Yuan let out Ying Wuxie and the rest, letting them cultivate on the Stone Lotus Island to familiarize themselves with future self just like in the previous life. Different from last time, Fang Yuan's subordinates, Fairy Miao Yin and Lady White Rabbit, were still alive. It raised the usefulness of future self by a large extent. He himself could use future self too. In the previous life, he had rank 8 cultivation level. Future self was useless for him, but now, he only had rank 7 cultivation. Future self was still effective on him. Wait, maybe this is the supposed timing for my arrival on the Stone Lotus Island. Back then, Red Lotus Demon Venerable deduced that I would come here with rank 7 cultivation level. That's why he left behind future self to help me. In the previous life, I thought that Red Lotus had made a wrong deduction, but now it seems that Red Lotus Demon Venerable had considered the situation after my rebirth. That means, this Red Lotus True Inheritance was not left to my previous life's self, but was meant for the current me. Bright light flickered in Fang Yuan's eyes continuously for a while. He made Ying Wuxie and the rest stay behind while he left the Stone Lotus Island. Using a time path killer move, he concealed himself, continuing to swim. He remembered the third scene of entering the river. Towards the other Stone Lotus Island, he had his plans. His goal was to explore 2 Stone Lotus Islands in this trip. After spending a long time and facing some obstacles, Fang Yuan looked for all the spots that the Stone Lotus Island could appear. But regrettably, he did not find it. Stone Lotus Islands can move on their own. It seems that this Stone Lotus Island is not fixed in position. It is different from the previous one. Fang Yuan was not dejected even though he could not succeed this time. It was part of his expectations. Present and past pavilion. The 4 Zunzi encountered a small problem. An ancient year beast attacked present and past pavilion. It flickered with profound light and remained unmoving. Soon, with the cooperation of the 4 Zunzi, this ancient year beast died. Xuan Guozi cheered. Great, we obtained a huge amount of time path immortal materials. That's right. Zhang Zunzi sighed deeply. The River of Time is truly the sacred land of cultivation for his time path GU immortals. It is just like how Danghun Mountain and Luopo Valley are sacred lands to soul path GU immortals. Sha Zunzi added. That's right, Heavenly Court sent us to guard present and past pavilion. Even though we are supposed to defend against the demon Fang Yuan, this is also an extremely good chance for us to cultivate. If we can get more time path immortal materials, our cultivation will be smoother. Shang Zunzi smiled. Not just that, within present and past pavilion, we can observe the upstream and downstream. We can see many scenes of the past and future. Looking at the influences of countless beings and their effects across time, it would greatly benefit our comprehension of time path. We can raise our time path attainment levels more easily. Xuan Guozi gritted her teeth lightly. It is a pity Fate GU was damaged and is incomplete. Long ago, before Fate GU got damaged, by observing the upstream and downstream of the River of Time, time path great experts could observe the past and peer into the future. They were able to predict many future events accurately. Sha Zunzi nodded continuously. That's right, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable did that in the past. Even though she was not a time path GU immortal, her wisdom path methods were extraordinary. She could mimic the power of time path and use the tributary of the River of Time to deduce many future events. She predicted that the 7 Louis Gui siblings would create the first immortal GU house in history, Turtle House, and thus created Star Constellation chessboard. The 4 Zunzi reminisced about the glorious history of time path before they calmed down, resting and processing the ancient year beast corpse, before continuing their observation of the River of Time. They did not know that Fang Yuan had secretly entered the River of Time and obtained a Red Lotus True Inheritance before leaving. Fang Yuan went back on the same route, leaving the River of Time and arriving in the tributary before getting back to Northern Plains. He left the formation and activated Immortal GU fixed Immortal travel, going towards southern border. Why did Fang Yuan have fixed Immortal travel at this point in time? Immortal GU were unique, fixed Immortal travel was still with Feng Juzhe currently. The reason, Fang Yuan was currently using Future Self. This time path killer move was very mystical, it created a human-shaped phantom image in Fang Yuan's sovereign Immortal aperture. The phantom image sat in the air, it was like a lump of water from the River of Time, shining in multicolored lights. The phantom image's face was exactly the same as Fang Yuan. The phantom image had a sovereign Immortal aperture too. This Immortal aperture was Fang Yuan's future Immortal aperture. There were many phantom GU worms inside, for example, fixed Immortal travel. Since rebirth, Fang Yuan has not caused too much of an influence yet, the downstream of the River of Time was not dyed by the ink yet. Thus, the downstream was still maintaining the events of Fang Yuan's previous life. Future Self was able to allow a GU Immortal to enter their strongest rank 7 condition. In the previous life, Fang Yuan's strongest moment as a rank 7 was right before the 5 regional mountain range battle. At that time, Fang Yuan had already captured Sha Cha and the other southern border pursuers, he had also extorted all of the southern border super forces. To resist strong enemies and plot against Heavenly Court, so that he could obtain Red Lotus, true inheritances in the River of Time, Fang Yuan annexed Sha Cha's time path Immortal aperture and became a rank 8, he faked his tribulation in the 5 regional mountain range to set a trap for them. At the start, during the Battle of Langya Blessed Land, Fang Yuan stole Feng Juzhe's fixed Immortal travel. After that, he attacked Plunder Shadow Earth Trench and secretly worked with Kai Kuyu. After that, Fang Yuan set the Year's Flow execution formation to capture the southern border pursuers and extort the super clans. After that was the 5 regional mountain range battle. And after that, Fang Yuan entered the River of Time. He did not find the Stone Lotus Island, instead, Heavenly Court hunted him and he barely escaped. Thus, Fang Yuan's future self was fixed at the moment before he ascended to rank 8 through annexing Sha Cha's Immortal aperture. At this time, he already owned fixed Immortal travel. Using future self, Fang Yuan went from northern plains to southern border. But he did not go to the 5 regional mountain range. The 5 regional true inheritance was very useful to him, Fang Yuan knew this. It was not wise to activate the 5 regional true inheritance now. Because the 5 regional true inheritance would cause a huge commotion, the 5 regional mountain range had to be destroyed before Dao Juzwil would awaken and acknowledge him. Fang Yuan only had rank 7 cultivation level now, even though his battle strength had grown, standing up to rank 8s was quite difficult. If he attracted any rank 8s or Immortal GU houses when activating the 5 regional true inheritance, it would be awkward. To play safe, Fang Yuan was going to leave the 5 regional true inheritance for later. He came to southern border now, it was not for the 5 regional true inheritance, he came to an ordinary valley instead. Chapter 1755 Wild Immortal GU. Fang Yuan arrived in a valley, he found a cave and set up a Immortal GU house before he entered quiet cultivation. Ying Wuxie and the rest were still on the Stone Lotus Island, practicing future self. Due to rebirth, Fang Yuan skipped that step. Future self's greatest help towards Fang Yuan was not in cultivation level or battle strength, but the use of fixed Immortal travel. With future self, Fang Yuan could use it to travel between the 5 regions and 2 heavens. Of course, he could not enter places like the Dragon Whale Paradise. Immortal GU were unique. Right now, the real fixed Immortal travel was in Feng Juzhe's hands, but if GU Immortals could create killer moves that could mimic the effects of other GU, they could use it in place of those unattainable Immortal GU. This was the profundity of using GU. Fang Yuan's time path clone was bathed in the light of wisdom, making deductions continuously. One of the tasks was to modify Yama Battlefield and add in time path Immortal GU so that it could display the advantage of a time path battlefield. In the previous life, Fang Yuan had too little time, he had to raise his cultivation level while dealing with Heavenly Court and obtaining Red Lotus, true inheritance. Heavenly Court exerted great pressure on him, Fang Yuan had to manage his own Immortal aperture while resisting them. In this situation, Fang Yuan created Yama Battlefield, Luo Po Seal, Myriad Ghost Sword Dragon and other killer moves, it was all that he could do. GU Immortals usually took 3 to 4 years to create an Immortal killer move. Fang Yuan had the light of wisdom along with proficient wisdom path methods and high attainment levels in many paths, this allowed him to create this miracle in his previous life in terms of killer moves. And now, he brought these gains with him. Fang Yuan was able to make use of his killer move gains in the previous life now and even further elevate them. This was a huge advantage. Yama Battlefield is a battlefield encompassing Soul Path and Enslavement Path. Enslavement Path specializes in attrition battles. There are countless Yama children that do not fear death. They can even self-detonate before dying, draining the enemy's resources and battle strength. The advantage of Soul Path is to gain strength from killing. In a normal Soul Path battlefield, killing one enemy would increase the power of the battlefield itself. Fang Yuan's Yama Battlefield had these two traits. But the latter was weaker. The conversion speed of the Yama children was not fast. Fang Yuan often had to fight powerful enemies that made this advantage very unlikely to be useful. If I add Time Path Immortal GU in, Yama Battlefield would possess the trait of a Time Path Battlefield. A Time Path Battlefield specialized in changing the speed of time. The most classic example was to extend the time inside the battlefield. 1 day outside would be a month inside. This would give the user more time to kill the enemy inside the battlefield. For example, if an enemy was trapped inside a Time Path battlefield and the allies sensed something wrong, they would come and help. The allies take 15 minutes to arrive, but inside the formation, 3 days would have passed. The battlefield user would have killed the enemy and left by the time they arrived. In the previous life, even though Fang Yuan trapped Feng Jie with Yama Battlefield and even stole his fixed immortal travel, he did not manage to kill him. The reason was that Feng Jie had Fate Armor Immortal GU to stall for time. Fairy Ziwei obtained enough time to deduce and break Yama Battlefield. If Fang Yuan's Yama Battlefield had the power of Time Path, he could extend the battlefield's time to 3 days and nights. Even though Fairy Ziwei could still break it in the end, she would only receive Feng Jie's corpse. Fang Yuan modified Yama Battlefield. He was quite expectant towards the results. Especially when he had quasi-supreme Time Path attainment level, it was not hard to add in Time Path Immortal GU. He cultivated many paths. It became increasingly useful as he got stronger. The killer move Myriad Ghost Sword Dragon was the best example. Against compound killer moves that fused many paths together, GU immortals who cultivated just a single path could not deduce or defend against them easily. Fang Yuan stayed in this nameless valley for 4 days and 5 nights. Eventually, he found his opportunity. Rumble. Daytime, the earth shook, a crack appeared. The valley collapsed, dust clouds rose. Fang Yuan had to fly into the sky. The cracks on the ground became larger. The valley was completely devoured. A huge earth trench formed right before Fang Yuan's eyes. The 5 regional walls were slowly shrinking. The earth veins of the 5 regions were gradually fusing. When the earth veins shook, many earth trench formed. Southern border had the densest earth path Dao marks. The formation of earth trenches was also extremely intense. Fang Yuan waited patiently. He only descended after the earth trench stabilized. He started to search. A newly formed earth trench produced a large amount of GU materials. Lifeforms emerged from the ground as well. Of course, most were corpses. As Fang Yuan explored, he found more valuable things. Not long after, he saw the first desolate beast corpse. A desolate beast corpse was a bunch of rank 6 immortal materials. Even though it was damaged, it was simply free loot. Fang Yuan took the desolate beast corpse effortlessly. What made him happy was that this desolate beast corpse still had a soul in it. This desolate beast soul could be turned into a Yama child. Fang Yuan used his investigative killer move as he searched. His gains were increasing, but they were just easily collected things. When he met with mildly injured ancient desolate beasts, Fang Yuan avoided them. Why have I not found it yet? Are the rumors false? If Luo clan purposely sent out false news, this trip would be a flop. After another 15 minutes, Fang Yuan started to get anxious. This earth trench was in the territory of southern borders Luo clan. As time passes, Luo clan's GU immortals would likely arrive. And they might bring their immortal GU house along. After all, each earth trench formed would represent huge benefits. Luo clan had to be careful with it. Even though Fang Yuan was not afraid, he did not want trouble. He only wanted to achieve his goals and leave. By noon, Fang Yuan had not found his target, but his gains accumulated into a pile. It is really not here. Did I miss something, or is my luck so bad it affected this trip? Right when Fang Yuan was suspecting himself, his eyes started to shine in a divine light. I found something. He carefully approached and found an ancient desolate beast diamond head turtle. This turtle was as large as a boat. It was entirely bright yellow but had a flat shell on top. The most eye-catching thing was its head. It had a huge head that resembled a drill. Its sharp mouth pointed outwards with a natural spiral. Half of its head was translucent, resembling a low-grade diamond. The diamond head turtle lived in the deep sea. It could swim very fast in water. It could also move in the earth, but when it did that, its head would rotate and drill as it loosened the soil ahead of it. But because of its huge shell, it moved much slower in the soil than in water. Fang Yuan floated above this diamond head turtle as he used several investigative killer moves. Fang Yuan's investigative methods were not outstanding, but against the diamond head turtle, it was sufficient. Soon, joy was shown all over Fang Yuan's face. He found a wild immortal GU on the diamond head turtle. That's it, this wild immortal GU was Fang Yuan's goal for this trip. Fang Yuan immediately acted, using Yama Battlefield. Once Fang Yuan moved, his aura leaked as he got exposed. The diamond head turtle was just a wild beast without sufficient wisdom, but it had keen instincts. It growled at Fang Yuan before trying to retreat. But Fang Yuan had already arranged several Yama children to encircle it. The Yama children and the diamond head turtle fought in a big battle, but because he was afraid of damaging that wild immortal GU, Fang Yuan was quite restrained. Not long after, 2 Yama children were pierced by the diamond head turtle and one had its head bitten off. Even though the Yama children died, they did not self-detonate. Even though they suffered huge losses, the goal of pestering the diamond head turtle had been achieved. With the help of the Yama children, Fang Yuan activated Yama Battlefield and trapped the diamond head turtle. At this point, Fang Yuan let out a breath of air. He relaxed his mind a little. Yama Battlefield was successfully activated. It was hard to detect in the outside world. Even if Luo clan's GU immortals came here, there was a low chance that they would find this battlefield. And the diamond head turtle was basically helpless now that it was trapped in Yama Battlefield. Most rank 7 GU immortals would be unable to escape if they ended up inside, not to mention this mere ancient desolate beast. Fang Yuan was neither anxious nor proud. He played safe. To preserve immortal essence, he did not even use Great Thief Ghost Hand. His current luck was not optimal. He might only steal a large number of mortal GU using this move. Eventually, with the help of the Yama children, Fang Yuan weakened this diamond head turtle to its limit and captured it alive. Its wild rank 7 immortal GU was also obtained by Fang Yuan. Very good. With this, I will be able to counter fixed immortal travel. Fang Yuan was very happy. As he stored the diamond head turtle and wild immortal GU in his immortal aperture, he dispelled Yama Battlefield. Going back to the Earth Trench, Luo clan's GU immortals had already arrived. They were furiously scolding now. They had clearly discovered that Fang Yuan had arrived before them. Looking at the traces, Luo clan's GU immortals were feeling pained. A lot of the immortal materials were already taken away. Luo clan's losses were huge. Fang Yuan took a look at Luo clan's immortal GU house before concealing his traces and leaving quietly. After leaving for a certain distance, Fang Yuan used future self to go back to Langya blessed land from southern border. Fang Yuan's sudden appearance shocked Langya land's spirit immensely. He moved towards Fang Yuan as he said with surprise and joy, "Fang Yuan, you snatched fixed immortal travel from them. If they did not have fixed immortal travel, it would be very hard for Heavenly Court to invade Langya blessed land." But Fang Yuan shook his head. "This is just a killer move. Are you all ready to refine myriad self?" Langya land spirit was very disappointed in Fang Yuan's answer, but he still replied, "We are almost ready. The hairy men are practicing day and night. The other GU materials are ready, but your 8 main materials are needed. Have you collected them all already?" Fang Yuan shook his head. "I only have 3, but there is no rush. We still have time." Langya land spirit was anxious. "Elder Fang Yuan, that's not the right attitude. Heavenly Court might invade any moment now. We already have the weaker hand. If we act so carelessly, we will be in huge trouble." "Understood, understood. First Supreme Elder, don't worry, I know what I am doing." Chapter 1756 You still Dawn, get it? Fang Yuan kept track of the time. He still had a lot of time. Even though he had already killed Meng Tu and Sleeping Lady, even going to the River of Time to obtain a Red Lotus True Inheritance, as well as taking that wild immortal GU from southern border. After doing all these, he still had a few days until Zhongji sold the floating life fire like in his previous life. This is mainly because I spent a few months to deduce killer moves like Yama Child and Emperor Yama in the previous life. But now, I took action straight away. I saved a lot of time and effort. For the next few days, Fang Yuan did not stay idle. Using future self, he continued to go all over the 5 regions from Langya blessed land. He entered southern border the most. Fang Yuan purposely went to places where earth trenches formed. In his previous life, the commotion in the 5 regions as earth veins fused created many earth trenches all over the world. It was growing more intense as time passed. In the final battle, when Fang Yuan died at Duke Long's hands, the 5 regional walls had vanished, the earth veins were unified, earth trenches stopped forming as a result. For the following few days, Fang Yuan's gains were extremely high. Immortal materials piled into a mountain, he even obtained 3 wild rank 6 immortal GU. Fang Yuan's luck was worse than in the previous life, but it was not hard to make huge gains. He had clear information. Earth trenches were formed by heaven's will, no GU immortal could predict them. Each earth trench was over 10 or 100,000 li long, being extremely deep and difficult to explore. Even super forces would face huge difficulties exploring the earth trenches and extracting the most valuable resources in a short period of time. But Fang Yuan knew which places contained the best resources, he went straight for them. This was all thanks to the information that he collected during his previous life. The formation of earth trenches had no pattern, most GU immortals did not see value in this information. But Fang Yuan, who could use spring-autumn cicada, was different. In the previous life, I could not explore the earth trenches, with just my strength alone, I cannot compete with super forces. And most importantly, Heavenly Court gave me immense pressure, I had to resist them while finding ways to obtain Red Lotus, true inheritances. I had no time or energy to care about earth trenches. And now it seems, these earth trenches are truly valuable, it can move anyone's greed. And this is just the situation now. For the next few years, earth trenches and earth veins will create even bigger commotions, more and more resources will surface. The burst of resources would raise the strength of GU immortals, and the rise in battle strength would spur on the ambitions of GU immortals further. In my previous life, the 4 regions GU immortals attacked Heavenly Court, these earth trench resources played a crucial role. In the 500 years of my previous life, the reason for the 5 regions' chaotic war was mainly the earth trench resources and the rise in attainment level through dream realms. In his free time, Fang Yuan would analyze the situation and look at his circumstances, continuing to improve on his post-rebirth plans. This rebirth was very different from the previous times. The most important thing was that his strength and influence now was great, it far exceeded any of his previous rebirths. With his strength and influence, the ink effect of his rebirth became much more significant. Fang Yuan acted to execute his own plans while preparing himself for any possible problems. And as expected, a problem really occurred. And it was a major one. A few days later, Fang Yuan observed Treasure Yellow Heaven and did not find any traces of Zhongji. In the previous life, he was already selling floating life fire at this time. Fang Yuan quickly investigated, but luckily, Zhongji's information was not hard to get. Black Heaven Temple's GU Immortal Zhongji lost to Immortal Crane Sect's Old Lord Kenyang in a competition, thus when they went on an exploration and found the floating life fire by chance, it went into Old Lord Kenyang's hands. Immortal Crane Sect and Black Heaven Temple were part of Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects. In terms of strength, Immortal Crane Sect was weaker than Black Heaven Temple, but in terms of GU Immortal battle strength, Old Lord Kenyang was stronger than Zhongji. Black Heaven Temple's Zhongji had rank 7 cultivation level, but he was very ordinary. Old Lord Kenyang was very famous though, his signature killer move life-chasing fire was a headache to most GU Immortals. Years ago, he even went to Northern Plains as part of Feng Juji's group, to investigate the collapse of 88 Truyong building. News that Zhongji lost to Old Lord Kenyang quickly spread. Fang Yuan did not need to guess to know that this was Immortal Crane Sect's action. Immortal Crane Sect was weaker than Black Heaven Temple, they had to treasure every opportunity to raise their reputation, this victory was a great chance for publicity. Old Lord Kenyang's victory was not surprising, what interested him was, why did Old Lord Kenyang appear? In the previous life, Old Lord Kenyang did not show up, Zhongji had obtained the floating life fire without any hassle. This is not good. Different from Zhongji, Old Lord Kenyang is a fire path GU immortal, floating life fire is useful to him. Even if it is useless, Old Lord Kenyang can contribute it to Immortal Crane Sect. He is different from Zhongji, he has higher strength and status, if he gives it to the sect, they would reward him, Old Lord Kenyang's gains would not be low. Fang Yuan felt somewhat of a headache. He had to make other plans now to obtain this floating life fire from other sources. But at this time, Old Lord Kenyang started to sell the floating life fire publicly in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Fang Yuan was slightly shocked before he understood Old Lord Kenyang's intentions. Or rather, Immortal Crane Sect's intentions. Immortal Crane Sect saw this as an important opportunity, they wanted to spread the news and raise their reputation. Old Lord Kenyang selling the floating life fire had the same intention as Fang Yuan selling Thunder Ghost True Monarch's 3 rib bones. After understanding this, Fang Yuan became one of the floating life fire's buyers. Floating life fire was a rare immortal material, its sale price was high but not absurd. In the previous life, Zhang Ji did not know its value, Fang Yuan got it cheaply. But this time, it was old Lord Kenyang who cultivated fire path. He knew about the value of the floating life fire, he naturally sold it at a different price. It seems that I have to pay a higher price to obtain this floating life fire. Fang Yuan was mentally prepared, but the following competition was out of his expectations again. Buyers who were after the floating life fire seemed very interested, they competed and raised the sale price of the floating life fire to an absurd degree. The floating life fire's price was high but the competing GU immortals did not become disinterested, they created a huge ruckus as their verbal conflict soon escalated to a matter of pride and face. Fang Yuan realized that this was Immortal Crane Sect's show, they purposely got people to raise the prices to an absurd amount, the buyers and sellers were all part of their sect, they were paying some fees in Treasure Yellow Heaven to gain a lot of publicity. It was simple, the higher the price of the floating life fire, the more commotion and discussion it would generate. When they talk about the floating life fire, can they ignore old Lord Kenyang? That would involve Immortal Crane Sect as well. More and more GU immortals would realize that Immortal Crane Sect was still a part of the 10 great ancient sects, they had deep foundations. Even though they seemed weak now, they might just be keeping a low profile. Thinking about this, Fang Yuan smiled bitterly. The floating life fire was too important to him, even if the prices were high, he had to buy it. After all, the other plans were not reliable, time was crucial now, if he wasted too much time, Fang Yuan's entire post-rebirth plan would be ruined. After getting the floating life fire, Fang Yuan passed the other main materials to Lang Ya Land Spirit. Lang Ya Land Spirit looked at them and checked that there were no problems with the immortal materials before he used the refinement path killer moves with Fang Yuan and the Hairy Man GU immortals, trying to familiarize themselves with these immortal materials. After days of preparations, Lang Ya Land Spirit saw that the time was right, he brought Fang Yuan and the Hairy Man GU immortals to the long hair refinement path formation. What a good refinement path formation! Fang Yuan praised in admiration. Lang Ya Land Spirit smiled, the delight on his face was unconcealed, his eyes shined with great confidence, both the formation and immortal GU recipe are top-notch. Elder Fang Yuan, this myriad self-immortal GU recipe you provided is very incredible. After looking at it for a long time, I finally understood half of its profundity. With my estimation, using this myriad self-immortal GU recipe, there is a 40% chance of success. Fang Yuan laughed loudly. That's right, this is why I wanted to refine this GU to raise my battle strength and deal with Heavenly Court. Alright, enough talk, let's enter the GU refinement formation. At this point, Lang Ya Land Spirit frowned. Elder Fang Yuan, you lack refinement path experience, are you really going to refine the GU personally? Fang Yuan nodded. This GU refinement is extremely important, especially to me. I need to participate, even if the refinement fails, I will not be upset. Don't worry First Supreme Elder, I am merely helping out, I will not interrupt you. I know my own limits after all. Alright, since you insist, we will do that. Lang Ya Land Spirit sighed, entering the formation as the main person in charge. Followed by 3rd hair, 4th hair, 6th hair, 7th hair, and the other GU immortals, before Fang Yuan as the last one. Fang Yuan stood at the final formation core towards the end. The formation started to activate. Light shined everywhere, all sorts of refinement path methods were activated, the process was smooth and easy. Floating life fire and edge GU were first refined, followed by battlefield blood sand, heart blood, and other main materials. During this time, Fang Yuan took action several times but they were all trivial matters, it was just as he had assured Lang Ya Land Spirit. Several days later, Lang Ya Land Spirit and the Hairy Man GU immortals revealed expressions of joy. The immortal GU was starting to form. They were just a few steps away from success. Suddenly, the light exploded as dust clouds rose, a stench filled the air as the GU refinement encountered an issue. Why did this happen? Lang Ya Land Spirit and the rest were very shocked. They quickly tried to salvage the situation, it was very chaotic. Right when they were about to fail and Lang Ya Land Spirit became helpless, Fang Yuan suggested building a temporary GU formation to assist the refinement path formation and get rid of all the impurities here. There was no choice, Lang Ya Land Spirit had to give it a try, he accepted Fang Yuan's suggestion. Once the formation within the formation was created, Fang Yuan said, "Please enter the formation, First Supreme Elder." Lang Ya Land Spirit had no doubts, in this situation, he was the only one who could do it. But once he entered the formation, he was immediately suppressed. Fang Yuan, what are you trying to do? Lang Yalan's spirit was furious and shocked. Lang Yalan's spirit, at this point in time, you still don't get it. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. Chapter 1757 Repaying Kindness with Enmity. Fang Yuan, you actually dare, you are too ignorant and fearless. You dare to plot against me inside Lang Ya blessed land. I will make sure you understand what severe mistake you are actually making. Lang Yalan's spirit screamed with a furious expression. He looked like a volcano about to explode. He was about to erupt with lava and melt Fang Yuan entirely. But at the next moment, Lang Yalan's spirit's movements froze, the anger on his face turned into deep shock instantly. Why can't I move? My connection with Lang Ya blessed land is also almost entirely severed. At once, Lang Yalan's spirit became dumbfounded. Fang Yuan smiled, everything was going according to plan. Ever since Fang Yuan saw Lang Yalan's spirit for the first time, he already had the thought of taking down Lang Ya blessed land. After many years, this thought finally grew from just a seed to a beautiful blooming flower. Fang Yuan looked at Lang Yalan's spirit plainly but with deep confidence. It is pointless, you do not know the difference between us after all. Lang Yalan's spirit struggled intensely but he was like an ant, suppressed and unable to move, not to mention regaining control of Lang Ya blessed land. He tried hard but found that the situation was not improving, instead, his restrictions were becoming more severe. This is impossible. He looked at Fang Yuan with a look of disbelief. Fang Yuan smiled. It seems that you have already started to notice the difference between us. Fang Yuan's refinement path attainment level far exceeded Lang Yalan's spirit. The former had used long hair true meaning to reach quasi-supreme Grand Master refinement path attainment level, the latter was just long hair ancestors' land spirit formed from obsession. Even though it had extraordinary refinement path attainment, it was very far from reaching quasi-supreme. Fang Yuan's formation path attainment level also far exceeded Lang Yalan's spirit. Lang Yalan's spirit had merely ordinary attainment in formation path, while Fang Yuan was a formation path grandmaster. And most importantly, Fang Yuan was very skilled in the setting of formations. Self-cleansing formation, omnidirectional travel ancient battle formation, dragon scale seas food path immortal formation, immemorial year beast fishing formation, flood discharge formation, self-will heaven sealing formation, wisdom refinement formation. Fang Yuan had designed most of these GU formations, he had modified them and set them up personally step by step. Indeed worthy of you, Fang Yuan. You are truly a publicly recognized demonic path overlord. Lang Yalan's spirit clenched his fists, his eyes were spewing fire and his face was distorted. He stared at Fang Yuan fixedly. He gritted his teeth as he said, "This was all part of your scheme. Myriad self-immortal Gu's recipe was flawed from the start but I could not notice. The problem was bound to happen during the GU refinement process. Using that chance, you created the formation and tricked me into entering. This formation within a formation takes reference to blood light spirit suppression. This also means that out of the 8 main materials of Myriad self-immortal GU recipe, the 4 blood path materials are used to target me. Only the first 4 materials are used to refine Myriad self-immortal GU." Lang Yalan's spirit said with certainty as his emotions became calmer. Fang Yuan looked at him without speaking, he had a calm expression too. Lang Yalan's spirit started to frown, he could see a faint smile from Fang Yuan's eyes, he seemed to have noticed his intentions. Panic flashed across Lang Yalan's spirit's eyes, but he quickly concealed it. He thought, I need to stay calm. I cannot panic. Long hair refinement path formation is the peak creation of my main body, how can Fang Yuan grasp it so easily in this short period? He set a formation to harm me but this blood path formation is just a formation within a formation. Soon, if the refinement path formation activates, this blood path formation will be destroyed. By then, I will be able to escape. As long as I can escape, the whole of Lang Ya blessed land will be in my control. I can spread news of Fang Yuan trying to harm me, the variant human alliance will stand by my side. By then, I will make sure Fang Yuan regrets this. Lang Yalan's spirit suddenly patted his head, he had an ashen expression and deep regret, he wanted to kill himself, damn it. Why did I shout out my inner thoughts? Fang Yuan smiled. Don't worry, if even you could think about this flaw, why couldn't I predict it? What, you knew about it already? Lang Yalan's spirit was first shocked before pretending to be calm. He laughed loudly. So what if you realized? Can you understand this refinement path formation? Fang Yuan rubbed his nose. My understanding of this formation is deeper than yours. But of course, I am still far from comprehending it fully. Lang Ya land spirit laughed loudly again. That's right. Just you wait Fang Yuan, when I get out, I will show you the consequences of betraying my Lang Ya sect. But Lang Ya land spirit waited and nothing happened. A while later, the blood path formation was still stable as before. Lang Ya land spirit continued to wait but the long hair refinement path formation showed no commotion. Furthermore, his entire body was already dyed in a blood-red light. This is impossible. What did you do? Suddenly, Lang Ya land spirit screamed at Fang Yuan. He had fallen into complete panic. Fang Yuan smiled and did not respond. He had interacted with this long hair refinement path formation far longer than Lang Ya land spirit expected. That happened in his previous life. Fang Yuan had deep attainment in formation path, refinement path, and wisdom path. He was able to understand the profundity and essence of the long hair refinement path formation. The long hair refinement path formation was created by long hair ancestor with all his effort back in the day. With Fang Yuan's current foundation, it would be very hard to create a refinement path formation that was on par with it. He would need a vast amount of time, energy, and resources. But looking at this long hair refinement path formation was a completely different case. Fang Yuan was not the creator, he was merely appreciating this work of art. It was easier for an artist to critique this piece of work now than to create it himself. Of course, he was just an observer, he could not understand the profundity of this formation in its entirety. But that was not a problem. Sixth hair as the spy had already controlled a certain important area of the formation. With Sixth hair's help, Fang Yuan ensured that the long hair refinement path formation could not interfere with his blood path formation. Lang Ya land spirit struggled for a while longer before he realized, due to Fang Yuan's meticulous scheme, he could no longer turn this situation around. There was no choice. This black-haired land spirit that was completely corroded by the blood light had to let the other white-haired land spirit appear to try and change the situation. But regrettably, Fang Yuan knew all about Lang Ya land spirit. How could he miss that potential problem? The moment white-haired land spirit appeared, he was suppressed by the blood path formation. A large amount of blood light went into him. You shameless demon! The white-haired land spirit was suppressed and unable to move, he could only speak. He scolded Fang Yuan intensely. Fang Yuan, oh Fang Yuan, you unscrupulous and devious scumbag. You were able to get to this stage today, my Lang Ya blessed land provided you the biggest help. Before you became immortal, I helped you. Eventually, you were able to destroy 88 Truyong building. When you first became an immortal and was completely broke, I made transactions with you and allowed you to earn immortal essence stones through deducing recipes. That was your starting point. When you wanted to refine GU, I helped you countless times. Which hairy man GU immortal in the blessed land has not helped you at least once? When your tribulations were too risky, we lent you immortal essence stones and immortal GU to pass those difficulties. I gave you the immortal tribulation tempering aperture as well as killer moves like triple layered sword wave. When you moved star form blessed land, we lent you GU worms and the necessary methods. When your Hu immortal blessed land was attacked, we took a risk and helped you to minimize your losses. I was the one who fed your wisdom GU, I used up so many lifespan GU in my blessed land. When your Danghun mountain was taken away, I compensated you according to the agreement, even if we had to give up the refinement path true meaning. White-haired land spirit got more and more angry, he felt extremely grieved, his eyes turned red as he spoke. Different from the black-haired land spirit's rash and strong attitude, the white-haired land spirit was calm and enduring, he was only interested in GU refinement and wanted to avoid problems. The black-haired land spirit was an extremist while the white-haired land spirit was a pacifist. Oh Fang Yuan, your conscience must have been eaten by dogs. Our Lang Ya blessed land treated you so well, yet you were repaying kindness with enmity, you schemed against me. When you were unable to live outside and all 5 regions GU immortals went after you, Lang Ya blessed land was the place that sheltered you. You are a human but black hair and I accepted you, we made you a supreme elder and gave you important roles, we treated you as one of us. But this is how you treat us in return. Look at your own conscience, do you feel any bit of guilt at all? Do you feel that you have done us injustice? The white-haired land spirit screamed and cried, he was extremely upset. Fang Yuan was expressionless. No. Lang Ya land spirit. After a while, he shouted, you are acting like this to your benefactor, your friends, your family, does your conscience feel no pain? Do you not feel bad? Fang Yuan dug his ears. Not really, I am quite excited actually. Lang Ya land spirit was beyond furious, he wanted to tear Fang Yuan into pieces. Fang Yuan, you demon. You are just too shameless. You are a beast, a bastard. You are a devious scoundrel, you are shameless, as expected of a human. Go ahead and laugh, you will not laugh for very long. People like you will die a terrible death. I was truly blind to have trusted you. Heaven will not let you off. If I was given another chance, I will kill you at first sight, I will incinerate your corpse and mince you into a million pieces. Oh, Fang Yuan smiled as he shook his head calmly, too bad you can't do it. Lang Yalan's spirit was speechless, he wanted to rip that smile off Fang Yuan's face. But he could not move. He could only curse to vent his anger. But against someone like Fang Yuan with no shame or morals, his anger was truly pointless and weak. Chapter 1758 Heavenly Court, S Invasion. Lang Ya Blessed Land, Long Hair Refinement Path Formation. Blood light gradually faded, the blood path formation opened up as Fang Yuan and Lang Ya Land's spirit walked out with the latter behind the former. Fang Yuan's scheme succeeded. In the previous life, Lang Ya Land's spirit had caught Fairy Zi Wei off guard because she killed the black-haired land spirit and white-haired land spirit showed up. The black-haired land spirit was ambitious, even though he knew about Lang Ya Blessed Land and Longevity Heaven's agreement, he did not want to use it. Once the white-haired land spirit showed up, he sought help from Longevity Heaven without second thoughts. Eventually, because of the white-haired land spirit's action, Fang Yuan escaped while Heavenly Court retreated in defeat. Longevity Heaven obtained Lang Ya sect and became the eventual winner, gaining the greatest benefits. Right now, I suppressed the land spirit, Longevity Heaven will not gain anything. Fang Yuan looked at Lang Ya land spirit. Right now, Lang Ya land spirit had gone back to the black-haired land spirit under Fang Yuan's orders. To prevent the hairy man Gu immortals from becoming suspicious, the black-haired land spirit pretended that their relationship with Fang Yuan was still the same as before. Fang Yuan purposely let out a breath of air. It was all thanks to First Supreme Elder this time that we salvaged the situation. The black-haired land spirit smiled. Mach 1 mainly because we had the refinement path formation, we should get back into refining the Gu as quickly as possible. The black-haired land spirit had a slightly subservient tone and smile, but other than sixth hair, the other hairy man Gu immortals felt no suspicions. Who could have thought that this shocking change had occurred right under their very eyes? Fang Yuan entered the long hair refinement path formation and continued to refine myriad self-immortal Gu. Hours later, a sharp profound light appeared in the refinement path formation. The profound light faded as an immortal Gu was revealed. This Gu worm was more than 10 meters long, it was like a centipede that shined in a metallic luster, the mouthpiece on its head looked dangerous while there was a pair of long antennas on its forehead, it had 5,000 legs on either side of its body, having a total of 10,000 legs. Rank 7 Immortal Gu Myriad Self. Even though Fang Yuan's main goal was to scheme against Lang Ya Land Spirit, he did not give up on refining Myriad Self-Immortal Gu. In the previous life, Myriad Self-Immortal Gu had a 50% success rate. But now, in order to trap Lang Ya Land Spirit, he modified the recipe and lowered its success rate from 50 to 40%. Regardless, he did not give up on refining Myriad Self. He could not give up on refining Myriad Self-Immortal Gu after all. It seemed to have an insignificant boost to Fang Yuan's strength, but it was actually very important. The killer move Myriad Self was the combination of enslavement and strength path, it gathered the specialty of both paths. But it was overly complex and took a long time to activate, it spent a lot of thoughts of the Gu Immortal. Now that it became a Gu worm, Fang Yuan only needed to take a few steps to unleash the full power of the original Myriad Self killer move. Other than Myriad Self, Fang Yuan's Reverse Flow Protection Seal, Myriad Dragon, Myriad Ghost Sword Dragon and other killer moves would also benefit from this. Especially Myriad Ghost Sword Dragon, Fang Yuan had created this move near the time of the Central Continent Refinement Path Convention. Without Myriad Self-Immortal Gu, he would need too many Gu worms to activate it, the time taken would be too long and there would be no use for it in battle. Even though Myriad Self-Immortal Gu could not raise Fang Yuan's strength directly, it strengthened his foundation and allowed him to gain even more potential in several aspects. The Immortal Gu refinement ended. Next, Fang Yuan looked around the whole of Lang Ya Blessed Land and collated his gains. Lang Ya Blessed Land had an immense origin, it was left by one of the three greatest refinement path experts in history, Long Hair Ancestor. Long Hair Ancestor was a legendary figure, he had refined countless immortal Gu in his life, even thieving heaven demon Venerable and giant sun immortal Venerable came to look for him when refining Gu. Long Hair Ancestor also had a special identity, he was a hairy man. While hairy men had long lifespan, they would still die eventually. Long-hair ancestor left behind rank 8 Langya Grotto Heaven, but after countless years of development, white-haired land spirit decided to lower its rank and returned it to a blessed land. Blessed lands faced far weaker calamities and tribulations than Grotto Heavens. With the white-haired land spirit's management, the blessed land developed very well. It had a huge space far beyond most blessed lands, it even exceeded many Grotto Heavens. In terms of time path, its time flow was 1 to 36 compared to the outside world. And worth mentioning was that Langya blessed land had an immortal killer move on its tributary of the River of Time. It could alter the time flow in the immortal aperture. This was the work of long-hair ancestor who had invited a time path great expert personally when he was alive. In terms of Dao marks, Langya blessed land had the highest number of refinement path Dao marks surpassing 300,000. The remaining Dao marks were mostly water path followed by earth path. Langya blessed land had 4 continents. They were the black hair, yellow hair, and white hair continents in the sea, as well as cloud cover continent in the sky. The blessed land produced abundant resources and people. There were also countless GU immortals. It was truly a super force of its own. The vast number of people ensured the production of many lifespan GU. Undeniably, this was the #1 blessed land in the world. Langya land spirit was suppressed by Fang Yuan already, everything here belonged to him. Other than the blessed land's resources and manpower, there were also a vast number of GU recipes, killer moves and GU worms. Langya blessed land had many immortal GU in its inventory. For example, the currently ranked 7 Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus, the Wood Sprout Immortal GU that Fang Yuan had once borrowed to use the killer move Light Fungus Radiance, Beast Enslavement Immortal GU, Formation Plate Immortal GU, and many others. Most of the immortal GU were already given out to the Hairy Man GU immortals for their use. Langya blessed land had 3 GU formations. The first was the long hair refinement path formation, the second was the sub-main teleportation GU formation, the third was the ancient battle formation Heavenly Giant Suller. Among which, the main formation of the sub-main teleportation GU formation was on Cloud Cover Continent, while the 9 sub-formations were distributed all over northern plains, for example, Tai Chu, Dragon Elephant Plain, and Feng Bo Cliff. Other than that, Langya blessed land had a highly incomplete immortal GU house, rank 8 immortal GU house refinement cauldron. There was also a man-made secluded domain of heaven and earth that was not completed despite immense effort, refinement C. In the previous life, when Heavenly Court attacked Langya blessed land, Langya land spirit made use of the water in the refinement sea to display the killer move Omnipresent 4 Cs. He had once taken control of the situation using it. Langya blessed land had a huge inventory with countless immortal materials but relatively few immortal essence stones. And finally, Langya blessed land had 3 true inheritances. They were Thieving Heaven's true inheritance, Giant Sun's self-luck true inheritance, and Long Hair's refinement path true inheritance. Rank 8 Steel Life Immortal GU was part of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. In the first life, Ma Hongyun obtained clues to this Thieving Heaven true inheritance. He came to Langya blessed land and asked Langya land spirit to refine GU for him 3 times. This was also part of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. Fang Yuan had a deep understanding of these 3 true inheritances. Years ago, he had transacted with Langya land spirit and learned about this. Back then, in order to deal with strong enemies, he had to sell his own secluded domain of heaven and earth. Now, the whole of Langya blessed land belonged to him. I have about half a month left. Fang Yuan estimated the time. In the previous life, he had worked on deducing Luo Po seal at this time period, in order to make up for his lack of offensive methods. As for defense, he had reverse flow protection seal, there was no worry. In the end, he only managed to deduce Luo Po seal years later. This time around, he already possessed Luo Po seal. His main deduction was to add the effect of time path into Yama battlefield, so that he could gain a compound battlefield killer move. Even though he suppressed Langya land spirit and had sufficient refinement path attainment level, Fang Yuan was not in a rush to annex Langya blessed land. He had already decided to use the tactic in the 5 regional mountain range. He was going to make Langya blessed land a trap that would lure in the Heavenly Court members. Firstly, Fang Yuan needed Feng Juzhe to come here and contribute his fixed immortal travel. After all, when Fang Yuan reaches rank 8, future self would not be usable anymore. Secondly, he needed Heavenly Court to expose their star-cast killer move. This method was too incredible, it could directly change the situation of all 5 regions, any superforce would feel extremely threatened by it. Once Starcast gets exposed, it would spur on the 4 regions superforces to attack Heavenly Court. And thirdly, he wanted to kill a few Heavenly Court GU Immortals in advance. Fang Yuan would not let go of any chance to weaken Heavenly Court. And finally, Fang Yuan wanted to borrow the help of Heavenly Court to deal with the GU Immortals of the Snowmen, Rockmen, and Inkmen in the Four Races Alliance. By using the same method as in the previous life, he would annex all three of these forces at once. Taking down enemies and allies in a single swoop, wasn't it a great idea? More than 10 days passed. Central Continent, Heavenly Court. Star Constellation Chessboard. This rank 8 Immortal GU house was shooting out fireworks, countless starlight specks were flying out and radiating the entire Heavenly Court. Starlight shined on the faces of the Heavenly Court GU Immortals. Nearly 10 of them were ready to move out. The leader was Fairy Ziwei. She looked at the sky as bright light shined in her eyes, even more dazzling than the starry sky. To think that Wisdom GU is really inside Langya Blessed Land. With it, Star Constellation Chessboard will become a rank 9 Immortal GU house. By then, I will be the #1 Wisdom Path GU Immortal in the world. Heavenly Court will almost certainly be able to repair Fate Immortal GU. Fang Yuan, I can't wait for this. I want to kill you personally. Thunder Ghost True Monarch gritted her teeth. Feng Juzhe was silent and peaceful. Chen Yi was waiting in anticipation. His performance in Green Ghost Desert was not good, he did not retrieve Divine Bean Palace. I cannot fail again like last time. I have just joined Heavenly Court, I need to show some results. This battle is a great opportunity. No matter how strong Fang Yuan is, he is merely rank 7. Langya Blessed Land has a huge reputation but it is too weak internally, even Feng Juzhe could enter and leave at will. We are mobilizing so many rank 8 great experts now, we will definitely win. Sigh, Lady Ziwei is too vigilant. Chen Yi grumbled a little. Fairy Ziwei was sending such a huge force, it was like a tiger going all out to hunt a rabbit. Chen Yi would not be able to make any achievements. In his opinion, couldn't 2 or 3 rank 8 GU Immortals take down Langya Blessed Land easily? They were not ordinary rank 8s, they were Heavenly Court members. Bam! Along with the expectations of many GU Immortals, the starlight in the sky gathered, a huge light blue pillar was formed in the sky. Immortal Killer Move, Starcast. Let's go, take down Langya Blessed Land and capture the demon Fang Yuan. Fairy Ziwei gave her orders. Thunder Ghost True Monarch was the most impatient one, she directly rushed into the starlight pillar. Fang Yuan, I am coming. Just you wait, Thunder Ghost True Monarch snickered. He wanted to say master. Chapter 1759-9 They been waiting. Thunder Ghost True Monarch felt her world spinning. After a brief moment of chaos, her vision cleared up. In almost an instant, she vanished from Heavenly Court, arriving in a huge formation space. She focused and looked, seeing that Fang Yuan was standing before her with a killer move that had been prepared already. Fang Yuan, good timing. Thunder Ghost True Monarch growled loudly with blood-red eyes, it was like the meeting of enemies. Fang Yuan smiled plainly. Thunder Ghost True Monarch, I've been waiting for you. Saying so, he pushed with his palm as Luo Po Seal shot towards Thunder Ghost True Monarch. Thunder Ghost True Monarch wanted to dodge subconsciously but the super formation's power was already affecting her. Even though Thunder Ghost True Monarch could dodge quickly, she needed a lot of time to do so. As a result, the overall result was that she moved very slowly in real time. Shock and anger was expressed all over Thunder Ghost True Monarch's face. She could not dodge, she was hit by Fang Yuan's Luo Po Seal. A huge black armor appeared all over Thunder Ghost True Monarch's body. The armor was ferocious and flamboyant, having sharp curved spikes and lightning flashing above it. The chest portion of the armor had a dark blue opened mouth like that of a giant ghost. And her helmet looked like a monster's head, forming a stark contrast with the girl's delicate and cute appearance. Luo Po Seal landed on Thunder Ghost True Monarch's armor. At the next moment, countless cracks appeared on Thunder Ghost True Monarch's armor. Next, with a light pop, the entire armor cracked into pieces, exposing Thunder Ghost True Monarch's main body. Fang Yuan used Luo Po Seal and the super formation to destroy Thunder Ghost True Monarch's strongest defense in one move. Thunder Ghost True Monarch shouted loudly. Instead of dodging, she charged towards Fang Yuan. This was a wise tactic. Normally speaking, people would retreat in such circumstances to regain their footing. But doing that in front of Fang Yuan would make them lose initiative, it would be a downward spiral as Fang Yuan gains control of the momentum of the battle. Thunder Ghost True Monarch did not back down, instead, she went ahead to fight against Fang Yuan. At this moment, Thunder Ghost True Monarch's rich battle experiences and brave nature was on full display. She invaded Langya blessed land but got ambushed, landing in a difficult spot. The disparity in situation did not make her lose her cool, instead, her bravery and fighting spirit were ignited. As expected of the person who once resisted spectral soul demon Venerable, this person did not know what giving up was. There was no way to lower her morale. Her final killer move, lightning heart explosion, was an actual mutual destruction method. Even if she dies, she would drag her enemies with her. This was her true nature. Of course, Fang Yuan already knew about Thunder Ghost True Monarch's final method. Fairy Ziwei was a wisdom path Gu Immortal, but so was Fang Yuan. As a wisdom path Gu Immortal, he would make countless arrangements. How could he not predict Thunder Ghost True Monarch's nature and course of action? Like what Fang Yuan had said earlier, he had been waiting. Immortal killer move, steal life. After suppressing Langya land spirit, thieving heaven true inheritance in Langya sect became Fang Yuan's. Using steal life immortal Gu, Fang Yuan unleashed the immortal killer move using immortal Gu steal life as the core. Even though Fang Yuan did not have rank 8 immortal essence, he could make Langya land spirit do it. He had long hair's immortal essence after all. Steal life was not displayed by Fang Yuan. Langya land spirit, which was inside the formation, had used it. Red light that was as thick as a finger flashed as it landed on Thunder Ghost True Monarch's forehead. Thunder Ghost True Monarch's movements came to a stop. She rapidly aged. In the blink of an eye, she turned from a cute little girl to a wrinkled old lady. She stretched out her thin and dry fingers as she grabbed at Fang Yuan, speaking as her teeth fell off. How did you? These were her final words. She died, with intense regret and hatred. She had died of old age, her lifespan was fully consumed. Even after dying, her eyes were wide open, staring at Fang Yuan fixedly. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. Within the super immortal formation, the Gu immortals of the 4 races were in a commotion. What happened? She died like that. We killed Thunder Ghost True Monarch. Wasn't that too easy? The variant human Gu immortals were all dumbfounded. After calming down, they started to analyze. It was Lord Fang Yuan's great plan. That's right, Thunder Ghost True Monarch fell into our trap. She had no way of retaliating. Even though she is a rank 8 Gu immortal, against Lord Fang Yuan, she was completely helpless. I finally understand why the human Gu immortals are bent on going after Lord Fang Yuan. The variant human Gu immortals sighed deeply. Their gaze towards Fang Yuan carried wariness, fear, admiration, and reverence. Looking at Thunder Ghost True Monarch's corpse, Fang Yuan felt no surprise. As a rank 8 expert, her death was not as simple as it looked. The power of Wisdom Path Gu Immortals was to make plans before taking action. With sufficient information, they could easily counter their enemies. Because of rebirth, Fang Yuan knew about Thunder Ghost True Monarch's trump card. Secondly, Fang Yuan had spent a lot of effort in modifying Langya Blessed Land's defensive formation. He added a lot of immortal Gu. Steal Life immortal Gu was one of them. It was all thanks to Fang Yuan's formation path attainment and the light of wisdom. Ordinary Gu immortals could not achieve this. Thunder Ghost True Monarch's 2 strongest methods were Lightning Heart Explosion and Soul Armor Combat. Thus, once Fang Yuan saw her, he used Luo Po Seal straight away. This move dealt with Thunder Ghost True Monarch's soul armor with incredible effect. Without her soul armor, after Thunder Ghost True Monarch died, she became suppressed by the formation. She could not activate Lightning Heart Explosion. And he also used the killer move Steal Life. This was not the same as using Steal Life Immortal Gu, which could not distinguish ally and enemy. This time, Fang Yuan deduced the killer move Steal Life, to target only the enemy. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had used his method on Steal Life Immortal Gu, it could only be used thrice. Fang Yuan could not remove that limit. Even with only 3 uses, Fang Yuan used it on Thunder Ghost True Monarch without hesitation. Thunder Ghost True Monarch had great battle strength. The longer she stayed here, the greater the threat to the entirety of Langya Blessed Land. If she unleashed Lightning Heart Explosion, his losses would be severe. Thus, Fang Yuan unleashed his moves instantly, killing her before she could even react. Heavenly Court. Looking at the Starlight Pillar, Chen Yi could not help but say, I'm going to. Fairy Ziwei glanced at him before nodding. As a Wisdom Path Gu Immortal who possessed Star Constellation chessboard, she could more or less understand Chen Yi's intention and thoughts. After getting permission from Fairy Ziwei, Chen Yi flew into the Starlight Pillar anxiously. I need to act fast. With Thunder Ghost True Monarch's ferocious battle strength, the later I go in, the less achievements I can make. By now, she might have killed some variant human Gu immortals already. Langya blessed land, here I come. Chen Yi entered the starlight pillar with great excitement. At the next moment, he arrived in Langya blessed land's formation space. This is Langya blessed land. Suddenly, Chen Yi's body froze, his pupil shrunk to pin size. He saw Thunder Ghost True Monarch's corpse. Fang Yuan had used the super formation to mimic Time Path's specialty, slowing the time flow. But over at Heavenly Court, time was moving normally. After Thunder Ghost True Monarch entered, Chen Yi went into the starlight pillar almost right after her. As a result, right after Fang Yuan killed Thunder Ghost True Monarch and captured her remaining remnant soul, Chen Yi appeared. You are quite fast. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. Chen Yi stared at Thunder Ghost True Monarch's corpse, shouting, Senior. Thunder Ghost True Monarch did not reply. She was undeniably dead. How could this be? This is impossible. Chen Yi, who had strong battle intent and enthusiasm, felt like cold water was poured all over him. He had been thinking that Thunder Ghost True Monarch was killing everything in her path. Langya blessed land would be in complete chaos as Fang Yuan defends against her pathetically. But the truth was, Thunder Ghost True Monarch died, while Fang Yuan smiled towards him with absolutely no injuries. Who could have expected such a situation? Chen Yi blinked consecutively before he growled. Very impressive demon, you made this illusion so convincing that I was almost deceived by you. Saying so, Chen Yi flickered with green light, he used his defensive killer move. He did not attack in a rush, he stood to guard the black spiral behind him. Thus, at the next moment, Chen Yi sensed something amiss. The power of Time Path is affecting me. His defensive killer move formed very slowly. Heavenly Court. Fairy Ziwei had a calm expression as she said to Feng Juzhe, go in as well. Feng Juzhe nodded as he entered the starlight pillar. With Feng Juzhe's strength, he should be able to defend himself. We are mainly relying on his own Dao Guardian luck. Heavenly Court does not have many luck path methods, this is the only way to resist Fang Yuan. Fairy Ziwei sighed to herself internally. After Feng Juzhe was transported inside, she was the next person to go. But right when Fairy Ziwei was about to move, boom! The starlight pillar exploded into countless starlight specks in the sky. Fairy Ziwei was stunned. The Heavenly Court Immortals behind her. Chapter 1760 Overwhelming Advantage. The killer move Star Cast might be incredibly powerful and would affect the balance of all 5 regions, but any killer move had its weaknesses and flaws. Fang Yuan did not know much about Starcast, but he knew one crucial point. Starcast needed a tracer. This tracer was the harmful Dao marks that Feng Juzhe left behind the previous time he invaded Langya blessed land. In the previous life, these harmful Dao marks turned into a dark spiral that transported Chen Yi, Thunder Ghost True Monarch, Feng Juzhe, and Fairy Ziwei in. Luckily, Fang Yuan and Langya land spirit reacted quickly and destroyed the dark spiral in time. They prevented even more Heavenly Court GU Immortals from entering. This time, because of rebirth, Fang Yuan knew the exact location of the dark spiral. Thus, he modified Langya blessed land's defensive formation actively and covered it using the formation space. Thunder Ghost True Monarch came in first, she was directly killed by Fang Yuan and the rest, who were well prepared. Chen Yi was the second to arrive. Fang Yuan did not have much time to use Luo Po Seal, so he did not do anything yet. And third was Feng Juzhe. He was Fang Yuan's main target. Because rank 7 fixed immortal travel was in his hands. And the fourth person was likely Fairy Ziwei. Fairy Ziwei was a wisdom path GU immortal possessing star constellation chessboard. If Duke Long was considered the spiritual leader of Heavenly Court and was the source of morale, Fairy Ziwei was the brains of Heavenly Court, their tactician. She was very important, but even if Fang Yuan killed her, there would be little effect. Why? Because Heavenly Court's immortal graveyard had too many wisdom path GU immortals. If Fairy Ziwei died, the second would replace her. In the past, why did Fairy Ziwei awaken? It was because Heavenly Court's wisdom path GU immortal, Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord, had died. Fairy Ziwei had to awaken to take his position. If Fairy Ziwei brought star constellation chessboard with her, Fang Yuan might have the incentive to kill her. But regrettably, star constellation chessboard was needed to maintain Starcast. It had to be left inside Heavenly Court. Fang Yuan had his battle experience from the previous life, he was sure about this secret. In his position, Fang Yuan should not kill Fairy Ziwei. Know yourself and your enemy, and you will never be defeated. Fang Yuan was familiar with Fairy Ziwei, it was advantageous to him. If he killed her, an unfamiliar Heavenly Court Wisdom Path GU Immortal would weaken Fang Yuan's post-rebirth advantage. Of course, there was the most important reason. Fairy Ziwei had incredible battle strength. even though Fang Yuan surpassed her by the time of Central Continent Refinement Path Convention. Right now, he had not reached rank 8 yet, he was still far from his peak battle strength in the previous life. If he let Fairy Ziwei in, Heavenly Court would have 3 rank 8 battle strengths. Fang Yuan had Heavenly Giant Suller, the Super Formation, the Immemorial Rock Dragon and himself. The battle would be intense, the situation would be out of control. And don't forget, Chen Yi had Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's trump card. Immortal Killer Move Karma Relocation played an important role in his previous life. Fang Yuan remembered deeply, he would not ignore it. Furthermore, Fang Yuan already suppressed Langya Land Spirit, the whole of Langya Blessed Land was his property. He wanted to reduce his losses. Thus, he destroyed the Dark Spiral earlier than in his previous life. Heavenly Court's GU Immortals were all shocked, while inside Langya Blessed Land, Feng Juzhe and Chen Yi looked at each other with dumbfounded looks. This is completely different from our plans. Starcast failed, only the few of us are over here. Langya Blessed Land was prepared for us, they reacted too quickly. Right now, we can only defend and stall for time until Starcast activates again. Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe quickly conversed. The two of them floated in the formation space, their backs were facing each other as they tried to defend themselves. Feng Juzhe asked, "That's right, where is Senior Thunder Ghost True Monarch?" Chen Yi gulped, he hesitated a little but did not tell Feng Juzhe about the scene he saw earlier. Instead he said, "I am not sure too, I did not see Thunder Ghost True Monarch after entering." Feng Juzhe nodded. Senior Thunder Ghost must be too eager to make achievements, she went out and got separated from us. If we can join up with her, that would be best. Chen Yi was shrouded in a bad feeling, but he could not shake Feng Juzhe's morale at this moment. He could only say, "I can see how crafty this Fang Yuan is, he would not let us join up easily. Senior Thunder Ghost True Monarch might be currently busy against the enemies for all we know." Feng Juzhe was more optimistic than Chen Yi. He smiled, "Lord Chen Yi, we have outstanding battle strength ourselves. I can resist rank 8 GU Immortals, I can barely be considered a rank 8 battle strength. With you and Senior Thunder Ghost True Monarch, we have 3 rank 8 battle strengths. It will be very difficult for Langya Blessed Land to defend against us, right? Maybe with just us, we can take down Langya Blessed Land." Chen Yi laughed and focused his mind forcefully. "Brother Feng is right, but this situation is truly out of our expectations, you should find a time to escape using fixed immortal travel." Feng Juzhe looked at Chen Yi deeply, thinking that this Chen Yi's emotions were so easily changed. Feng Juzhe had witnessed himself how Chen Yi charged in excitedly trying to make some achievements for himself. But once he got in, he became so dejected and low-spirited all of a sudden. Even though Chen Yi is the former First Supreme Elder of Heavenly Lotus Sect, due to having an authoritative status for a long time, he has lost his bravery. No wonder he failed his mission in Western Desert and caused us to lose Divine Bean Palace. Feng Juzhe looked down on Chen Yi in his heart. Unknown to him, in the previous life, his relationship with Chen Yi was actually quite good. Especially after he used the incomplete Destiny song to save Chen Yi's life. The two conversed rapidly in almost an instant. Fang Yuan had already taken action. But this time, he did not move out personally, he concealed his traces. The Immemorial Rock Dragon took his place, along with Langya Land Spirit and a band of hairy Man-GU Immortals using Heavenly Giant Suller. Feng Juzhe and Chen Yi worked together. After a long while, neither side could do anything to the other. But Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe continued to frown deeply. The Immemorial Rock Dragon is tough and sturdy, but its threat is the lowest. The GU Immortals inside Heavenly Giant Suller are not too skilled at fighting either. That's right, the key is Fang Yuan. He has not shown up yet. Is he fighting against Thunder Ghost True Monarch or hiding to deal with us? Other than them, there is also this formation. We need to destroy this formation, otherwise, being trapped inside this formation space is very dangerous. Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe planned quickly, changing their tactic. Feng Juzhe started to use his killer move while Chen Yi defended him. Chen Yi blocked the Immemorial Rock Dragon and Heavenly Giant Suller alone while Feng Juzhe prepared his killer move successfully, unleashing Separation Song. But in the previous life, this song already had no effect, it was even more useless this time around. How could Fang Yuan forget Separation Song? The tactic that Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe tried failed and instead gave Fang Yuan an opportunity to suddenly strike and isolate the two of them. Thereafter, the super formation started to activate as two subspaces were created, isolating Chen Yi and Feng Juzhe. Heavenly Court, endless starlight specks gathered again. Fairy Ziwei was full of sweat, she worked her hardest to create Starcast Killer move once again. However, Starcast was not so easily recreated. This move was incredibly powerful, it was able to transport rank 8 GU Immortals, it was truly a tactical method that could affect wars. Precisely so, the price of using it was huge, not only in immortal essence but also the time needed to prepare it with countless complex steps. Without deep wisdom path attainment, it was unusable. If we can succeed and regain wisdom GU this time, activating Starcast would be an easy feat, we will not encounter so much trouble. Fairy Ziwei sighed. A GU Immortal beside her smiled. Lady Ziwei, even if we do not go, with those three, they have the power to take down Langya Blessed Land. Heavenly Court's GU Immortals had calm expressions, the situation was very relaxed. But Fairy Ziwei frowned deeply, she felt that something was wrong. That's right, Feng Juzhe has incredible talent, he can resist rank 8 as a rank 7. He already has experience in invading Langya Blessed Land, it will only be easier this time. Even if he fails and gets attacked by Langya Blessed Land's full power, he has Fate Armor Immortal GU, he can definitely defend himself. A Heavenly Court GU Immortal beside Fairy Ziwei analyzed. Langya Blessed Land. Puff. Feng Juzhe's body shook as he spat out a mouthful of blood, he escaped in distress inside the formation space. Fang Yuan chased after him with a sinister laugh. Feng Juzhe still had shock all over his face, my GU worms are vanishing mysteriously. How can this be? This should be a theft path method. Is it Fang Yuan's method or this super formations? He had already used Great Thief Ghost Hand many times, but this time around, the results were different. Fang Yuan only stole a large number of Mortal GU and one Sound Path Immortal GU. Compared to my previous life, my luck is very low now. Fang Yuan also felt a little helpless. The higher his cultivation level, the more power Spring Autumn Cicada's rebirth would require, and the deeper his backlash would be. Before this battle, Fang Yuan had already used methods like Burning Soul Bursting Luck, but he was still not reaching his previous life's luck. Even though I gained Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's Self-Luck True Inheritance, and this True Inheritance has a comprehensive amount of killer moves and Immortal GU recipes, there are only a few Luck Path Immortal GU currently. Thus, I have not stolen Fixed Immortal Travel yet. Fang Yuan sighed in regret while Feng Juzhe had a solemn expression. He has the power to steal Immortal GU. The situation is too severe. Even if I have Fate Armor Immortal GU, he can steal it. Should I use Fixed Immortal Travel to return? Do I abandon Chen Yi? Feng Juzhe was hesitant. At the other end, Heavenly Court's GU Immortal added, compared to Feng Juzhe, Lord Chen Yi is a true rank 8 GU Immortal. He is the former First Supreme Elder of Heavenly Lotus Sect, he has abundant battle experiences in his life. He is also the current generation Genesis Lotus Inheritor, he has powerful woodpath methods. Lord Chen Yi is old and wise, he is reliable and dependable, he can definitely control the battle situation. Langya Blessed Land, Super Formation. Chen Yi was full of sweat, the anxiety on his face could not be concealed. Damn it, he cursed in his heart, the super formation isolated him and Feng Juzhe, his enemies also vanished completely. The formation activated as layers of mazes were formed, countless illusions trapped Chen Yi. Chen Yi continued to investigate and break the illusions but there was an endless number of mazes and illusions. Faster, faster, I need to get out of here and join with Feng Juzhe. How did this happen? Why did it end up like this? Chen Yi cultivated wood path, his formation path attainment was not deep. Chen Yi's battle style was also not specialized in offense but in sustainability. Be it Ancient Tree Prison Cage or Karma Divine Tree, they had the same style. In the previous life, Chen Yi stayed in the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation, he caused trouble for Wu Yong and Fang Yuan, but this time, he was the one tormented by Fang Yuan's super immortal formation. This was the tactic Fang Yuan used after familiarizing himself with Chen Yi. Heavenly Court, I know you are right, but somehow, the unease in my heart is getting more intense. Fairy Ziwei sighed. The Heavenly Court GU Immortal beside her pondered, that shouldn't be. Even if Feng Juzhe and Chen Yi face trouble, Senior Thunder Ghost True Monarch is a true expert. She was a legend that caused problems for Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. Last time, Fang Yuan escaped because of the regional wall. This time in Langya Blessed Land, she can use her true power. Perhaps more than 10 GU Immortals have already died in her hands by now. So what if Fang Yuan is there? He will only run around like a dog after being chased by Thunder Ghost True Monarch. The Heavenly Court GU Immortal said this with overwhelming confidence and certainty. Langya Blessed Land, Formation Space. Fang Yuan chased after Feng Juzhe while soul-searching Thunder Ghost True Monarch. He was multitasking. His advantage was too large after all. After using Great Thief Ghost Hand multiple times, even though he could not take fixed immortal travel, he had already obtained 3 of Feng Juzhe's Sound Path Immortal GU. Feng Juzhe's strength fell drastically, but he was not too injured now. Fang Yuan was using Great Thief Ghost Hand primarily, his other offenses were trivial and merely maintained his current advantage. He did not use moves like Luo Po Seal, because he was afraid that Fate Armor Immortal GU would activate after he injured Feng Juzhe. Once Fate Armor Immortal GU was activated, Fairy Ziwei would be able to sense his exact location. In the previous life, Fang Yuan suffered a loss from this. After Fate Armor Immortal GU activated, Fairy Ziwei was able to rapidly deduce and break Yama battlefield. This time around, how could Fang Yuan commit the same mistakes? Oh, there are really many GU immortals trying to invade Langya Blessed Land. Fang Yuan gained a lot of information from soul searching. Thunder Ghost True Monarch's cultivation information was valuable, but Fang Yuan cast it aside. Heavenly Court's situation was much more important to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had countless wisdom path methods. He quickly deduced, this means that Star Cast can be used again. I need to hurry up and end the battle here. There is no choice. If this drags on, fixed immortal travel, Fate Armor, and the other immortal GU would get stolen by Fang Yuan. Feng Juzhe had a solemn expression. He finally made his decision to use fixed immortal travel. Wishful thinking. Fang Yuan smiled coldly, activating Immortal GU Suppress Space. Suppress Space Immortal GU. This Immortal GU was obtained from the Diamond Head Turtle when he specially went to Southern Border's Earth Trench. There were many methods to counter fixed immortal travel, but after rebirth, Fang Yuan had 2 most likely choices. One was Fixed Space Immortal GU, the other was Suppress Space Immortal GU. Fixed Space Immortal GU was in the hands of Heavenly Court GU Immortal Lu Hao. In the previous life, Fang Yuan ambushed Southern Border's pursuers including Sha Cha. Lu Hao was also captured. It was a pity that Fixed Space Immortal GU self-detonated in Lu Hao's body. Fang Yuan did not obtain it. As for Suppress Space Immortal GU, a Luo clan GU Immortal, Luo Ran, obtained it. In the previous life, Wu Yong led the Southern Alliance GU Immortals to attack the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation. Luo Ran had used it and achieved great success. It was too difficult for Fang Yuan to obtain Fixed Space Immortal GU now. It was still too early. He was still inside Northern Plains Langya Blessed Land. He had not traveled in Southern Border and attracted everyone's rage. Sha Cha and the rest had not pursued him yet. Without Wu Yong seeking help from Fairy Ziwei, Lu Hao would not get involved. But Suppress Space Immortal GU was easily obtainable according to information from Fang Yuan's previous life. Fixed Space Immortal GU could fix a location. Even if fixed immortal travel activated, the GU Immortal would only be transported to the fixed location that was chosen. Meanwhile, Suppress Space Immortal GU could prevent the use of any space path methods within a certain area. As Suppress Space Immortal GU was also rank 7, it countered the rank 7 fixed immortal travel. Feng Juzhe was shocked by this, to think that Fang Yuan's preparations were so comprehensive. At the next moment, Feng Juzhe's expression paled. Immortal Killer Move, Great Thief Ghost Hand. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, sighing inwardly, it was not easy. I finally stole fixed immortal travel.